What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the stream. I know we are late getting started. I've been trying to get everything set up, but Cody is joining us today, which is very exciting. Um, we're very happy to have all of you here. Today is the beginning of Championship Series for the ProHubs Pro League. We're going to be watching NA facing off against EU for the first time at a chance at a cash prize of $1,800. So a lot of exciting matches to be had. The stream is currently live. They're going over some stuff, but I wanted to go ahead and get Cody in here so that we can, go over kind of what's been happening, things like that. So give me 1 second. Let me drop him in here, and then we'll be good. All right. Hello?
Hey.
All right. I think you're coming through and everything, so that's good. So, I can share, I guess, the stream. Discord. Do you want to watch it on Discord, or do you want to watch it?
I can either watch it on Twitch or we can run it on.
Maybe watch it on Twitch.
I can. Yeah, I think that'll be right.
Yeah,
that's my
so
for today.
We have our boy Waltz, who's casting today, along with Rio, which is very exciting.
Yes, sir.
That's cool. I did make a bracket, and I kind of wanted to go over a couple things while they're getting started, kind of as a refresh for everybody else, as well as for you, because I know you haven't been able to tune in for the last few weeks. So, the main thing here is obviously Bricked is on top in terms of points. Now, if you guys aren't familiar with how Pro League has been structured for the past few weeks, there were 2 splits, and teams were playing in your standard kind of first and second round of World Tour cash out. So 3v3, v3, v3, 4 teams at a time. And based on placement and eliminations, teams earned points, which qualified them for upper and lower bracket of playoffs, which was last week. One of the things to note is basically it did seeding for that for NA and EU, but they were separate brackets. And based on their placement from that, they had a chance to earn even more points, which let them qualify for this championship series that we're going to see today. We won't see all of the games because they're going to be going on at the same time. But the biggest story from last week was actually Make-A-Wish Foundation making the run of a lifetime. Right. So I don't know if you can see my screen, Cody. I guess I should share my screen. See what I'm looking at real quick. Let me pull it up. Okay. So this is the bracket from playoffs, and if we actually look at lower round, Make-A-Wish Foundation was like 10th before this tournament, okay?
Right.
And spoiler alert, they ended at 6th, barely making the qualification for this tournament this week.
Wow.
They went through a best-of-1 series and won every single one, making it actually to the grand final against Bricked. And they knocked out teams like Old House Finest, Team D,
right.
AHS, Fourth Party Cashbox. Or no, they didn't knock out Fourth Party Cashbox. They knocked out Ape Squad, Dark Horse, Team D, the Blowers, which were like 4th on the, I think, on the overall. Yeah. And winded up making it to the grand final. They did get 3-0'd. And one of the things that I said was they made a great run because they were not afraid to jump on the Cashbox and just hold E. Like, they were like, pros never fake. It felt like Valorant. And everybody was playing super spread out and like, oh, they're probably faking it to bait us in. Those dudes would just stick it nonstop and get away with it for free, which is kind of insane. So that worked out for them up until the final. And I did say on the stream last week that their light player, Viper, was going to need to probably have a conversation with the team. Yo, what's up, Cret? Because he was running, actually an interesting loadout. He was running the Matter shotgun with the Nullifier. And he didn't really put up the numbers. He did show up where it kind of mattered here and there. But I did feel like that was the weakest link of their team. So I'm hoping this week they've watched some film on the other teams and they've kind of gotten that dialed in. I think as funny as it is to run the Matter, if you're going to play in this championship series, he's really going to need to dial in. So I'll be curious to see if he steps up. Beyond that, though, we do have bracket predictions as well. Let me pull up the bracket for today, and then let me pull up my prediction, which I'm not sure how to see.
How's it going, Cret? Sorry, I was waiting for Sam to finish up before I responded, but good to see you, man. We got a pretty crazy game coming up. Excited?
What is I'll throw this up just super. So here's my bracket prediction on what we're going to be looking at today. We've got Gamblers against Burnt Nuggets, AHS versus Gongala, Saints 1 versus Team D, the Blowers versus Make-A-Wish. I actually have Make-A-Wish winning the first round against the Blowers again, and then going off against Amers Blue, and then I have them getting kicked to the lower bracket. But I have them making a run up to basically semifinals, and then basically getting eliminated by Amers Blue. So that's my prediction. I think we're going to see them make a crazy run. I think it's going to depend on if Viper addresses some of the issues that I felt like were there last week. And, we'll see if that story actually happens. But I think we're going to basically in the finals, we're going to have Bricked versus Amers Red, which is actually a new team, which was just announced.
Looks like we're loading into a game, by the way.
Okay. All right. So real quick before we jump in, Pulsar Esports was what Amers Red was. They just announced themselves as an esports team like yesterday. So Pulsar Esports, this is a new org. This was Amers Red. They are going to be, I think, this org for the major coming up. So that's our first official esports team that we've seen come into the finals since like the previous leagues. But we are loading into the first game. It looks like we're going to be watching Saints 1 versus Team D to kick it off. So let's go ahead and jump in and check that out.
Something I'm normally used to seeing.
Yes, sir. Yep, they're loading right in. It's on Vegas, the new version to be exact. But how is it? How's this been playing lately?
Pretty good, pretty chaotic. So one thing to note is that for this event, as well as playoffs, we are looking at one team versus one team. So 3v3, first team to capture 2 cash outs. It's a lot more tactical.
This is going to be hype, dude. Yeah, it's because we're not dealing with 4 different teams that have to worry about each other. This is just all for the money, dude. All or nothing.
Waiting for the push and getting ready, but we move over to T Mills and he's
chat, if you guys need any audio adjusted, please let me know. I think everything is set up properly from where it was last week, but if you can't hear something, just let me know. I'll tune it in for us.
Yeah, no worries, Evelette. It's good to have you in here, brother. So there's already 2. That's the whole team wipe right there.
That's a wipe already. Team D is out. Saints 1 is going to get the touch on the box. They've already opened the ball, so they're going to run that straight to cash box probably.
Yeah, I mean,
MX put in the work, dude. 1K damage in one fight.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So what I'm interested to see today is if the minigun makes an appearance. It has not made an appearance for basically 2 weeks. After we thought that it was going to be meta, we just seen the SA-1216 shine.
Right, I mean, it had like a big increase out of nowhere, and then it just went away just as quick, which is crazy.
Exactly, yeah.
I mean, but they are running, there's Goo Grenade, there's Winch Claw, which I was just going to assume is going to come back after that small little buff they did. So that makes sense. I mean, Rocket Launcher is just... That's it, bro. That's one of the best things.
RPG is pretty much a necessity.
They're running double medium, though.
They are running double medium, which is interesting. But you're seeing DMAT, and you're also seeing Beam at the same time, which
would make sense. I don't think two people should ever run DMAT.
Absolutely not. Another thing to keep in mind is this is the first time that EU and NA are playing against each other in this series. So one thing to keep in mind is ping, because the servers are not the best for a cross region like this. So I'm curious to see if we're going to see some different matchups.
One is just popping off at the start.
Yeah, you were clipping a bit. I was trying to figure out how to turn you down.
I turned my game down. Let me know if that fixes it. Dude, MX is doing crazy work right now, bro. Has 5 kills already. I mean, it just insanity.
Oh, mine is probably a little quiet. All right. That should be good.
Understanding how you want to play against a sledge.
Insanity.
You need to be ready for him to show.
Yeah, Saints 1's kind of slamming Team D right now.
They got one more push here, and that's it.
That's first catch up.
Yeah.
So these games are much faster typically than previous catch outs.
So momentum based. It's so momentum based. Once you send them off and you get that first kind of team wipe, you really have to come back and get a good hit there. And if you don't, you're kind of that's the game. It really is. I mean, look at them; they're struggling.
Team D
so
is
hard.
looking like they're going to stick the steal here, though. I don't know if he's going to get it. He might get it out. Oh no! Oh, dude, he was so close with that too.
He was close, but I mean, it's just. Dude, that is a risky play there.
Yeah, they almost had the goo coverage. I mean, that's what they have to do, though. And that's what I was saying is I saw, I did see the Shoot, where was I going? I was looking at chat. Bradley, I can get you the link for the official Twitch stream here in a moment. Get this open actually. But it's gonna be twitch.tv/ProHubsTF.
So amazing play from Saints 1, able to get in.
We should
there,
just multi-stream,
dive on the point,
honestly.
and just stop that
I
steal.
can't.
Now they're in control of this vault. They're
Why?
on the Mega Dome as well.
oh yeah, I
I don't want to Streamlabs Premium.
If you take a look around, you can see why. You
So.
see the entire map, and they don't leave any surprises
Yeah.
for Team.
So
they are now going through a game.
Yeah, I thought the goo was gonna cover him enough. He was barely.
Yeah, I was gonna say Evelyn made a good point that I don't think they're multi-streaming, so we got YouTube covered.
Yeah, you have us on YouTube. You have them over on Twitch. But I will get you. Like I said,
They're brawling. They're still using the Serb, which is an interesting thing. I mean, with how prominent Goo is, it makes sense.
Yeah.
They hit the deep dip. I'm wondering if both of their mediums on Saints side are running.
They make a bounce pad over to the Mega Dome, and they are ready to fight again.
I'm curious. I'm curious what if the mediums were in double defib. I would assume so. There's no way.
Yeah, I mean, I'll die on the hill saying that if you're not running defib on medium, you just shouldn't be playing medium. There's no reason. It's the strongest piece of kit they have.
The only time I would even say it's possible is in a 3v3 like this, where you could get away with it, maybe. I mean, but dude, MX is just unstoppable.
Yeah, MX is absolutely slamming right now.
It's a machine right now. Crazy.
One thing I'm unsure of is if this is an EU server or NA server. Waltz did say that they may have to remake a few times per match because there's no way to determine like EU East versus West, and same with NA East versus West. So I'm curious to see what they're playing on map 1, but that could explain why they're running Sledge. If it's on an EU server, it might be harder to hit like the SA shots, and then we might see him flip over to the NA server, and you might see him pull out that SA. I think it's just going to depend.
I really don't know how Melee plays with high ping. I would assume it would be for the benefit, but
yeah, I would assume it's more forgiving than using low.
They're all very low right now on team hit. Like they're in a, and they're just boxed up right now. Yeah, they're gonna break the roof and then
You're still seeing the pike though, as well. I mean, it's got to be EU server. They run the pike.
On Vegas, yeah, I totally agree. That is a pretty crazy pick. But I mean, this is pretty much over for
Oh, Saints 1's gonna wipe. Oh no.
Yeah, they intentionally wiped there. It was just there was no way. You're just wasting time.
I don't know. This is going to be.
Sometimes it's hard to keep track of what team is who when they switch POVs. Like I thought that was Saints 1 losing, and then all of a sudden they wiped.
Melee can be forgiving for sure, but I would assume on higher ping, it's probably to the Melee user's benefit because it's just extending hitboxes because of ping. I mean, I would assume it's either great or it's gonna be terrible, and you're just gonna be ghost hitting people constantly. There's really no in between on high ping. I don't know which one it is though. I don't play Melee enough to make that call, especially Sledge heavy. Vinny maybe can answer that. Dude, they are just getting messed up. And the weird thing is for running heal gun, I feel like they are constantly low.
2v2.
Oh, they got the 2v2 and the one.
Too late though. All right, Saints 1 going up 1-0. I think this is the best of 3.
That's the thing about these 3v3s, dude. It's just like if you don't get that momentum, it's over. It's over so quick.
Yeah.
You have to have that momentum. It is game ending.
Style of gameplay. We saw Boo Boo pick up that heal beam. We haven't seen heal.
So while we wait for the next map, Team Bricks, Hotel's Finest, Pulsar Esports, and Aimers Blue all have a first round bye. So we will not see any of their matches until the next round. Currently playing though is the Blowers Make-A-Wish Foundation, AHS and Gala, and Gamblers Burnt Nuggets as well. My prediction is Make-A-Wish makes the run here. I think they get dropped to lower bracket and they continue to make a run until they have to face off probably against one of the Aimers teams. Again, so if you guys are just joining in, Pulsar Esports is now what Aimers Red was over on EU. So yeah,
they're remaking right now.
The damage that he needs to do. He's trying to heal his team, and instead they just sort of fell down a little bit. They actually ran a double medium as well.
So what's the next map they're going to? It looks like was it Sky?
It's probably Cis Horizon. I didn't see it, but it's probably Cis Horizon. It's normally map 2 for a lot of teams.
kind of weird to see.
This Horizon has like a 21% pick rate, apparently. People really like that map. I think it's Walt's kind of jumped in with me during the grand finals last week and explained that it's just a very regulated map. It's very predictable on how it's going to play and things like that. You know, there's not a lot of variety to it. And so that's kept teams, you know, picking it. Is there a map veto system? Yes. One team picks one team picks the other, and then I don't remember how it's decided for the third map. But yes, teams do pick maps. I tell people all the time I'd rather have 3v3 because I don't know what's so skill-based on getting third-partied when I'm low after winning a fight. Any thoughts? I think personally, just from watching ProHubs for the last few weeks, personally, in a series like this and in other competitive games where you're able to kind of do scouting on teams outside of the match, so in the sense of like you go back and watch VODs, you can watch film, things like that. I think like having standard cash out where it's multi-team it's a little bit more competitive because you can help predict kind of what team strategies are and things like that. However, it does open the door for griefing. Brutal Logic kind of jumped in our chat, you know, the other week and mentioned that they had a team that was basically openly going to grief them, and the whole point was to hopefully get them to not qualify for playoffs and this series here. I don't remember if that happened. I don't think so. I think fourth party Cashbox qualified maybe.
Chris said, how often is Kyoto picked? Dude, I don't think ever.
Kyoto's not picked. Kyoto's actually banned entirely.
Banned, yeah.
No. I think it's out of the rotation. There's something wrong with it, I think, or there's like a reason that it's not in the pool. I did not know that until last week, though.
Especially in like multi-continent matches, I don't think they want to get close to Kyoto because of how many server issues the damn trees cause.
Yeah.
If you get any modifier that's like the train or anything, it's dude, the server's done for.
Nobody picked him. It was a joke. It was
over
if you had a light on your team. But now
yeah, it's gonna get a rework before the major, I'm sure. Another thing that Waltz did mention to us as well is
in my opinion.
One thing that Waltz mentioned as well is that as far as we know, there's going to be no banned maps like from play, like just straight up restricted maps, and I think also gadgets, which include Glitch Trap, which funny enough is actually banned in this as well, by the way. So that's why you're not going to see anybody running Glitch Mine, is because it's actually banned. It's apparently too buggy. You can be glitched through walls and through entirely different rooms. And so the ProHubs team, Burrito, and all of them decided that, yeah, it's too busted, too buggy. We don't want it in the playoff, you know, in this league. And the players, I think, also agreed. So.
I hate it. You get tagged by it, and it literally is like a magnet, dude. It'll just stick on you for so long. It's so buggy.
Obviously, Mickey with that SH12.
Olwax, what's good, bro? How's it going?
They're on the cash box
we're gonna have to see
right
if
now.
someone has the chance to be
yeah, Saints one's already got the pickup.
The range
they're pretty far. They're not in a good position to hold this off. This is pretty much a free.
Yeah, I think Team Did was going for the gamble and hoping that they would maybe run it A. I think they gave away their position though, and didn't get the surprise, and now they're gonna have to play for the retake.
Why would they go A?
I don't know.
They're B right there, unless they didn't see it. That's my only guess. It makes no sense though.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe they could be a little spooked. I mean, Orange did give them the works last game. Maybe they want to take it a little slower. It could be the case.
Gas is actually going to land in a really good spot, force a little bit of coverage of the area as they start their first.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, especially from a light. Like it's honestly a freer kill than Winch Claw.
Any second now, but I think
it's crazy. You cannot do it with your glitch trap.
We'll say it's the only thing that counters defib though.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things is like this point in particular is a little hard to get into. It just really depends. I mean, if they're able to get above, that's one of my favorite spots to get to. If you can get above them in that second room, it's a lot easier to get those sort of picks. But it's very close off.
Yeah. Team Did just does not seem like they know how they want to attack this, and then you've got well, that's a pick on someone.
Hold on.
Oh my God, bro got pulled through Kingdom Come. That's insane.
Oh, he made it out though.
He did.
If they can keep this up, if they didn't get the defib off, which it looks like
there's no defib. I think they got the pick on the medium. No,
it was a light. No.
Yeah, I think it was a light actually.
Yeah, they got it on the light, which is huge.
In this series so far.
Still not up. They're
Yeah,
down.
they still have one medium up. Yeah, I think you
Oh, they
stick
do have a
this.
light.
Yep, that's 2v1, 3v1, right? Okay, there you go. That's the steal for Team 2. Way to be patient out of that. That's crazy.
Honestly, I was surprised because they were really holding off there, and I thought they were going to run out of time. But the fact that they pulled that off, I really think the light or whoever got picked there, I think it was the light through there. I mean, getting picked out in the open. I mean, the light is one of the most important things in this 3v3. They're the one person who can get around and get those sort of clutch plays, and not having them in that team fight is GG's right there.
That's pretty much ropes right there.
I
mean, you get 2-tapped by that pike, or 3-tapped or whatever.
That guy hit. I'm still finding it crazy that he didn't get the pick. Honestly, I'm surprised. The fact that he was able to get out and defib that wall was insane.
He winched the guy through the stairs entirely.
It looked like Roadhog, bro.
I'd be screaming if I was home.
Ping,
That's
dude.
for sure.
We're gonna see some crazy winches because of the ping, dude.
Oh,
We're gonna see
100%.
Yeah, it happens to me a lot too. It's just unfortunate. Sometimes you expect the enemy to go from one way, and they come from the other. I think that's why a lot of teams run sonars in this situation. Why it's so popular, because they want to prevent stuff like that happening. The pike here, though, is great. I will say the pike's going to be huge here.
Yeah, it's interesting seeing like how far away T-Mills is playing from his team a bit. Like, look at how spread out he is compared to the rest of his team. I mean, I guess they're nearby where they could peel.
I feel like most pike players do this, though. Every time I'm getting hit by a pike player, they're so far away from their team.
God.
Yeah, he destroyed
Oh my God.
He's a machine, dude. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, that pike is crazy. He just deletes the heavy. The sledge didn't even hit it. It's crazy.
Bro, my pike don't be hitting like that. I can tell you that.
Hey, but let me tell you, every time I get hit by a pike, that's the guy on the other
I'm
street.
saying.
It's ridiculous. Like, I think it was whatever. Were you playing last night? I think last night that was the pike I was getting hit with.
Oh, I know.
I was so upset, dude. It was so annoying.
It does like over on Bernal, and every time you turn a corner, you might as well just play the Fortnite down sound. You know, it was like
it is so good right now. It's what the repeater should be, honestly. It's great.
Dude, yeah, it's been like the repeater came out, and I said, as much fun as this gun is, I don't know why you would pick it over the pike. Like, the pike is just better in every sensitive fashion, and it's arguably just better than the revolver. But now the revolver's gotten a buff, and I'm not even sure it's better than the revolver anymore. So.
I want to look at some of the light setups here. I'm wondering, have they been running goo a lot, or have they been
pretty much every? I think almost every team member is running some form of goo. It's so strong. I mean, it's good for mobility. It's good for closing off. It's
So what? So I'm guessing they're running like goo gateway sonar, and then like maybe switching out sonar for something else sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much. And glitch. Glitch needs are pretty much a necessity because of how prevalent dome shield is at the current moment.
I'm wondering if they're even running gateway in a 3v3 situation like this. It's not as useful. It definitely loses a lot of its usage when you go into.
I've been seeing the light. I mean, there's only one light in the map right now, and it's from Saints 1. But I have been seeing him run. I've actually seen his gateway up a few times recently, but yeah, I don't think they're running it in the same fashion that you would in a normal cash-out game, right?
Dude, I don't know what happened, but Team Day has completely switched things around. This is crazy.
I don't know if it's a ping diff or I'm not sure.
They did remake. I wonder if they switched to their servers. I mean, the unfortunate part is we might get games like this where it's a swing each time. I mean, it might play into it that much. I mean, EU to US is insane amounts of ping.
I said I was curious if teams are facing off against like a light. I mean, most teams are running a 1-1-1, except for we're obviously seeing Saints 1. We're seeing Team D running the 2 medium, but I think if teams are running a light, I'd be curious to see if other teams, their medium actually picks up turret.
But my thing is too, especially is like there's no in between server, is there? It's just. I mean, yeah, it's either US or EU. There's no server where it's going to be kind of equal. Like if you're in the US, you have Central, right? Central's perfect. But
I don't think there's
really
Central servers in this game though, unfortunately.
is just how well they can.
Detective Harris says game runs on server clusters according to Barkrub. Yeah, that would make sense.
Which
So,
cluster
hey, we need to change
are
it up.
we on
And
right
that's,
now?
that's what
If
we're
I had to
seeing.
guess, and from
To me,
Walt's kind of shared on this, I think last week.
I'm not sure. You
It
break
seems
down
like
these
you
stats.
basically have NA West and
Interesting.
NA East, which is probably
I think
Virginia for
I'm always
East
hesitant. I know
and
I
Oregon
mentioned it earlier, but
for
I don't want to
West.
just throw
It's usually all
everything.
That is
Yeah.
also where the
Does
AWS
give
data centers
justice
are.
to the
I
side
think the
of Team
Google
Dip,
Cloud data centers
because,
are there. They are at least
I
for
mean, that
US
was
East.
a massive
And those are the
Team
primary
Elf
and
put the
secondary
Team Elves back.
partitions
Like I
for
mentioned,
those cloud-based servers, which is
when you're
probably
running
what
a
Embark is
double
leveraging.
one of the big reasons Light is so useful is
For
not even just the
Europe,
time it gets you,
I'm
but
not
there's so
sure where
much
those servers
damage
are
and so much
located,
range.
but it
Light,
sounds like they have
if you play
Europe
them well,
East,
has
Europe
so
West as
much,
well.
so much
But
usefulness,
obviously,
right now, just with the
that's
amount of
a very
games that
different
come
story
out.
compared to
And
the North American
when
servers.
you're
So I'm
running
not really
a
sure.
sledge heavy, you have so little ability.
Yeah,
to
the
deal
major's
with
gonna be
that light.
crazy.
It
Having
was
it, I'm
every
curious
time they
because
picked
no
off
one's really
someone,
had
they
this
won a fight.
game on
Someone,
no
if he
ping.
goes
No one's
down,
played this.
It's incredibly easy for them to clean up the rest of the team.
Nobody's played
Like,
on
a
LAN.
swarm
There's
on
been
them.
not. I don't think there's been a
Find
single
so
LAN
much
event.
easier
I think.
to
I'm
top of Mickey.
very
And
excited to
Sledge
see how
versus
this game probably
SA12,
is
you're gonna win
crazy.
with the
I mean, every
sledge.
game's crazy on
And,
LAN, but this
you know,
game's probably
9 times out of 10,
crazy on
it's gonna go
LAN.
your way.
I
So,
mean,
I
My
think that
curiosity
was-
is,
I
I'm
think that
assume
could have
the
been,
LAN is
on the
still
one
going to use a
hand,
dedicated
yeah,
server
you can
somewhere
point
to
to
be able to
some server
handle
resistance,
all
Team
the
Dip's hit shots
rendering and
better, but I also
processing
think that maybe
of
Team
I'm
Dip's
sure. I mean, there has to
problems
be
a little
like
bit.
destruction,
They had
things
a
like
sub,
that.
but maybe this is
I'm
kind of
curious to
crazy.
see if those problems get negated at all compared to like the Kyoto problem we were just talking about, right? Like we're like, oh, the trees cause so many server issues. Well, will that
That is
still
true.
happen at the LAN because players are not at least dealing with the server? I mean, they're going to be connected to the server if it's a dedicated server. So does that actually solve any of that problems or no? My guess is no. But we'll see. You know.
I don't know. I mean, the big thing is like, I feel like everyone notices it when you really think about it, is everything you do in the game destruction-wise has like a very, very tiny amount of latency because you can tell the server's calculating what's going on. Even the sledgehammer, right? It'll hit, you'll have that impact, but it really takes time for the destruction to actually figure itself out.
Yeah.
And being able to have no latency on that would be crazy, but I don't know if that's possible. Like you said, it might have to be ran on a dedicated server. I mean, otherwise it's being put on a machine, but I don't know how you would set that up.
Yeah,
I mean, unless you, I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, you're going to need like a Kubernetes cluster basically to run it all to be able to handle all that processing. So yeah, but
Yeah,
like
they
Benny
will have
says,
equal
everybody will have equal ping at least. So at least hit reg and things like that will feel a lot better for players. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited for the
There's
LAN.
a fifth
Oh.
out of so
this
far
is gonna
all
be
the
crazy.
matches we've played in the
All right,
Pro
while
League
we're
so
waiting for the
far,
next
a
map to
fifth
load
of
up,
the
let's
matches
see. Okay, so
of those-
AHS
of those
has
450, a fifth of those
won
matches
against
around
Gongala,
6
and the
matches,
Blowers
these teams have
did
played
beat Make-A-Wish
a
Foundation, which
ton of
was
this map. And I
not
think
what I
if
had
you
on my
wanna see any
brackets. My
map that
brackets
is
are
gonna do
screwed,
well
but
with
you know,
kind
hey,
of a
it
ping
is what it
difference, I
is.
think this is the map because it gives you a lot of
So,
it gives you a lot of forgiveness in sort of your position.
Hotel's Finest is going to be going up
You know,
against
Vegas can be
AHS. That's going to be a good game. That's two NA teams, so shouldn't deal with any ping issues.
So
Right now, by the
I
way.
think this map gives us a little bit
God,
of
they loaded
a
quick.
little bit
All
of
right,
both.
well, right back in.
And one of the best maps that Embark
Yep,
has
it's
ever played.
FYI, it's on
I
Cis
think this
Horizon.
one could
Yes.
hopefully go a little bit closer.
And Team Diz
maybe
already
get that
on the
third
cash box
out.
currently.
Team
They're going
Dig
up to the
control
third
vault
story.
for what feels like the first
They're
time
now
this
fighting.
matches. They're already
Okay, let's see what
picking
goes
up,
on.
doing some damage from range.
It's interesting seeing the APS turret usage, you know, because I don't see a lot of people running like frag or incendiary nades, so I feel like it's only helping against goo. But they're using it kind of defensively, like worrying about people throwing grenades or using GLs even. I'm kind of confused by that usage a bit.
Yeah, no, we know LAN normally will, in this situation, will work on a server still. It's just a lot of games, especially FPSs, do actually just interconnect all the PCs together. And,
yeah,
I mean, it's a lot better.
He did spot one of them out. He's going to climb around, try and
So,
find someone.
they are definitely on an EU server. You can see that Team Did, every single player is getting that high ping indicator, server status indicator. So they are on EU for this map.
These teams will get ready for the next encounter.
Yeah.
Interestingly, though, the vault's not even open yet. It's only halfway open.
Finish that off, so
So
both
that
teams-
entire sequence of
I think
fighting
they hit it
actually didn't even result in
Vault
the
has
box
been
being
tapped,
open.
so all of this has been
I don't know
posture
why
so
they hit
far.
it so
Only
late.
a single death
I think they're just worried about wiping. God, the fact that you can pull that with the new telekinesis buff is crazy work.
They don't want to turn around and go to A.
He pulled that thing back from so far away.
Toss the vault off to the side.
Away.
You really want to get a kill. You don't want to start the plug and then be in a fight
hurry
already.
up.
You want that extra time.
Yeah, that's a good play out of someone. I will say this is the map that I watched someone absolutely dominate on probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. So I'm curious to see if he just freaking cooked. He just got a 3K.
Of a century, dude. Oh my god.
Yeah, someone just got a 3K just from flanking. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but I get it. I mean, there's just no way you could render everything on a machine. That would be insane. Without dumbing it down, probably. You'd probably have to drastically dumb down the destruction
what happened
systems,
there.
I'm
It
sure.
just didn't seem kind of up to the standard.
I'm actually curious. Let us know, guys, what sort of commentating you guys want. I mean, I don't know if you guys want us to kind of like just talk and chat. I know. I feel like Waltz and them, they kind of do a mix of both. I feel like, huh? This is our first time really commentating. So
Waltz and them do a lot of the casting, like actual things. I mean, we're not casters. I mean, we obviously watch the game and we enjoy it, but we are like, it's meant for casual hangout. Yeah. If you want to hear more of the casting, I can turn up the volume if you can't hear it that well though. It's all the way up on the stream, but I think I can give it a little more juice.
We'll might be a little
bit battle starts, but right now it's kind of at a standstill, Waltz.
Yeah, there again a lot of patience here in the way that we're approaching.
Oh, actually, I've got it turned down in my headphones a little bit.
I think Walt's made a great point here is that they are being very patient, and I think that's what's giving them the game a lot more. Is they've really slowed down. They were playing way too fast. I always totally agree when you're in a 3v3 scenario like this and things aren't working, you just need to slow down. 9 times out of 10, when you slow down, take from a different approach, you end up doing so much better.
Mills does drop, but he's going to grab his APS turret and move along quickly.
Mills is having trouble.
A little bit of movement difficulties right now as he kind of gets stuck underneath.
Yeah,
but
that's how it goes. So medium stuff, huh? You've been there?
Yeah.
Finally going to be able to reconvene with his team.
Oh,
Ranks off someone. That is a trade. That's already 1-for-1. That's a huge start.
I agree.
That was crazy.
I agree, Harris.
Yeah, it was.
I agree, Harris. I'm very interested in the fact that Team D is actually running Pike from what I've seen, which is just not what I expected out of them. But yeah, they've been more close quarters. So.
Did you see that?
Yeah, he stuck the steal.
Dude, that was crazy.
This is what Make-A-Wish Foundation did all last week, and it worked out for them nonstop. It is crazy up until they played against Bricked. Teams overextended every single time, and then Make-A-Wish would just exploit that. They'd be like, oh, they're spread out, I'm sticking to steal. And that's what they would do every single time.
Dude,
that also sucks that he hit that winch on the box and didn't actually pull it. That is unfortunate.
That was crazy.
And I think that was an interesting play. But yeah,
I think it got wedged on the goo there. It got stuck on the goo as he tried to pull it out.
I don't get
it was
that
just
either.
The goo wall just was perfectly placed and kept it from getting pulled away.
Just wow.
And then he had to go jump in and try to actually force the prevention.
Yeah, I think the corner of the cash box literally hit that goo wall and it just could not.
Oh, what an insane angle! Oh, I missed the winch though. Did you see him? He was waiting for him with that RPG.
Yeah.
That would have been huge. Gets it. Wait.
Oh, that's the cleanup.
Kill there.
That's cleanup on the medium. Oh,
yeah, but the sledge, no.
Llama with the bonk coming back.
Oh, and the cleanup from Emilian.
Dude, the SA-12 does that to you way too often.
I'm happy. Bonks in the chat, everybody.
So unfortunate.
Yeah.
Nice finish up from Emilian there. Just taking Llama out. A vault fight, it does matter a lot, though, because even though it was a fight over the vault...
Sledge Buko Bucks.
To be able to start this next cash out.
There's nothing worse to be like, I can run down this sledge, and then you have to reload and bro is just beaming you down.
Oh, he's faster than I thought.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it happens way too often.
They're actually just setting up, I think, because they don't really have time to do.
This is an unfortunate cash out spot too. I mean, for where they spawned, it's not a good spot. The good thing in here is they could be coming from behind. It depends on if they know
oh,
oh,
that's a big winch. Okay, that's
2v2 up there.
2v2.
That's 2 dead, but there is a
Oh, 2v1.
Saints one are
Dude, what was that?
Bro said, "Fuck the ping diff, bro." Are you kidding me?
What was that? Did you see? He chowed it like under half health.
Oh my god.
Chowed and won that. That was crazy.
And he is just
dude, wow, that was insane. That was actually crazy.
Dude, 3,400 damage with the pike so far. Now, bro, He might be the GOAT. He might be the best to ever do it. I'll be honest.
Bro,
that was
Bro
crazy.
Chow's like how I want to chow.
All I know is I slide that corner, jump in ADS, and I shoot, and I hit right over them every single time. I do not hit.
For real, the strafing he was doing would have
Oh my god, they're just right back into the fight.
There we go.
Fastest spawn ever.
Dude, did you see that RPG connect?
White, bro. Dude, Team Dead's gonna knock out Saints 1 here, I think. I think that's it.
Wow.
Dude,
that RPG was crazy. How did he hit that so quick? Watch this.
I don't know.
Heartbreaking, but look at this replay.
Oh my god.
Llama just going insane.
That was crazy.
This is what we talked about. This is
How do you hit that connect?
And myself talked about Llama as one of our favorite players, just because it's.
Dude, I think that's it. I think Team Diz is gonna take the series. It's gonna send Saints 1 down the lower bracket, which was not what I expected. I had the feeling Team Diz was honestly gonna struggle.
I'm excited to see losers, really.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we'll watch very many losers games. I think it's going to depend on time because they're running all these subsequently. That's kind of the one down thing. Like, that was the one thing about playoffs last week was the upper bracket was so dominant, and then lower bracket, you had Make-A-Wish just making the run of the century.
I think that stands behind everything I said before this match starts up. The teams learned, the teams pivoted, then they just dominated.
That's
hard
crazy.
For Saints 1 fan, and I know that there are a ton of you out there throughout this entire league.
Wow.
We've had probably some of the most people come in and root for Saints 1, and they deserve.
Dude, that's with their second medium doing 800 damage. Just supporting Living Shit out of them. That's crazy.
Happened in this last map that could have just
that's the one that's running Heal Beam, though.
I would guess so with 2700 support, probably.
What's crazy is people in the comment section right now of the Twitch chat. They're literally all like, "Oh yeah, Heal Beam's a waste, this and that," and it's like, dude, no, I think they're really underselling the capabilities of Heal Beam. It's so good when you have two mediums. It's honestly like the go-to when you're running two mediums is having that one Heal Beam.
If he put it together, so amazing.
I think T Mills was running the Pike. I'm not sure if Boo Boo was on Pike as well.
So we're gonna
T Mills was running the Pike, right?
Has to say
the other medium is running Serb.
Really interesting match.
Oh right, yeah.
Which makes sense. I mean, if you ask me, you have Serb, you have Pike, and then you have the Heavy just being a menace on Sledge. And it's honestly a really good setup you got going. I mean, the Sledge Heavy is going to take so much attention, and then the Serb is going to keep people just freaking out constantly. And then you just have the Pike just able to have so much space to work with to get those shots that he's been getting. It's insane. It's like the perfect team comp right now. And I honestly think this is the problem that they're running into, is on top of the ping issues, they just don't know how to approach this. I think they're in such a standstill spot where they genuinely do not know what to do. And I think they're going to go through the same thought process that Team did win, is that, hey, we need to slow down. We need to figure something out. We're moving way too quick, and we're just throwing fights here. Because that's what they're doing, honestly. They are just going in and dying immediately. They need to slow down if they want to win this.
You know what's crazy is that map 3 was actually Team Dia on the EU ping, so they had the ping differential, and they still just were beaming with that Pike, which is crazy.
I think they just have such a tight team comp right now that they don't know what to do. It really is like, I can't imagine being in their situation. It's tough. You already have the nerves that you're in this, pretty high point of the tournament, and you're just getting stomped on. And what do? They have to slow down. They have to take a different approach. There's no other way they can win this. It's impossible. And I don't know what they can change. And I hate to say it, but they might need to get off the light. They might need to.
Well, that's the series, so we're gonna see. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe light on high ping. Well, they had the ping differential. Like, they had the advantage technically.
I don't think ping is the issue. I think right now that double medium with a heavy is just too hard to pick off with a light right now. That comp, they're always going to be right on top of each other, which we've seen multiple times. The heavy will hop in, start distracting them, and then the Pike and the Serb will just come in and clean up. And it's just too hard.
Yeah.
And the light, I mean, they die too quickly. And they can't get angles because by the time they even rotate to a behind angle, the team's already dead. And that's the problem. I think they need to just have a different team approach here. I mean, they could keep the light, but the light either needs to switch to maybe a shotgun or something that can get that quick pick. They need something.
Yeah.
I don't know what they can do here. The XP54, I don't think is putting in enough work right now. I mean, the fact that he's lost multiple fights against the Pike with the XP54 is the crazy part.
Yeah.
I mean, something's not working.
Switch to dagger. I don't think that's the solution.
Okay, so they all go melee. We get dual blades. We get
Yeah, we just go
that's
straight
the
melee.
switch up we need.
I mean,
all smoke grenades.
In all fairness,
We're
it probably wouldn't have been a bad idea to maybe switch out. Let's see, Saints 1 were running a gateway at one point. Maybe switch that over to Incendiary Nade, because I'm pretty sure Team Did was running triple Goo-Nade. And I have the feeling that in combination with 2 mediums, one of which is running heal beam and also a sledge, was kind of one of those things where it was like easy to take and retake the cash box itself. So yeah, while the kill department on paper they're probably going to struggle more in, the bunker is just way stronger. And yeah, like you said, the XP54 is just not going to punch through all that spam.
Especially when the sledge heavy's on top of you. It's just, you're going to get one hit, it's going to be over. And that's what I mean is, like, I think here, I know it sounds crazy, but switching to the SH 1900 might be the moves. It might be the leverage that they need. Having that quick burst down, why it's incredibly risky, I think is what they need here. There's no other way. They need that quick pick. If they can burst down the heavy, Team Did will fall apart, because that's their whole flow. I mean, they rotate around the heavy. That's the whole team comp.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we jump into the next games, guys, real quick, if you're new here, go ahead and drop us a sub. Give us a like here on the stream. Please try to signal boost us. If you're not familiar with our channel, these watch parties are pretty much what we wanted to make the channel for. Our goal is to do this, what you're seeing right now, hopefully live at the major later this year or early next year. We need your guys' help and support, obviously, you know, because we want to bring a case over to Embark and be like, hey, we have this really cool idea.
I'll be right back. Do you want to text me if the game starts?
Yeah, I got you. So anyways, long story short, yeah, if you guys are enjoying the stream, if you think we're doing a good job over here, just drop us a like down below. Share this out to some friends if you got channels, things like that. You know, we really appreciate it. This is our big event that we're trying to do throughout the year. So yeah. Beyond that, another idea that we've actually talked about this week was actually doing a live version of Around the Arena, maybe at the event. We'll see. Like I said, we haven't talked to Embark about any of this yet, but that's a goal. So we'll see. But anyways, thank you guys for being here. Obviously, this is going on all weekend. It's a 2-day event. So tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern, this will kick off again. We will be here watching the matches. If not both of us all at the same time, at least one of us. So. With all that out of the way, looks like we got a little bit of time. Let's see. Why don't we do the Wordle? Been a few weeks. Let's do it. Thoughts? I'm going to start us off with my favorite starter word, later. And I bricked everything but the R. So, anybody in chat got something for me? Pass the time somehow. What, you want me to twiddle my thumbs and hang out? I could do that. Riddle. All right. That's too many letters. Never mind. 5 or less. We know there's an R.
With a spooze, it's simple as pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Osbooze is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault
Rusty.
or securing the winning cash out, Osbooze is there to fuel your victory. Its unique
That's crazy.
scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Osbooze, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
Now is a good time to tell you I'm dyslexic, professional writer, by the way, and I can't count, bro. Pick a struggle. No, I'm kidding. That's crazy though. We gotta get some vowels, boys. Right. No T, no E. I was thinking frown. F-R-O-W-N. Thoughts? What do we think? Right, I bet. Okay. So there's drown, groan, brown. Brown. God, there's like 5 words that it could be. Brown. Okay. Drown, brown. Okay, I'm gonna go brown because I see that one first. All right, I'm gonna go drown. Oh my god. Okay, so we have crown and groan are the 2 options that it could be. I think that's all our options. I'll let you guys pick. Decide your fate. Frown was already guessed. Unfortunately, that's not it. It's either groan, spin a wheel. Here, we'll flip a coin. Flip a coin. All right. We'll flip it one more time. Heads for crown. Tails for groan. Okay. What did I say? Heads for crown. Okay. No, it was groan. Oh. Okay. Well, we at least knew what it was. There's just too many options. I still consider that a win, even though we lost in 6. It's still a win in my book. Marble racing, that is a good point. I'd have to set that up. I almost crashed the stream opening games last week, but also I was opening the finals and was installing all the shaders. So, yeah, unlucky. I mean, it's kind of an annoying word when you get all the letters except for one, and then there's like so many of those. Yeah, I used to do marble racing on stream though. We could totally do that. I can set that up. Maybe tomorrow. I'll see if I can set it up tonight after the stream, and then tomorrow we'll see what we could do. I do maybe want to do a multi-bug giveaway at some point, so maybe that could be it. I do have to see the integration with YouTube. That's the only thing. When I used to do marble races, it was over on Twitch. When I used to host them back in COVID during my streamer days. Wait, like literal marble? Wait, what are you talking about? Literal marble racing.
Pro League Season 0 Championship. We are going to be jumping into our next match very soon, which is going to be...
Dude, Microsoft Edge is arguably one of the worst browsers ever.
We prepare for this match.
Literal marble racing.
A little bit. So, Jared, you kind of want to break down Burt Nuggets a little bit. You are kind of our resident EU expert. What can we expect from this team as we kind of take a look at our bracket and see what this matchup looks like?
Like physical, like oh god, hang on. Like these? I don't have ad block on this browser, FYI. This is not my main browser. What? Hello? Can't paste. One sec. There it goes. Oh, on this? Oh my god. See, I told you I didn't have ad block. Is this what you're talking about?
We've now seen the predictor for qualifying order down under in Australia.
I've
for
seen
Sunday's
this on TikTok.
Grand Prix, but now we are thrilled to bring you our race predictor, Marbula 1 style.
All right, bet we can do that. Unfortunately, no channel points here on YouTube, but let me pull this out. We can at least watch it. Why not? We got time.
Everybody. I'm Greg Woods. 16 turns awaits us in this iteration of Albert Park. And we've got a lot of drivers that are hoping to make a mark and start the season
strong. As an F1 fan, I am
using
ecstatic to watch this.
And marble driver skill alone. Taking a look at the grid, Carlos Sainz's stint at Williams not getting off to the best start.
Piastri's not going to start
Piastri,
19th,
but
FYI.
he's doing
Bro's
it
getting
in front of a home
pulled every
crowd.
single week. It's his rookie year.
Kimi Antonelli
like
and Alex Albon coming up
qualifiers.
next.
Okay.
Lewis Hamilton's debut in the Ferrari next to Liam Lawson's debut as a full-time driver
Liam Lawson
for Red
is
Bull.
not starting
Yuki
ahead of
Tsunoda
Piastri. It's just
in
not happening. Or
14th
Verstappen.
next to
I'm
the
sorry.
defending world champion Max Verstappen. Pierre Gasly and
Albon, I
Jack
love
Doohan,
it.
another one of those hometown favorites, but no Australian has ever
Albon
won
is a great
or stood
driver.
on the podium
Oh,
here.
hang on. Hold. Oh God, wait, hold on.
Next to
Hold. We have map picks. Hold on. All right, Fortune Stadium, Sister Rise, and Skyway Stadium. We have our maps.
So it's going to go NA on Fortune Stadium first. That's our first map.
It looks like we're starting NA
like you
first
said,
on Fortune Stadium.
it really
Who
is
are
gonna
we?
be an
I don't even
uphill
know who we're
battle for
watching is the
Burnt Nuggets,
problem.
But I'd kind of love your opinion on this one, Jerry. What do
We'll get back to it, though.
they need to do? What strategies do you want to see them pull out to take out a team of this caliber?
It's a tough one, really, because I'm looking at their kind of matchups, and I've got to say, this has Bricked written all over it. I really struggle to see how Burnt Nuggets make this work. I mean, the map choices, they do make sense, you know. It's actually, no, they don't.
Skyway goated. I've had Skyway and Monaco confused apparently for the past few weeks until yesterday. We were playing with Finney and I was like, oh wow, we're playing Monaco. I haven't played this map in a while. They don't play it in ProHubs. And he's like, you mean Skyway? And then I pressed tab and saw we were on Skyway. And I was like, oh yeah, that map.
And then looking on the side of Brick,
It's honestly just because like the buildings in the town look a lot like the buildings in Monaco. But, all right, Bricked versus Burnt Nuggets. I expect this to be an absolute slam by Bricked, but we'll see.
Rio, we are here
Gonna be interesting.
ready to cast Bricked versus Burnt Nuggets, starting off on Fortune Stadium. I know you couldn't be happier about this. Let's get going.
I love Fortune Stadium, and I love to watch the finals on it. So Jerry had a great introduction.
Fortune Stadium's fun, though. This map falls apart like paper, though, which is crazy.
In chat, if you're a Burnt Nuggets fan, show your love for them because they need it.
Busy's literally walking.
Pull something off for us. We're watching now as Brick kind of sets up. Nobody's made a move just yet. We see them kind of crouching, walking around. Everybody's having a nice time, maybe filling out some forms. I'm not really sure what's going on.
They're waiting to see where the team is. They're trying to spot them.
Wants to make the first push.
I would say this is the most calculated I've seen Brick play, bro. Those guys usually just headbutt and slam everybody, so maybe they're actually worried about EU a little bit. It does look like Bricked. We're starting on EU server, so. Twitch, please stop giving me pop-ups.
So they're probably feeling quite warm right now up against Brick, who, by contrast, this is the first time they've played today. So we'll see how that affects the first fight, the first map, and so forth. Right now we're having a look at Norton. He's got a bit of an angle on the
Busy taking quite a bit of damage. Busy falling early. That's not good. We'll see if STN gets him up. I don't know if he will. Oh, Stooge! Oh my God!
Onto his opposite number, but it's only the little guy left up against these two chunky targets.
If anybody pulls out this clutch, it's Stooge, but unfortunately does not. Nigiri does knock him out.
Close behind him, finish him off with the F car. So that is a fairly comfortable fight. First things first for Burnt Nuggets, the EU side up so far against the map pick.
Yeah, and this was kind of a weird battle because they were kind of on top of each other and then below, and I think that was just kind of more sloppy than I have seen from Bricked. But hey, it's a good sign for the Burnt Nuggets because they got the first wipe, they got the cash, and they've gotten it started. On top of it, this cash out is one of the most strong and hard to push cash outs.
He's never beaten the allegations. Let's be real.
Right now, they've dematted through that wall,
I hate to be the one to say
it. Just on that first approach, so it makes things slow down.
The problem is, even if he doesn't, if he's not cheating,
he took a lot of damage on that.
That
the
good.
Brick teams are struggling to kind of find themselves
like
in this fight as Busy goes down. Palma is able to get the trade, and he goes down as well. There goes Nagiri as he's bringing them down. Trying to find the next fight, and there we go. The Burnt Nuggets finally go down in this battle. They will get the steal, and Brick will be able to.
Yeah, I was surprised to see the F card as well. Wow.
That fight goes to show that it's so difficult to predict the flow of things in this game.
No comms.
I texted you.
Where?
On damage
your phone?
You know, they just about managed to escape into that corner using the gateway. Very smart team positioning there.
That's crazy. I didn't get that. Okay.
Twice?
That high ground. Everything going for them.
I was like checking like a million times and I just didn't get it.
He just has the best flicks I've ever seen on a controller. Yeah.
This is Bricked versus Burnt Nuggets.
This is Bricked versus Burnt Nuggets. Bricked did get wiped on the first fight, but then they kind of slammed Burnt Nuggets on the second fight. So they now control the cash out. We're on first cash out. This is a great peak. We're also seeing an F car out of Burnt Nuggets, which I have not seen in a while.
Yeah, there is the drop. The cash
They
out
have like
falling
10
down.
seconds
There's maybe
to
20
start doing
seconds
this,
left,
and it's
and they're
GG's.
going for a steal. The Burnt Nuggets have to stay
Oh,
on it
he
right
almost hit
now.
that nullifier.
There
He was
is
looking for
time
it
left
too.
and right.
Oh,
Nobody is on
That
it. It hits
heavy
a bounce pad.
gave
It is
work,
shooting
bro.
That's
up,
busy, bro.
And it seems like Team Brick will have this. As
Is Eli
Alma
using
maybe
controller?
goes for
Stooge,
a
yes.
last
He plays
second
on
steal,
controller.
But he gets cornered, and there is a
Yeah,
team
I
wipe.
don't know
There
why
we
the
go.
finals took the
Brick has the
glyphs
first
off
one.
of when you
STN
spectate people.
shockingly
So
has 0
it
kills.
used to
He
be
does
like a
have
couple
some
patches
assists
ago.
here.
I'd say
They
before
are playing
6.6,
pretty well-rounded as a
maybe
team.
even before season
Shockingly,
6,
the
you
Burnt
could
Nuggets have
see
more
if somebody was on
kills.
controller or not based
Yeah,
on spectating
maybe
them.
they have
Like it would
chance
show
to
like their
just
input
follow up.
buttons. Now it's
Hey,
your binds all the time.
That was a fight won
So
by
it's
Busy.
kind of hard to
I
keep
have
track of.
commend him.
But
He
yes,
does not know
Stooge
how
plays
close
on
he was to
controller.
losing that. We saw
I would think
Dawson
Busy
with
and
another
STN
fire out and
use
ready to fire. He
mouse and
almost
key.
got it off, but immediately
A lot of
died
people in the
to
Twitch
close
chat
range shots
of
of
the
SA
ProHubs
12
are kind
and
of saying that they
then
feel like this isn't really
is he able
fair.
to follow up with another kill to defend
I
the
think
point.
it's
So
a
that
little.
really
It
was
depends on how they're
fantastic.
doing the
Bit of play
switches.
from the heavy on the
Honestly,
side of Bricks.
I feel
Now
like
we lock in
if
with
they're kind of
Burnt
giving
Nuggets
each team an equal
again with
chance.
this top-down
I mean, but you
control,
also
but
have
that doesn't
last game,
mean
right,
victory in
where
this game
Team
necessarily.
Dit was
You really need to
performing
put a lot of
on the
stock
bad server.
in this kind of
So I
positional
mean,
play,
it really is
but
just there's no
things have
excuse.
changed.
It's an online
Yeah,
tournament.
oh,
I mean,
like
what
it
do
when
you,
people
what do you?
take a slow
What do you
approach. It
want?
means that they just don't want to
Yeah,
just
I agree.
jump into the combat.
I
They
mean,
wanna
it's just-
find a
we
Unfortunately,
of
strategy.
just
course
not
would
work.
love them all to fly out and
That's
play in
what
a
we're
centralized
seeing
place,
some
but let's be real. I mean, this is a
something
community
worth
tournament.
looking and trying
This
to
is the
look
best
for
community
quality
tournament you
players.
have.
Anybody that's near
Probably
It's
one of the
really well
only.
done.
separated from
But
his
what are you
team.
gonna do?
That's what a good light
Yeah.
player can do. They can kind of get
Now, maybe there's a
But it
case.
seems
Okay,
like
there is a
Brick have
case
made
in my
that choice.
opinion
They
for the
wanna go for
playoffs.
this
The
push.
there should have been maybe some cash prizing there instead of this.
And they are waiting for
That does get
this
rid of
push.
the
I
whole
think they just need their last
not
push
having to worry
still
about ping
get
and
in there,
ping and you
we
making
will
the
see
argument about
this
ping. But
start.
people also make arguments for everything these days. I mean,
So calm
there's
and
mouse and
composed.
keyboard versus controller frame assist, but mouse and keyboard has easier to aim. You know, like people are gonna find a way to argue about something.
Oh,
Because something's
absolutely.
unfair.
This map is going to be really interesting in my opinion because this map has a ton of really, really hard places to take. A lot of these cash box points are very, very hard to take.
Oh. Map also is made of paper and falls apart the second you touch it. So,
agree. Especially that orange building in the one corner.
yeah,
Yeah.
sniff it the wrong way and it tumbles all the way down.
Step wrong. It's like
Yeah.
an Indiana Jones trap.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Perfectly. They're even able to deal with a giant RPG hitting multiple of them. So
I think this is gonna be curtains for Burnt Nuggets on map one. I'll be honest. I don't. They're gonna need a miracle play. Gateway failed. I mean, they're gonna get there with the 3/4 captured. They need a
I think
quick
we're seeing
limb.
a very, very, very
they go on the bounce pad,
large
pushing
trend
in, dematting
when it
through
comes
the
to these
roof.
teams.
All
And
of the
we
Brick
noticed
team
that
is
one
very
team is kind
close
of
together,
really,
standing
really
behind
taking the
that dome
momentum,
ship
which we already
dimensional.
talked
They're
about.
now going for it.
I
They know
stand
that they're
behind.
right
Every
underneath
team
Satchel's
needs
on
to
there.
Oh, but
slow
they're able to
down,
get
dude.
it off, and there it
This
goes.
might be the
He's
steal of a
fighting
century, though.
right
They're going
on
to demat
top of
under
it.
it,
They
though,
are
surely, right? Yeah.
straddling
They
this.
also have
They're
satchels
able
on it, but
to
he
ride it
stayed
down.
on top. He stayed on top of the cash box, so he
This is not gonna
stays
be enough
stealing
time
it.
for Brick if
Oh
they wanna
my
get
god.
it. They have to get a kill.
Crazy.
This is insanity.
Oh
The
my
Burnt Nuggets
gosh.
have taken it.
That
They
was
pushed it
crazy.
out
They
of
had
the
satchels
It is now
and
just down to
DMAT. Why would you
Brick.
not
It's the
drop that
last person
earlier?
remaining, but it won't matter because he's able to get the steal and get the
Yeah, no,
stop.
adding
He
in
goes
multiple
down with a
continents,
wipe,
I
but
think
we
would
will see
be
one more cash out in
great.
this match.
I'm hoping for the major.
Incredible.
We don't know enough that I'm hoping there's surely there has to be
I think
some
it's a global.
pre-major
It's
tournaments,
a
right?
global major with open qualifiers. So the teams you're seeing here are going to compete in open qualifiers, but it is a totally separate system versus what ProHubs is. So
I hope it's similar.
Yeah.
It should be. They kind of have it figured out, if you ask me.
And they even
Yeah.
had the DMAT to bring it down. They must have thought, okay.
Yeah, do they do that
go
setup
for plan
often?
B.
That's
And
so
they
funny. They got a
found the
signature.
Nuggets from above
That's so
the
funny.
satchel with the
They
DMAT.
thought
I just feel like they took way too long. Can we talk
everything
about Busy's heavy
Also,
movement right there?
credit to Norton with another
That's a heavy
right
climbing those
seal
stairs.
the deal. That was just delicious.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't pull the charge.
That's what I was saying. I was like, I feel like they just waited too long. They dematted it. It took way too long for them to demat, and then they pulled the charge. Maybe there was miscommunication on who was going to do what first. STN's getting ready to run right into Palma. Palma jumped off the map with a wipe. Okay, yeah, they just wanted to give him the wipe.
They're going to get a team wipe and get it reset as Brick will bring this.
There's a total of
all
like
the way
2
to
good
B
players in
and
South
get
America.
it.
Bro, they just
Hey,
need their
dude.
chance.
Yeah, they just need their chance, dude.
Open quals are going to be interesting, though.
There's at least 3 of them.
And they're not going to make the
okay?
same mistake
Give them
again.
some
either.
credit.
They're going to put it on
They
its
deserve
side.
at least a team.
That may make a slight difference, I suppose. There's a few different interactions that will take place now if Burnt Nuggets try and go for.
This is the decider cash box, at least for map 1, so we'll see.
They've got a rather unfortunate spawn, I have to say.
I bet I'm curious what the player base stage is.
This spawn sucks, and they gooed off the launch pad.
This is what I'm talking about. Is this map has such hard points to control? It reminds me a lot of.
Norton has managed to cross relatively safely. He's decided to come back and give his team.
Yeah, it's very similar to Soul, where there's these like points of the map that you can kind of control the entirety of one side of the map if you sit in a position, just like what they were doing. You sit on that roof, and there's no way over. There's only 2 jump pads. That's it, and you have a sight on both of them. It sucks.
Yeah, we're gonna see this replay real quick as Llama is getting a kill.
Thanks for hanging out, Evelyn. Catch you later.
Yeah, weird replay, but hey, who cares?
Yeah, South America, Oceania, Middle East, many people in there want to join the finals major. Yeah, I think it's just gonna be interesting with Open Qualifier, but I hope it exists. I think there's in-game servers at least, like where you can choose your preferred matchmaker.
I've heard Australia is crazy, or Oceania.
Yeah, I've heard Oceania is pretty hard to find a game.
They are able to kind of move in
one
and out of it.
But we'll see.
It kind of reminds me back in the day. Me and a buddy used to play Smite. He's from Australia, and he quite literally just could never find a game in Australia. It was unfortunate.
Yeah, the Goos are
they had servers out there, but
pads to the point that they would have to jump around them. And here is the last
that
push.
XP
Maybe we're gonna see it's a hard point to push, but here they are. The Burnt Nuggets are here.
To beat
they need to
Stooge,
get on it. They need to get a steal going. But look at this. Stu is just popping off.
I don't even know what the Ruby weapons are for this season.
With that Cerberus, but unable to complete it. He goes down.
Watch it be a repeater skin. Be like, never mind, I don't even want it.
Long enough to get
probably is,
to
honestly.
get the cash and to get the
All right, well, that was a pretty dominant cash out by Brick there on the last one. So
just stole. That was all they were doing.
Pretty crazy. Well, actually, I mean, really not. Like, it was, but at the same time, I mean, they were pretty close. It was 25-25.
No, I was talking about the last cash out specifically.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, I'm like, that game was...
No, that was a very close game.
Very close, but it was. I mean, yeah, Brick had an insane...
Dude, standing on top of the cash box and riding it through the DMAT was crazy.
I'm surprised because every time I've tried to do some dumb shit like that, it's always never worked, dude. It never worked. Like, the cash box will, like, flip, like, 40 different ways, so it throws me off or something.
You gotta kick flip it.
Right, yeah. You gotta show it who's boss.
I think that sadly is more.
Well, while you were gone, we played Wordle on stream and lost because the word is dumb. Yes.
So just an interesting.
You guys should do. We should do another one.
Do connections here in a minute, but at the next break, whenever that is. Does that say 12 shots rating? Yeah, bro. Busy's the goat. I hate to say it. That dude is the goat on heavy.
And hey, they pulled it together. So
well, yeah. Plenty of European teams made that mistake last weekend in the EU playoffs. It was.
I have to put on my glasses at some point. I have my contacts on because I went for a run this morning.
All the way to third.
They're a little bit less prescription than my glasses. And I can tell I'm like squinting, looking at the screen a little bit, especially reading chat.
And they turn up when it matters most.
But like I said before, the game
eventually. Does represent
might do that at the next break.
Challenge, and so far they haven't been equal to it.
Yep, not yet, but I do want to point out, like I've said before, we see a lot of teams in the first map. It's not their map, and they pivot, they learn, they change. Can they change?
Bob has sent me some cool ones.
I don't know. I hope so. Like,
for what?
I really hope that they're able to kind of
like
get
Wordle
something going.
type stuff.
I mean, who doesn't love an underdog story? If they're able to beat Bricked,
like Wordle type.
Oh yeah.
The terrifying sleep
I can't remember what.
Demon
like,
that
there was
nobody
some
wants to acknowledge.
Evelyn was saying we should watch IRL marble racing on Steam.
I don't know.
Oh, have you ever watched this before?
Yeah, I was watching the F1 one earlier.
Yeah, they're super fun. Another one I really like is Marble Racing is good. There's another one I can't remember what the channel is, but I think they race like
better for him. So they might
bunnies or something.
Here. They have to really, otherwise they're going to be.
And it's the exact same setup.
Lower bracket. And
yeah, it's like the exact same setup, and it's really good to watch. I did have a marble like watching. It's honestly a night like so you turn it on, and you just kind of like you literally check out. You check out entirely. And it's a great thing to watch.
We used to do marbles on stream on Twitch. Back during COVID.
I have to give a moment.
Yeah, the actual like physical marble races though are great.
Yeah, they are.
A lot of people can do that. It's a way of leveling the playing field if you think of it that way.
My guess is the remake in the
really
lobby a
does
bit.
stand out as
It's probably gonna be a
spectacular
minute
ride.
here.
I picked up my
STN
drink and the
medium
cap came
is
off. It
so
was scary.
reliable.
That is
I'm
terrifying.
not saying
What'd you
this
get?
Because I casted with him. Oh, excuse me. I've got my mic
I've
open.
been.
Uh,
I
I'm
get
not
coffee
saying this
like
just
I know you
because
didn't
I've
ask this.
casted with
I'm
him
getting to the
recently,
point.
and he was a very
So
nice guy.
I get coffee on like
But,
Monday,
yeah,
Wednesdays,
watching them
sometimes
in their
Fridays, if
switches,
not
they're
Saturdays,
so
right?
sort of
Mhm.
clean on
So
point with
especially
their
at Starbucks,
comms,
like
and
the
then busy.
calories
I
are
feel like
insane.
that game
So
Yeah.
I've been trying to figure out like an order where, because I've been
really
trying to like
impressive
lose
heavy
weight
play
and like
from start to finish.
bulk up and or like
Yeah, one interesting
get more
thing I
muscle and
noticed
everything,
that is that
which
you
is
guys are
honestly,
doing the
by the way,
RPG,
been
and
going great. I
traditionally
just
busy
like weighed
has
myself
been the
again, and I'm like
rock
now at
bolt
like
for the other
167.
majority of it. He just
Oh,
I
that's
don't know
fair.
what I've been doing.
So
I've been losing
yeah,
like
we'll
kind of a
see
scary amount of weight.
whatever
I don't know if I'm
choices they
dying
make.
or it's a good thing.
That's
But
probably
we'll
just
see in the
like commuting even away from home and stuff, and like I don't know, eating lunch at work and stuff probably is
Let me
helping.
tell you, I'm at work and this is
yeah,
me.
I just it when the season started and we were in the season preview.
Yeah.
Miniguns were here.
So,
Nobody thought that was safe and effective.
I don't. I have a sit stand and
Just
I
kind
should
of
use
like,
it more.
this
But
is cool,
anyways,
nobody's gonna be able to.
is
be
that
this
I
effective
got
and
like
end
I
up
didn't realize
really
whipped cream
getting
had a
used.
ton of
But
calories, which makes
Oh,
sense.
yeah.
But like I just didn't think. You know, it's not something you think about. You're like, oh, it's just like light. It's just air. It's just aired cream.
Look at that. Is that the
Like
bird
no way it's
nuggets
that
are
much, and
all
yeah, it's
in
like almost
unison?
300 calories.
Except it's
So I just-
whipped heavy cream. That's the problem.
I know, but it's like you don't realize like oh that's 300 calories in itself. You just don't think about it because it's just like it's airy. It's like you don't. Just your brain thinks like oh it's like
I love the look personally.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It really looks
Anyways,
nice.
I just get a white
It's really
mocha
nice
and I
to
only
take.
get 3
Is
pumps,
this
no whipped
Suge
cream, and it's like
on the plate?
almost
They're
under
taking
200 calories.
a
Yeah.
leaf
It's like
out of
220,
the book of
and it's
Dean.
great.
You know, we've seen
called
now
it.
at
So-
No, I
Halo
feel that. I
bringing
for
the
the past
fight
probably
with the
week,
ATS as well.
even though it's getting hot outside now, I've been drinking more hot lattes. Because I make my own espresso and stuff here
Yeah,
at the
which I'd
house.
love to do in the future. I mean,
Oh,
white
you're
mocha,
full
like,
tech, bro.
I could-
Now's your chance. Not that you literally have
I
to
know, a
fit
white-
the role.
well, I gotta get the web developer job where I'm home most of the time, and then I can I can do that.
Fair.
Let me tell you, my boss and my coworkers are crazy though. It'll be like 3 times a day. They're like, "Coffee run, you guys?" And I'm like, "They go to Starbucks and spend like $15 a day, dude."
Bro, I'm telling you, we were when I was in Phoenix for work. That was us. I mean, they went on like 4 coffee breaks in the span of like 8
I
a.m.
know,
to
it's
noon. I was like,
crazy.
what is wrong with you people?
Crazy. What's funny is my boss. He would go to Starbucks and they know his ass, dude. They know
God.
him.
Dude, I mean, and that's coming from a guy that drinks like 40 grams of espresso a day. Like that's what my latte is. I mean, it's a little over a double shot. It's really not that much, but it's like a double shot and then a Celsius like during or right after lunch. Like, and that's my caffeine intake, which is a lot.
I probably shouldn't be drinking caffeine. I have really like it's not good for me, but dude, on those days I'm commuting where I'm waking up at like almost 5 a.m. and having to drive an hour, I'm like, I need it, dude.
Yeah,
It's
Warm
just,
sweet
like,
treat. Warm or iced sweet treat. I had a Vietnamese iced coffee today. So Saturdays we've been running in the morning. We run like mile and a half to 2 miles, and then and it's to the farmers market. That's basically like the next neighborhood above us. And so we've done that the last 2 weeks, and got Vietnamese iced coffee, and she got a breakfast burrito. I didn't get anything, so I can't eat it for sweating and huffing puffing.
Dude, I'm so glad they're going up there on that roof. Like that is.
Oh, that's the God spot, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that spot. People do not do that enough.
No, that's the God
Actually,
spot.
everyone forget what I just said. Do not go up there. It's horrible.
Yeah, terrible location.
Terrible,
You're absolutely
worst
selling if you
idea.
go up
Do not
there.
go up there. Yeah. Do not go up there. Do not follow me up there. Don't go anywhere near there.
Yeah, mind your business. If you see me up there, just mind your
Know
business.
your fucking place.
Unbelievable there, and now it's 3 versus 1, and once again, surely a 4.
Oh, man.
These people that's coming from the sky, just mind your damn business. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
You don't fight
exactly.
me, I won't fight you unless you touch my cash box, and then we gotta go.
Oh, dude, poor guy. Poor Norton. Bro was just.
Yeah.
Bro was getting collapsed on. But
Probably should have wiped
no,
faster, to be honest.
yeah, they really should have. That's a big problem that I think really separates like the lower and the higher ranked people is knowing when to wipe and how to do it efficiently. And I feel like we even struggle with that. There's so many times where like even I'll tell somebody to do it and then I'll go and do it. And I'm like, dude, I just need to die. Like I need to find a way to die.
Oh man.
It's especially hard on light though. I will say you just don't have as many tools in your kit that could kill you really.
You gotta go
Which
find
is
a
funny.
fire or gas barrel.
It's really funny because you're the lowest health class in the game and you don't have a lot of options to kill
Can the
yourself.
burnt nuggets
Yeah,
get
you gotta go
on
find
this?
like a
This
fire
is
barrel or a
going
gas
straight
barrel.
forward.
I
Oh my
guess.
God,
Why are they
there
putting
now
flower pots on top?
top
Oh,
of
they
their
got it
no
winched away
C4
anyways.
as they winch it on in there.
Wait, hold on.
Dude, STN staying dialed in on that.
I honestly, not to be a hater, but I don't know how the heavy didn't kill that guy.
They're going for the steal, but
I don't know what
think
happened.
there's enough time.
Like,
Busy
there was a
drops down
large
on
amount
them,
of time
and
where he
gets
could have
the
gotten
last
that kill
kill
off.
on the
Yeah.
Burn Nuggets. They get the cash, they get the kills, they got everything so far.
So good. I mean, I don't
I
think
will
I've seen a
say,
team as
I'm-
good as
The flower
Briggs
pots on
at
top of the cash box
identifying
is
how
crazy.
they should engage with
Yeah,
the team.
it's
We saw in the
trapping.
last fight they stayed as
Yeah, like, look how
trio
much
and
time
won
he
the
had to get
3
that
versus
off.
1
He just
3
whiffed.
times.
Oh, he just whiffed everything.
He whiffed
Sending in
hard,
players
dude.
Yeah, he
one
whiffed
at a
everything.
time. STN tasked with doing everything he can and then
Yikes.
waiting for him to die so that
Yeah,
Busy
he missed
could
him
jump
really
in
badly,
at
and
the
that
last
was
second.
like
Perfectly staggering,
that's just
perfectly
unfortunate.
stalling and kiting. It's their word of the day for Bricks.
Well, in a really interesting thing that I saw in that replay, I didn't catch the first time, but they actually
He's
added
at
the
aim labs.
ladder so that
He's
they
at some.
could winch
Can't
claw
blame the
that
ping.
cash
I can tell
out.
you that. They're
It was
on
just
EU
such an
ping right now.
amazing last-second play. Yeah, one of the coolest things I've ever seen because I missed that. But hey, who cares? Because both of these
Maybe that's
teams
the
are
problem.
going right
Maybe
at
being
it.
on high
No
ping
slows
actually
it
helps
down.
you in this
Actually
game.
took the
Oh,
box
he hits this,
and
right?
God.
No
Oh,
way!
no.
How do you not hit that?
Oh,
How got
no.
away? They are chasing him, ready.
Wait,
to
more
fight him.
interestingly,
He's
I
got
just
the
realized
tickle of
Stooge is
HP.
on
Can
medium,
they find him? But no,
not
I think
light.
he's gonna get away
And playing
from
with the
this.
pipe.
I'm telling you,
Wait for his team
I
to
stand behind.
respawn
I
and
think
bring the
in a
battle
3v3
right
scenario like this,
Yeah, he could
it
be
sometimes is
anywhere
better
at
to
this
go
point. This
double
building
medium.
is
It just
complete
makes
maze.
more sense.
So
You're
instead,
in these
Bricks
like
pull off
consolidated
the
team fights where having
forces
another
and actually
medium
close
is
that
game
box, bring it a
game
little
changing.
further. Stujo's gonna
So
get quite close to
game
C.
changing.
The benefit here though is that
STN has at least 2 kills for throwing himself at the other team to stop a steal. Incredible. That's my goat.
I'm saying, dude, he's
That's
got
my
away with
goat.
way too much.
I'm telling
Way too
you,
much he's got away
Team
with.
Break is becoming like OG optic gaming for me at this moment when it comes to the finals. Like they just slam everybody, and I just respect it the entire time.
Dude, we need to get him on the.
Yeah, and we're seeing this time.
What was the sniper? We need to get him on there.
A direct approach. They need to find that
Oh,
opening. They need to find somebody out of position. Like I think that they
Wait,
just
what?
did. They are chasing this.
You know-
player
you know
down.
Nade with the
He's
sniper?
teammating
Oh,
on
yeah.
the floor.
Yeah.
He is on a vengeance. He wants to get this kill. Now the rest of
Come
the team
on,
is
no
there.
way.
All
Oh,
around
dude.
as Brick
That's
gets one of them
unfortunate.
down. It is now a trade as
The hip fire in this game is
Kill
so,
and they are just
like,
trading back
just
and
iffy
forth.
sometimes.
What is this? The reses, the insanity.
I think you
Ooh,
just got.
I would not want to be in that position. I would not want to be in that
Wait,
position.
Palma can clean this up. If he gets this pick, he can clean this up. Okay, he stopped the
Dude,
heal
it's
regen.
like-
He stopped
Oh,
the
come
health
on.
regen.
Hurry up, please, please, please. No, no. He's gonna get hit. Yeah, regen's hitting. No way.
It's so imperative that he does. This is insane, but he got a res off.
the res.
Oh my god, and this is gonna
Uh-oh.
change the battle.
Oh!
But they got the kill. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That was
Crazy,
What a
dude.
chase down.
The
Oh
sledge
my
didn't
god.
connect. Dude, if that sledge would have connected, it would have been over.
He's managed to
Oh my
just
God.
about get that wipe for his team. This is ridiculous.
That was
Just overlay
crazy.
Benny
Oh,
Gilfrey
I'm
on this,
surprised he
please.
got him. That was
We'd
really
love to
close
see
to getting
it.
away.
That'd be content
Is
Busy,
right
is
there.
Busy running Sledge or is he
Anyway,
running
good
SA? I
luck
think he's
in
running
around
SA.
spawn in.
Can't tell. It looks like some weird.
Palmer now winching
What's
his
the cash
way
box
onto
doing?
the edge. It would be
I don't
surprising
know,
if
some
Bricks
winch
could
blow.
even
That's
close
it.
this
That's-
down. Wait,
that's
is that
it
not
right
Winch
red?
there.
blow shenanigans. That is
That's
that's
very
curtains on that cash out at least, but it's I don't know.
Yeah, they're
I don't
making the first. They're
know.
going for a direct
Oh,
dive.
big
Oh
goo.
yeah,
Oh,
if they
big
we need to
goo.
start it right now. They need to start it right
You're just
now.
sticking it
They
at
need to
9.
stick it right now if they want to get it, but sadly,
And
they're
that's why.
unable
Yeah,
to.
never mind.
And you see that time and time
It's
again, they
crazy
go
to
for
me
that
because I
last
do
second
feel
steal,
like
but
Brick
just
is
can't
making
get it.
so
The
many
time
good plays, but
gods
it's
are not
surprising
working
how
in their
close this
favor.
game is.
But
So
right now,
Yeah, I'm
we
telling
have
you,
a
people
tied match in
overextend
the
just
kills.
slightly,
Pretty close.
and
I'm
So,
telling-
guys,
I
if
know.
you're
And that's just
looking
it.
for
I really
Nuggets,
mean
they
it. It
have
really
one
is
more
like
cash out,
people
one
play
more
way too
opportunity
fast
to bring
sometimes
this
in
over
this.
these rematches.
And I think it's just the nature of the game that kind of makes you want to play fast because I have this
feel
like problem
if
myself.
you asked me before this
And
game
you really do
started,
need to
I
slow
would have
down.
bet on a Bricks 2
It's
mapper.
but everything in the game is telling you to
last
speed up.
playoffs in the LA playoffs,
It's
they
like
went
you have to fight
9-1
yourself really, really
in maps.
badly.
They only
And
lost
that's why
a
I think there's such a
single
big
map
trend of people
impact
playing way too
entire
fast and just
bracket.
wiping and dying
But
instantly.
we'll see
Yeah,
what
I think
Bricks
as the
sort of
pro
performance
scene
here.
matures and becomes even
It'll slow
more
down.
refined, you're going to see, especially in these modes, where it's 1v1 like this, I think you're going to see a lot slower play. Like, I can tell you last week, I saw, like, some teams really taking their time and, like, it felt like almost like a CSGO execute in a way. Like, they were like, all right, well, if we wipe, like, it's probably over, but, like, they're...
I agree
really
because
calculated.
realistically, I mean, I would rather have 1 or 2 amazing pushes than 3 quick pushes every time. And I think everyone thinks like, oh, well, if we wipe quick enough, we'll get another push. But the thing is you get into these situations where you don't have enough time to play effectively. You're now rushing. You're giving the team that's holding the cash box such a big advantage, and everything's in their hands. I mean, that's the problem is everyone's playing so fast that they realize, yes, I'm getting more hits on the box, but I'm now speeding up and playing way more recklessly. And if you just slow down and, you know, take a breather, actually come up with a plan, you probably will win 9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see in the long term what the game looks like. I think it's going to be drastically different.
100%. Yeah, I think you're going to see it become a lot more calculated, especially in this format where it's 1v1, retakes, and takes and retakes, you know, matter more than kills. I think when it's like normal crash out, it's a little different scenario. I mean, it's very chaotic. The game style is dynamically changing basically every.
No matter
dying,
I would say
dying to serve fire there. By the way, that's me throwing my desk. I'm just saying, right there. That was crazy.
I really stand behind that. I think when it comes to, yeah, I agree with you. When it's in like the full, you know, 4-team mode, it is all about playing quickly, and that's why I think the disconnect comes from. Is everyone's so like used to being this quick, chaotic hit that now it's like, yeah, it's just one other team, dude. Slow it down. Dude, you got all the time in the world.
You don't have to worry about being third-party tree. You have to worry about being flanked. Maybe motion sensor and things like that start becoming more prevalent. We'll avoid that if that became the playstyle, but I mean, there's tools to prevent that.
Right.
They can try and do something to stick this steal. It looks like that's what they might
Didn't undemat the wall though.
That's what I'm saying. That's kind of like almost a careless play.
That's what I mean. It's like they're so, but it's because they had no other choice, right? I mean,
they still
technically,
have time. They can hop on
time.
it now and still steal it.
I mean,
Like,
I agree with you to an extent, but this is what I'm talking about. Is they get into this, you know, situation where they're like, okay, well, you know, we don't have that much time. We gotta do it. And yeah, they're so careless to not demat the wall there, like undemat it. Sorry, like you're just leaving it open for them. What's up?
Oh my God, Yoink gifting 100 subs in the ProHubs chat is actually crazy. Sorry. I know that doesn't affect us at all, but I'm just saying that's crazy.
But they're not out. They're going to go down to the lower bracket.
And I didn't get one.
I don't think I got one. Did I get one? Oh wait, I'm actually. Wait, I'm prime subbed anyways. Never mind. I don't think I can get it if I'm prime subbed.
I'm not going to deal with the person in my face.
All right, Bricked 2-0 Burnt Nuggets. I mean, it is what it is. I will say I've got them on the bracket, basically going all the way to grand finals. So.
To really pay off. So
yeah, no, I will say Harris makes a great point that in a 3v3 scenario, you don't get money for anything outside of
securing the cash
taking
out.
the cash box. Yeah, you secure it, you get money. And I mean, yeah, so like, why are we rushing to hit the box first? Why are we rushing to do all these things? That's what I'm saying. It's like, I think people are so ingrained in the mindset of the 4-team mode that, I mean, it really is going to play so much differently in the long term. You need to slow it down.
Take a lounge about on his couch.
Well, it looks like we're going to have 2 NA teams facing off next. We'll have AHS playing against Bricked in the semifinals. Team D should be playing against Pulsar Esports, which was Aimers Red.
I would bet that they go pretty far.
I think Aimers Red is gonna win. That's the bet that I have. Blowers and Aimers Blue are currently 1-1, which is interesting. Aimers Blue, I think, won the entire playoff. Or no. Aimers Red won the playoffs for EU, and they won against Aimers Blue. So
you guys pointed this out.
I
essentially we're seeing a deconstruction.
expect Aimers Blue to also knock out Blowers or some Blowers to the lower bracket, but we'll see.
Cash out. But I think we're seeing teams that have also. I mean, these are probably.
Well, that's our goat right there.
These teams are not just pulling this out. They're not just randomly switching to stuff. They're doing things. I want to shout out a couple things here because I think Burnt Nuggets. they were clearly just Bricked are so good. Brick were clearly.
This is super off
control of
topic,
that,
but I
there
just
were
thought it was really
moments
funny.
that,
Elizabeth sent me this thing
there
because
were
our
moments that
4-year
they
anniversary
shown,
soon, and she said, "When
and
my
some of that
BF
I
and I
think was
reach our
interesting
4-year
because they ran some
anniversary, I
stuff
will
we
take him
don't see a
outside to
lot.
walk around,
We
and
saw
who knows,
Palmo
maybe we'll
running
even go to the
barricades
park."
instead of
I was like,
C4.
"Oh,
He
how
didn't run blue
exciting!
grenades, he ran
The park."
barricades. Not something we see a lot.
Sounds
Oh,
like a
yeah.
It
stupendous
didn't
day.
really work out for them.
Yeah, I can't wait to go to the
It's
park.
something we haven't seen a lot. We used
We're
to
going to
see
the park, really?
from the
We're gonna go on a walk?
heavy.
Holy! Maybe even get a little
Something
treat,
that
little
we
sweet
had
treat.
as well is we had Data Reshaper on
Sweet
Nagini.
treat. I mean,
That's
sweet treat
something
could be
I actually
worth
wanna
it.
talk a little bit because we
Little
saw a
sweet treat,
couple.
maybe?
There's two
Yeah.
really big uses
All right.
for these that I think. And
Should
I
we
think
go to
one of them is
connections?
something that people
You
don't
think we
think
got
about.
time? I feel like
The
we got
first
time.
one is
Yeah, I'm
obviously
watching it,
there's
so
a
you
lot
got
of
time.
there's
Put us in
C4,
connections.
there's
Let's
mines,
go.
there's so much stuff on these points. If you have Data
This is what
Reshaper,
everyone's here for. This is
instantly
what all
right?
13
This is
people
what we're
are
here for.
The
waiting
second
for.
thing that I think is really crucial.
Fuck the
with Data
game, dude.
Reshaper
We're here for
actually, you
some
can
fucking
guarantee
What is
connections.
happening?
from
Okay.
the
We're here
map.
for
If you
connections.
find any
All right,
gas
chat.
barrel,
In case you
can
don't know how to
reshape
play
that, and you
this,
know that the
we're
thing you're
looking to
gonna
make
get is on ledge
categories of 4
because of how important
of things that are
glitch grenades
related.
are on ledge.
It's
You
extremely
basically
hard. I
guarantee
suck
you
at
a
this
second
game.
glitch grenade. That can
So,
turn a fight on its head.
here, I
And
can
it's
share my
something that
screen
I've seen a lot of teams
for you, Cody.
pull in because they don't feel like they need that extra utility
Alright.
on their medium, so they want to make sure they have the extra thing to shut the teams down. So those are kind of two things that really stuck out to me.
Right,
And if that
macaroni,
Bird Nuggets
animal,
was doing a
king,
little bit
male,
differently, didn't work out.
ruler. Well,
I have a question about the data reshaper because the point you bring up about it turning gas barrels into glitch barrels is
hold on.
very true. And
Ruler, protractor.
helpful acronym which was poggers. And that would tell you.
I think I'm on a roll here. I think I have the first one, but I don't know what the other two are. Ruler and protractor. I think that's supposed to throw you off. It's supposed to be like king and ruler, you would think, but no, it's ruler, protractor. I don't know, beaker maybe.
Yeah, I was thinking beaker and
syringe,
measurable.
Where it fits, but yeah, you're
I'd
right.
be down for that.
A big difference.
Yeah,
And
go
these
for it.
two players, Palmer and Nagiri, they have been bringing these guys.
Oh, let's go.
Oh, let's go.
Oh,
I'm
we're
gonna go.
nice. We're nice. Good job. Nice job.
Animal, fungus,
know what they're coming up against.
plants,
They won't
bacteria.
As many scrims and things up against this kind of strategy. And
Organics, I guess.
In the moment, as we saw,
Yep.
can sometimes be
What
a
was the
little
last
bit
one?
more
Oh, fungus.
complicated than you think. But bricks ultimately were.
Dude, I'm gonna go. All right,
Member
I'll lay
of a
off.
kingdom in taxonomy. That is not what
how things have panned
I
out.
thought it
And
meant, but
we can
sure.
start to see how the kind
I'll
of
lay
NA
off.
versus
I'll lay
EU
off.
No.
side
Keep
of
going. Keep
things
going. You're
is,
cooking.
Okay.
working
No, you're
out.
cooking.
And
All right,
I already spot a little bit of a
Pin
surprise
strap?
there. Deer beating the newly signed Pulsar
Signature,
Esports.
signature, like commerce,
Yeah,
mail.
I don't know if I'd call it an upset. Honestly, I'm a big diff
Scooter,
fan.
maybe? I know it sounds
kind of
crazy, but
I was hoping for them to go far. But,
I don't know. Like
so
signature
what's that?
commerce
This is
mail
an
makes sense to
NA
me. I don't know.
What is
you
macaroni
short. I can't
king?
believe it. I'm embarrassed for
Oh
us,
my
guys.
I think
gosh, the
signature
blowers
commerce
the blowers
mail.
are on top. NA
And then
found their
maybe
game.
scooter, like
That's
things
amazing.
used in
You're right.
mail
That
or
is a
something.
4-team top.
Sure.
Or thing used in
NA
delivery.
Rio, how happy are you?
I'm so good.
E-things? Oh, e-commerce,
I'm so good.
email,
I mean,
e-scooter.
I'm so good.
Signature.
I'm so good at what I do. I'm so good at what I do.
I want to know what this last one is.
But, it's
Okay,
my
I'll
Kinds
be
of
right back.
gotta
penguins.
root for
That
my
makes
home
sense.
team.
All right, I'll be
And
right.
you know what?
right.
Almost every single esport NA is just a little bit behind EU. So
All
come
right.
on, guys. Is the finals going to be the moment for NA? Are we going to finally have teams that just dominate? I don't know. We're going to find out. But yeah, any kind of other wrap-up thoughts before we go to a break
God.
on this waltz?
Yeah, I actually, because we do have a little time, because it was 2 matches, I do have a clip that I want to go over just very briefly. From that first match, because there were a lot of, obviously Bricked were in control of that match, but there were a couple moments that I think really stuck out. Of course, that second match, Palma with that legendary rundown where he was able to pull off that 1v2, beautiful stuff. But the only point that Burnt Nuggets got in the first map was this one, where Bricked were in really big control. And I actually want to break down how small mistakes can kind of compound. So map starts, and Bricked obviously in control of this map right now. They're in this point, there's not a lot of time left. And they get pushed. At this point, they get pushed. They make the correct decision. We're going to back out. We're going to drop down. And this is the point where one mistake turns into a second mistake, turns into a lost point. So you're going to watch. Busy's going to drop. And instead of dropping 1 floor like he wanted to, he drops 2 floors. This is crucial because now watch what he does. He throws the C4 right here, which, normal. This is pretty standard, right? You're going to drop a C4 right here. You're going to drop the point. But the problem is that they have no C4 on the upper point. There's nothing there. So as we back out here, as we see right now, there's only C4 here, and the cash out up here, there's nothing to break this. And so Burnt Nuggets are going to start this steal.
Well.
And nobody is set up to break this. STN is too far away. He has to run.
But breaking down actually
so
exactly the thing that we were asking about with DMAT and
but it doesn't drop. They're not ready for it. STN is going to run. He's
going to barely
get a DMAT on that. But they've already so far they're able to ride the cash out as
they rode the cash box down.
A successfful steal.
Right.
And at this
Dude,
point,
I didn't realize the cash box also hit a bounce pad, and he still rode it. That's crazy.
So it's just this one crucial mistake by Busy.
I'm like, I don't know how he didn't fall off here.
Compounded because they couldn't drop it. They weren't underneath it. They were too far away from the point, and Burnt Nuggets able to successfully get this steal. So it's just small mistakes that in these 3v3 moments are so
This is their top viewership now.
Be able to recover.
402.
Yeah, I think that's a great
I have no idea.
Waltz, and that's exactly what we saw.
They're hitting numbers, dude.
It's really
this is not bad.
Cool to break it down, and I think that's just what's amazing about this game because it's a sandbox. Things can happen. You don't always fall where you want to go. You've got physics to deal with, and and just the cash out manipulation like we just saw is one of my favorite things in the game. Just overall, just seeing people drop it onto a bounce pad, watching it go over, and that there's just that moment of panic, like when you watch a cash out bounce, and that you have to go after it because you don't know where it's going to land. You don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to be more open? So
finals is pretty crazy for the fact that you can straight up move the entire objective, make it bounce in the air,
that is exactly
do tricks with it,
falling one floor,
doing tricks on it,
doing tricks on it. Literally,
and so
kind of crazy that you can do a lot.
Obviously, in a very dominant position. But our next matchup that we're actually gonna be looking at, we're gonna go back to Div, and we're gonna look at Div versus Blowers. Blowers taking.
What's on Lower? Oh wait, no, this is
a very dominant team. So we're gonna take a very quick break. We'll be back in just a minute because don't go anywhere. We're gonna check out. Another.
I did not expect a 2-0 Pulsar. I think we're seeing NA dominance. This is not what I expected.
I can't think of any game in my mind.
Who else does that on the market? Yeah, nobody.
They need to get there in time. They do. They stop the steal. If he reload, he's able to do it before you get that super.
Oh my god.
BMO absolutely beaming right now. Finishing off the rest of the team. Lightly over to the sideline here. The gateway has been placed. They come up from above.
Play commit doing so much, just controlling this team fight.
I'm gonna go and put on my glasses real quick.
Oh, you know what I just found out? They're using what's his name song?
Ranger. Yeah, they've been using his music.
Yeah, dude, his stuff's so great.
Awesome. Yeah. I will be right back. I'm gonna go put my glasses on. Take out my contacts.
Try and go for the steal, and the winch is huge. It doesn't work out though. He can't do anything yet. No, he still takes it.
Guys, I just want to let everyone know on Twitch, Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga is on Prime. Okay, great game. Just want to let everyone know that. That is important. That was incredibly important to let you know that Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga is on Prime. Okay, get that. That game's fire. All right, everybody loves that game. I sure am. I'm sure getting this game.
Only on 8 Squad. Catch us live on air on Twitch at twitch.tv/8squador.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in. The sports beverage designed for
I'm back.
Nice. I was just letting everybody know that Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga is on Twitch Prime for free.
That's fair.
It's not just fire, Sam. It's essential. Okay, that is a game of our generation, if not millennia.
We're literally different generations. What do you want from me?
We're not different generations.
We're.
No, we're like this. Me and you.
That doesn't change the fact that we might be different generations.
I know, me and you are like this. Sam. I don't even really count myself as Gen Z as much as I technically am. I'm on like I'm like the first year of Gen Z.
Bro, you know TikTok trends before the kids in school. Crazy.
Dude, okay. Shut up!
I'm just saying.
That's not important to the conversation right now. That's not important.
I think it is. We literally
Dude,
last night we were talking about this.
I grew up on Hey Arnold. Okay, we're the same.
Damn, you might be OG
I love that
actually.
show.
Wait, yeah.
Thank you.
Damn, we might actually be the same.
Give me some fucking respect, dude. You know what
used
I
to watch
watched
Arthur as
when
a
I
kid.
was a kid? Alright, well, I was kind of cringe, but you know what I watched as a kid? Rugrats.
Real.
Hey Arnold. Okay?
Damn, I didn't realize you were an OG like that.
Yeah, you know what kids my age were watching? Uncle Grandpa.
What?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't fucking know. I know Hey Arnold was fire.
Is this
They
our
did-
intro? I'm just kidding.
Dude, we need to make it. We really need to make it just for funsies.
Bad.
Actually, I really want to get yeah, I want to make our ad, and then let's get a better overlay, I think, for sure.
What's up, Soul?
That strange thought you
Wait,
just
hold
had.
up. Yeah, what's up,
Where
Soul?
did it come from?
I'm holding.
And was it even yours?
I'm holding up and
Our new series
holding.
2000 effectively suppresses
Holding.
third-party influence and eccentricity, outperforming our
can only
competitors
hold
within
for
the
so
standard
long, though.
deviation of conformity. With the series 2000,
I'm getting
your
nervous
mind
now. You're
stays
scaring
in
me.
I'm
Whoa,
scared,
what's going
yeah.
on? Yeah, what are we holding for?
this is like an I need to talk moment.
Via we as one.
Can we talk later?
Yeah. Don't hit me with that. I need to talk now then. My anxiety can't take that, bro. Talk now.
Dude, I'm getting nervous. Hurry up, man. Come on, Soul. Hurry up. We're getting scared. You're scaring me.
All right, I'm scheduling a better health. Better health. I'm scheduling better health session. Oh wait.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Dude,
Nope,
that's
insane.
Watching. When will
That is crazy, bro.
Dude, no way, no way, bro. No way. Take that back.
Oh my god, you might be the best rage baiter there is.
become their leader?
Oh,
Wow, wildest rage baiter in the West, bro. That's crazy.
Congratulations. You took one message to piss me off.
You took about 8 years off of our lives. I hope you're ready for that. And I die as a young lad. Your fault. Dude, my eyes. Oh my god. Changing contacts out for glasses is kind of throwing me for a loop, I ain't gonna lie.
Can you donate some of your hairline to me?
Is it not fading? Oh, it's pretty. Yeah, you're kind of. You know, this kind of still there.
Giver,
What is?
sun,
My hairline.
always on.
Yeah.
This is
The source of
You're in a better
everything
spot
that is
than me.
good. But can it be
I got
one
that
thing I got going for me. I can tell you that.
Lift it up. I'm not gonna lift it up, dude, because that's gonna be online. All right, I have a digital. I gotta worry about. The wind already messes me up, dude.
Does that qualify you as a chopped huzz? Or
No, I'm still a huzz.
eat the chopped huzz?
No, I'm not chopped yet.
Dude, this is the most fire we'll be right back screen probably ever.
What I need to start doing is I need to look into some like pomade or something, because that would probably help me a lot.
Look at some Rogaine.
I need some Gorilla Glue, dude. That's what I need. Or Gorilla Snot, whatever it's called.
The glue?
The snot, you know, Gorilla Snot, like what you.
No.
Oh, dude, only Gen. That's right. That's actually is a Gen Z thing.
Ah, right. Yeah. Did you find it on the TikTok shop?
No. Back in the day, any Gen Zers know their mom. If you were a boy, probably maybe just white kids. I don't know. Probably majority white kids.
Do I have time to play a world tour and get bounced on the first round before the next game? Probably. It sounds like it's a break, but the question is, do you emotionally want to take that on? But yeah, you probably do. I think they said it's like a break, so. I will also say I have no idea how like long this is going today. Are we getting some of the lower bracket? Because it looks like none of the lower bracket's playing yet.
I don't know, but I mean, not to be that guy, but I'm not like, I don't know if I'm mentally ready to be here for like 6 hours.
No, I don't think it'll be 6 hours. I mean, they're not going to do the entire upper bracket run.
No way, right? But there's only 2 days, so I would assume that they were doing.
Who is playing next? I think think we're watching Team D against the Blowers, which is crazy. Crazy match. Can we talk about that? The names of those teams being against each other is diabolical.
Hypothetically, the Blowers should win. Statistically.
Statistically, they should on paper. Oh, prize pool's up to 2K.
I'm sure after that 100 gifted subs, it probably jumped a ton.
I guess. First
How
place
much
is
is
70.
100 gifted subs?
$500.
Yeah, that's at least
What?
what?
It was 1,800 the other week.
That's at least 250 added to the prize pool, depending on what split they have.
Oh, back. Oh, we're not back.
Everyone, welcome back.
Oh, we are back.
Here for Pro League Season 0. We're continuing through our bracket. The
Yeah, we
games
need to.
continue.
We
They
should
are
get some
hyped,
animations
they are
done,
fast,
like
and we're going to
soon.
be getting into Team
And a better
Dip
overlay.
versus Blowers. Team Dip on a
Well,
hot
I
streak right
had,
now.
you know,
We
the,
watched
so I
the first
changed it
match,
last
and then they
week.
just took out Pulsar
Last week I had
Esports.
the, you know, the video playing in the background. Like our,
A bit of I gotta be
what
honest,
was
I
originally
called
there,
but I
but it
think
was
that was
kind of
upset
just too
for
much
you guys
happening.
A little bit. I was the only
Yeah.
one with faith.
So,
Jerry,
we,
what did you think about that one?
We ended up going with
I'm
what
amazed
it is
we're
now.
watching Dit again. I mean, I'm really happy we are. They're a very entertaining team to watch.
I just want like better
But also,
nameplates. I think
like,
would be my big
EU,
thing.
Come on, you've put me in.
Yeah.
Dirt here. I feel like the EU.
Yeah.
You don't like the
representation right
Streamlabs
now.
default font that I have on there because I
haven't
never had a
really
time to
seen
change
it.
it, and I
Yeah.
forgot
You
every
just-
single week
you
until
change
we
it real
start
quick?
streaming.
Way of
Let's just change it right now. You can literally
Yeah,
change it
sure.
while we're
8
streaming.
Did I?
series so far.
What
Yeah,
should I change it to?
I hate the
All of
Arial
the
font you
EU
got going on, bro.
teams
That's literally what it is.
Lower
Come
bracket.
on.
I know,
That is
dude.
terrifying.
I
I'm
know.
looking at
Here, you want me-
changes
you want me to-
of
here.
EU flags on my
You
screen.
pick. All right, change.
Yeah, USA. It's it's what
I can't even see what you're doing.
I know.
there's a
I know.
stream
Hang
there,
on.
right?
Hang on.
Yeah,
Fine.
let's
Well,
take a look
you're
at the bracket
great.
actually.
Which one you
so
want?
As Rio kind of talks us through this, but let's take a look at the bracket so we can see those EU teams in that lower bracket because Rio talk
45K in a single
Yeah,
round
well,
as a
I mean,
contract,
Jerry's
really?
greatest nightmare is probably
That's pretty crazy.
my
For
best
what?
dream. So we have
I don't. I
NA
guess.
on
I'm guessing
top
maybe
in
just
the
like a weekly
semifinals, you
contract.
see
It's pretty
us
crazy.
That's a
contract.
lot.
Bricked
All right,
after
what are we
hours.
doing?
Team Dip versus the Blowers, but looking down
I
at
can't
the
see what you're
lower
talking about.
bracket, we have
sharing it in
Blue
Discord.
Blue versus the Gamblers.
Yeah, let's do the.
We
What's the
can-
finals
yes,
font?
I'm drawing a blank on that, but that's Gungala.
There's Steel, their
versus
Thunder.
Gungala. Who is
Yeah.
the ES?
Are you serious?
Pulsar. Oh, that's
Are you
why
serious
I
right now?
don't- I don't recognize them.
Sierra Ultra
Three
Condensed.
times.
They were named
What's it called?
Aimers Red. but they have
Sierra?
changed up just a little bit.
Sorry, Extra
Finally, then
Condensed.
We have Halto's Finest versus
Do
Saints
you have
One,
that?
and
It's
then
called
the Burnt
Extra
Nuggets
Condensed.
versus
Extra
Maw.
Condensed.
Maw, I'm also drawing
Extra
Foundation.
Volcanic.
Foundation.
Oh, yeah, Sierra
So
Condensed.
yeah, some
Sorry,
interesting
Sierra
Oh
variations,
my
but, we're gonna
God.
learn a lot of these teams really fast.
I don't have
I
it.
have it.
Kinda
I
as we
don't
work
have
our
it.
way through
You send
I'm really
it,
shocked to see some
I
of these
guess.
teams
The
down here,
file? Yeah.
especially Halto's Finest and Saints One.
Yeah.
That's going to be
Hang
a
on, I
really
can find it.
interesting matchup just because
Sierra
both of those teams are
Condensed.
amazing, and
Yeah.
I don't
Font.
know how it's going to pan out.
Sierra. I don't even.
Sayara, bro.
But,
Oh
what
my
are your
god, I was
thoughts
looking
on
in the
the
wrong
bracket?
place.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
there are,
Shut
like you said,
up!
there's definitely some surprises. Holtas Finest dropping down. Interesting thing to note. We had round one buys.
Oh,
so Brick,
Jesus.
Holtas Finest,
Okay.
Pulsar, and Aimers Blue
Oh,
were all
um.
teams that performed well enough in the season that they got the chance to skip round one. Bricked is the only team that is still in the upper bracket. Everyone else dropped. All of our top teams apparently.
If you check your Discord,
did
I'm
not
sending
hack
their
it in the
marketing.
3v3s, which I think is really interesting
Cheat.
to look at. So yeah, Holtas Finest dropped down to AHS. That is a hard matchup. I actually think After Hours are a little slept on by some people. We talked about them a little bit right at the beginning, and I really do think that they have something incredible with the lineup that they got going on. So it's going to be an uphill battle. But of course, our next match is Team Tiv versus Blowers. We already talked a lot about Team Di. Now we need to dig into Blowers a little bit because we're going to be getting into our next match very soon. So break this down for us, Jerry,
A
before
poll?
we drop into the game because we're going to get into
I didn't even
that game
realize
in
you could
just a
launch
second.
polls on YouTube, and be
yeah,
honest.
these two teams going
YouTube streaming
really
is
blow for
kinda
blow
terrible.
during the regular season. As you
Who
can
did
see
this?
there, very close
Vinny,
group
probably.
standings and
Well, Vinny's a
points
goat.
and
Thank you,
goals
Vinny.
and
That is our
everything
goat.
else.
Um,
And
I
yeah, these are the
Realistically,
players
I don't know. I
server.
haven't
HD's
seen the Blowers
Swans
yet,
is
but I'm
currently
assuming
being
Team
subbed
D is
out
going to
by
win. But
Team
for the
Mills, as we
funnies,
saw
Team
earlier,
Blowers should
who
win.
was very happy to rock that medium
I think.
flank,
think
and
Diz
it
gonna
worked
win,
very, very well.
to be
And
honest.
then on the side of the blowers, we have Ithana,
Ooh, Jog, thank
Normalized,
you.
and
We are
Mizuki.
cutie
Now, having
pies, and
watched
you're
a
just
little
as
bit
cute.
of this
You're
What's
team
so
in
up,
their sort of
Pookie?
scrims and things
You're a
recently,
cutie
they
patootie.
seem a really clean and coordinated team. Very clear comms,
All right.
very calm under pressure, and just coordinated. So we'll see how they stack up against Deer, who seem to want to cause a bit
we're
of
back.
chaos. They were very happy to go in and find picks, just upset
What was
the
this one
apple
called
cart
again?
no matter
Excited.
what. They asked
I got a
for
good
that
dinner
H
tonight. We're going to a
comp that we
steakhouse
saw
for my mom's
earlier, Rio,
graduation.
as we head into our very
I'm
first map here.
excited. I'm
Where is it?
Use
excited.
Google
I'm excited for dude. I'm excited to show you Rodizio. All right, anybody that's going to Vegas, check out the Rodizio in Henderson. It is a all-you-can-eat Brazilian barbecue. Not sponsored. Would love to be. Let me know. Hit me up, please. Hit me up, please. I will be. If you can actually, you don't even need to pay me. If you just give me a single of their frozen limeades, I will be advertised. That is enough.
Little RPG off on Zuki. Zuki runs away with just a sliver of HP. Not able to get a kill just yet. So they are moving in and out, but there it is. There is the
Dude,
heavy
Sledgehammer seems like it's.
that
Oh!
Sledgehammer tried to
Okay,
get
I was
on
gonna say, I'm like,
Oh
dude,
my
if
God.
that right click connected, that would have been
Tries to go
crazy.
and he's healing somebody right now. Really good spot to actually do that.
All right.
Brings up him just a little bit of health, and he's able
We're
to
doing
get
it
two
live.
kills to get that final
Yeah,
kill,
dude.
and they got the first
Dude,
fight
that
on the
place is so, like, honestly, like I've been to a lot of barbecue places. Like I've been to a ton of Korean barbecue places, a ton of like
plenty throughout this season.
The
but even
fastest
so,
wipe.
like
like American barbecue, everything,
if you're
and
just joining us and
hands
you're
down,
wondering why
the
you're seeing a
best
Sledgehammer
barbecue
in
I've
Pro
ever
League,
had
this
is that Brazilian
almost
barbecue
to be
place. It's
expected
2
because
hours, all you can
Llama
eat. You
is
have a
really
wooden
quite a-
piece
the flag
that's
bearer
green on
for
one side, red on the
Japanese,
other.
or at least
As
on
long
the
as it's
side of
green, they
things.
keep coming.
And
It don't matter how much you got on the
it
table,
does
they
affect the
keep
way that you
coming.
have to play around
And
your
it's
team.
incredible.
He's got that
It's
reach,
cheap.
or he's got the
It's
grenades, wants to make sure
incredible
that
food.
you're
Like they have the sweet and
getting
sour
very
chicken.
close
They have like,
proximity to his
it's
team,
so
but
good, dude.
it
Oh my
works. It
god!
works
And the
very well.
light
His teammates running
in the
Guru as
Brazilian
well,
like
just to
frozen
assist with
drinks
that.
they do with
Timo
like fruit
getting
juice.
caught there, but is able to back up to range and can
All
keep
right.
himself
Are we
in very
satisfied with
healthy
the
position as he has that pipe, of course. Llama
font change?
and Boo close in on the final few kills. Another very,
Oh, on yours?
very
You need to make it
teamwork
extra
from
bold.
Team Deer. They're making this look easy, Rio.
Oh, this guy.
Yeah, they are. I mean, this is
Chop,
kind of what
chop.
we expect. This is also a really strong point.
I just put it as regular. You want extra bold?
Where this cash out
Oh my
is,
god, it's
they
really
have a
bolded.
great
Yeah,
I think extra bold's a little too
everything. You
much.
can see that they often demap
Yeah.
ball.
I would say, in my personal opinion, if you don't have a Rodizio near you, Fogo de Chao is great. It's super expensive and not as good as Rodizio. So if anyone's ever going to Vegas, I think they have some in some other locations. Check out Rodizio. Fogo de Chao is good. It's super expensive. It's a little, I think, gentrified a tiny bit. If you ask me. But I don't know. I can't speak on what authentic Brazilian food is, but I do know that Rodizio is way better than Fogo de Chao.
Yeah, and it's not often that I criticize teams for
All right,
trying to take as many fights as possible. You know,
it's fixed. I did bold. Extra bold was
Oh,
kind
I
of.
didn't even read that other part of your message. I think it's one of the best barbecue houses. Really? Are you? So you said you're from Brazil? Are you in Brazil currently? Is that so? You guys have them there, and that's like one of your guys' best barbecue places. I'm sure it's better in Brazil, though. I would assume, obviously. I'm sure like the American Fogo de Chao is not as great as the Brazilian one. I'm sure
says
not even
LA.
probably.
They cannot seem to get
Yeah, but
any sort of fight back
I don't know.
here. I say that he does unload some
This guy
bullets,
can't
but
read.
Of course, they have that heel beam. So
No. He was saying that he's from Brazil, though. So yeah, he was saying.
Oh, okay.
I think he was
Okay,
saying
okay.
that he has them in Brazil.
Okay.
You can't read, Sam.
I was doing a lot,
You piece of
okay? I was
shit. You
changing
piece of shit.
fonts. I was changing the fonts.
You
on our
fucking asshole.
nameplates.
Also, it needs to be italic, by the
I
way.
kind of don't want to push it
No,
too
it
far
doesn't.
in Team Dis'
Yeah, it
favor
does.
because this
It's on the
is just
sheet.
a weird cash out. I think that in the entire game, the only cash out that's comparable is Hospital on Soul. So it's just kind of one of the.
I'm gonna crash out.
I wanted so
That's
sorry.
it.
I
I'm
just wanted to
crashing
get
out.
clarification.
I'm crashing out.
So is so you guys have them in Brazil? It's like I guess it's originally a Brazilian. Like I know it's a Brazilian barbecue, but it's from like a Brazil chain.
I don't.
That's interesting.
There's no italic version, or I didn't.
It's extra bold, extra italic.
It's
Okay.
not on there for font style. There's extra bold, which is way too thick. But there's not.
Can we get regular bold?
Your Honor? Running down, they go great for
That's
the
what I
ball.
have. I have extra bold.
There's no metallic though, like at all?
But the gateway brings them right over to B, and they will get this plugged and get ready for the next fight.
Excellently managed.
Looking, I'm double checking now.
I think our problem would be fixed if we just made the overlay outside of Streamlabs.
How quickly that catch box moves, and now
probably fix it.
Have a decent amount of time to set up, but as
we do what we can.
The heavy and the rest of the team.
All right.
There's
There's a lot of things we could fix with this channel. We just don't have time.
I think if we had $1 million, we'd be perfect.
Yeah, I think if I could stop working for like 3 months.
We'd be, dude. We
could be up.
We'd be there.
Honestly, it's kind of not your fault, but it's your job's fault for offering you the job while we were recording that first pod. If they could have waited like 3 more weeks, we probably would have been chilling.
All right, we're watching as Boo has a glitch barrel in hand.
I would have taken one for the team at the detriment of my life. Yeah, I'm with that.
They could have waited. On a font is diabolical, brother. You should listen to us designing thumbnails. Cody is a font demon. That's
on point as well. They're ready to go.
Hey, I
could not care about anything else that's on the page, but
I'm
he cares
what keeps
about
this channel creatively afloat. Okay. All right. Sam. Okay, I don't want to use any harsh terms. Okay. But he's like a dictator.
That's not true.
He's like a dictator. He muzzles me. He muzzles my creative freedom. Okay. I come in with great ideas, and he says no. Make them
he comes with ideas that we can't share on this platform. That's what he comes with.
He comes in and he muzzles me and he says no, make it plain and boring. Like a dictator. Like it's 1984. He's always listening and putting me down.
The thumbnails are pretty bad in my opinion. Well, listen.
Okay, well, what about our new ones?
Are the new ones better at least? Because we also thought the old ones were terrible.
Yeah, we thought the old ones were terrible. It was
what we had to do.
mutually agreed opinion.
It's a process, okay?
Yeah, but at least hopefully the new ones are better. And I want to give us some credit, and maybe I could be wrong, that the Around the Arena thumbnail is okay.
Map, and it just
great, but it's okay.
They had the height advantage, and basically every time that the blowers.
I honestly think you're not being transparent enough.
Either somebody was down.
I don't know, bro.
I'm still confused.
I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted with Jog's opinion. The only reason is because he's a Habs fan, but I don't want to hold that against him.
Team did perform this well on Fortress in the last run, so
I'm talking about 1984. Look, dude, he's putting you down for what you believe.
He's a Canadians fan, bro. What do you want from me?
You know what it is? You know what it could be, Rio? They've only.
All right, gang. I won my poll.
That was not a sufficient warm up for coming.
I'm sorry. You were right that Caps are getting knocked out by the Canes. Okay, you're right. I knew it deep in my soul that was going to happen. However, I still stand by it. I enjoyed watching my team play for 1 week, 1 or 2 weeks longer than the Canadians.
So yeah, the Blowers just maybe need to warm
how it is.
Here. I mean,
I will say Tom Wilson like fake crying to the Canes fans and losing is a bad look for us forever. God, that man's gonna be immortalized as a meme. He already is.
You know, we saw some good movement. That was about
so no, I actually really nice, real quick, I do want to get this down. So, Jog, honest opinion on our newer thumbnails, like the ones we just redid for the update video.
Let's pull.
Just do a poll. Just do a poll.
It's a tough approach, but
hang on.
I like polls. Polls are cool. I like those. Finny, make a poll.
Oh, wait, there needs
Finny, make a poll. This is
or at something.
Make a poll. Get to work. Chop chop.
All right, this thumbnail right here. This is the one we're talking about. All right, update 6.8. Right, this or 6.6 or 6.5. Those updates are the ones we're talking about. These thumbnails specifically.
With that map, I have a feeling that we're going to see a much better performance.
I need a poll. I'm going to start a poll. I'm going to figure out how to do it. Engage my audience.
No. We're using Finny. Finny, make a poll.
And I
hurry up, chop chop.
Really kind of pop off in this next map. We're getting loaded.
Look, I'm just saying, guys.
So
I'm not gonna say what I was saying.
They need some love and support. If you're not a fan of them, and you want to
no one ask how old Finny is. Okay, it's not child labor.
See what happens as
that's
the
crazy.
And Team Dip battle it out on this horizon.
Finny, chop chop.
To say the pun while they've just had the worst game of their career, they've totally.
Okay, why did we word it like that? Finny, bad poll. You need to say.
I worded it. I put
oh, you worded it?
Yeah,
okay. Finny, you took too long. It's your fault. Sam messed it up.
they want here. A little bit of a standoff as no one dare shoot each other's shield for whatever reason.
Back to the drawing board, Cody.
Having to back up and go round the corner.
Why? It's 75% no.
Jog said yes.
Wondering why he's standing so out.
The new ones are bad, really?
There's some very questionable. Okay. I'm
Slide video.
completely
I was
off
just
about what
joking.
Tardis is doing there. I've got to be honest.
A little out of position, a little away from his team, and then just goes down. Puts the blowers in a really bad position because now they're down.
Jog. I mean, I hate to say it. Jog is a paying customer. We do have to cater to him.
I know, and I just wish he had a different opinion.
Get a res off on them, but
Just-
period, it will be that the vault will go over to the
I know. I
side
just
of
wish he
the
wasn't
so
wrong.
this is all about
Just
time
kidding.
and timing, so it's just a little bit
So,
weird
like, okay,
when
I actually want to
in a
break this
situation
down.
like that. But we're
Does
now
your
moving
vote
over
count?
to
No, Finny, not anymore.
Oh my god, this is gonna turn into a fucking think tank of
No,
the stream.
Oh,
Fuck the series, bro. Think tank in time. We're doing like one of those like taste trial tests.
Finny, your opinion will not count here. This is not how this works.
Unfortunately, Finny, you're on the chopping block with us since you're a creator now.
Yeah,
you have
you're
to go
in
down
now.
with the
You're
ship
in
with
for all
us.
of it.
Yeah.
You're here for all of it. You signed up,
include-
brother.
If we suck, it includes you too.
Yep. Godspeed, soldier.
Make it a 3 versus 1 Azuki.
So, okay, Jog, let's break this down right now, right here. This is clearly the best time to do it. Okay, so with this in mind, what? Why? Why are you being mean?
First order of business, Jog. Why do you hate me?
Why are you being mean and hurting my feelings? I worked hard on those. No, I mean, like, I don't know. What would you? I mean, I know. I'm sure. Probably. We don't know. Fuck all about thumbnails. I don't know. What do you think? Like,
he said, y'all.
I think
He says y'all got to make the thumbnails more consistent on how they look. They need to have similar styles, just different color palettes for different occasions. Okay.
I mean, I think we're moving towards that. I mean, as long as. So here's our idea, right? Is with the update ones and future reference, we're going to be adding our characters depending on who's hosting, right? We also are moving into like that text, that font, all that is going to be the same across videos from now on. The only difference is like some videos might have like a glow, but it will still be the same font. So I'm curious what you think of like, I would say look at our top 3 videos, and that is kind of the consistency that we're going for.
Our top 3 videos are nothing, nothing like what we've gone for now.
What do you mean? No, I mean like our top 3 newest videos.
Oh, newest videos. That's an important keyword.
Well, it's just top videos, like top 3, like the top 3, like the ones that are literally on the top, is what I was saying. But I get it. I understand. I understand what they're. Okay, that was a beam actually. Shout out Zuki. That guy's hitting crazy. I need to put on a different side on. This is making me think I need a different side on my XP54. Either the ACOG or the.
That was a really good thing. I thought it was cool.
ACOG was the only site you could put on the MP5, right?
And respectfully, I kind of hated it. So I might try the Hollow.
I'm seeing more people run Hollow, but I swear the reticle on my screen is way bigger than what it looks like when I watch people. So maybe there's a setting I don't like right in my game. I don't know.
Could be.
Now, let's not show bias just because they're behind here, Rio. We've got to be unbiased casters, which, to be fair, I have been
I didn't do you.
so
It's not you.
David feels the same way. He also doesn't call me back.
Yeah, I don't even call Sam back.
Bro literally missed the first 2 watch parties.
Don't have anyone following through that.
Simply because he said I just wasn't special enough.
Well, I say ample time. He's got this big bounce pad that's going to help things along.
He did also weirdly ask if Jog was going to be there, and I said, I don't know, maybe. And then he didn't show up, so.
I mean, there's connections.
Yep, they are here. They're ready to go on top of it. The blowers are in control of the
Whoa,
cash
it's not
out.
Jog's
They
fault.
need to buy themselves a little bit more
It's your
time.
fault for not properly
Red
conveying
out.
that Jog would beat
Zuki
it.
just deleted by T Mills.
That doesn't explain why you
unable
haven't called
to do
back
anything
after
in
date.
that fight. The Pike is
Yeah,
showing
I
its
thought you
dominance
hadn't
today.
called me
They are
back.
getting
I was
people
playing hard to
off the
get. I was waiting
blowers
for you to
and
call me back.
completely been pushed to the other side of
That's
this
what we were
battle
waiting
arena. And there is T Mills dematting through the wall.
You're welcome to
finding
join me
something
at my
out.
mom's
He
graduation
gets
dinner.
again. What is
I
this
have a
Pike
seat
gameplay?
saved for
It's
you.
insane, and
I was
wanna
hoping you'd
play
show
with
up
it
without
after
telling
these
you. I was
matches
hoping
for
you'd
sure.
you'd find out.
There's a way.
Hey, Chad.
Show up.
You guys should also check out that Around the Arena podcast episode where we
utterly demolished.
Cody tells you that
Yeah.
his DMs are totally open, and he would love to flirt with you in his DMs. So.
In that situation, there's like, there's
There you
no
go.
counterplay. You
There's
just
your-
gotta hope that he doesn't find he's playing this Pyke. Let's not go.
There's some
put,
context
like,
being
around the
missed
bush here.
there.
He's playing this medium like a light. He is aiming to find those off angles, play split from his team, and just
So,
get free picks
okay,
here
I
and
get what
there.
you're saying.
That's his job. It's
I
not
think
the
it makes it the
typical,
best heavy loadouts and around the
you know,
arena
sort
thermals
of
could be very good. I suggest you guys try to
HML
match ball.
where you've got,
Yeah, I think we're
the
moving in the
double
right
team where
direction.
they're going
Is all I'll
to
say.
HML
I think we're
goes
still
for the
cooking, but I
bang.
think we're
They are
getting to a
sticking
more
every duo.
uniform
Here
kind
comes
of
Blowers with the attempted
vibe.
steal. It gets
We
to
were
the
kinda
bang,
all over the
almost
place.
stick it. Out comes
Oh,
the
yeah.
pick, but that
Just
will not
due to
connect with
inexperience.
much
But I think we're getting to a point where I think our newer thumbnails may not be perfect. Definitely need some more cooking, but I think we've made a very big step in the right direction. Is what I'll say. Let's get back to the game though. So, I mean, here, like, surprisingly, Team Did was doing really good. They won the first game, and the Blowers are now ahead, but not for long. Team Did is about to get this cash out. There's no way they're going to steal it in time. They just wiped Blowers.
Yeah, it's 1-1.
I mean, this is kind of anyone's game. However, Blowers needs to win this. They have to, right? This is it's best of 3.
This is an elimination cash box. If they don't secure this one, it's over.
This is all they wrote. We could be moving to game 3 here. It's really, I would say personally, it really depends on who gets the plant here. I think is going to be the person that's going to win this for the team. Yeah, I would agree with you, Jog. I think our around the arena thumbnails are easily our best. We cooked on those. I still think they could be a little bit better. Finney made a good point that I think when we don't have someone featured, there's a little bit of like a blank space that looks a little bit awkward. I can understand that, and I'm not too sure what we could add there. But I think long term, we definitely want to use the money we're making from members like yourself or just views, like revenue, that sort of thing. We want to use it towards all going back into the channel, such as like tournaments, like we've talked about, or getting animations and overlays done. We're not really here to like make money off this. We're here to just kind of make a cool community and a cool channel with good content. So we're trying to put all the money back in. So I think the first thing we're going to do is probably make an overlay. Since we're going to be doing some community tournaments, I think it'll be good to have overlays and animations for the stream, and then we'll kind of move into like probably emotes for the Discord and members. And then we'll probably move to thumbnails last. I think thumbnails will be okay for now. It's not the end of the world. We can kind of make the improvements we need ourselves for now. But definitely getting them professionally designed at some point. Getting like better channel decals in general is probably our first thing we want to do.
Oh, here we go. This is like the fight, I think.
Yeah, and especially, I will say, this spot that they're at right now can be great, but it really depends if he gets, yep, he's getting the kill there.
He's not going to close the gap. He's not going to close
Hold on. He's getting away. He's...
They had to able to make that. Yeah, they had to reset. Blowers.
The thing that matters right now is they're wasting so much time, dude. This is
such
what's
a
great.
bad place for his trophy to be, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
this is
no.
great for them.
Honestly, I would just try
He's forced to coin, and this is only wasting more time. This is only wasting more time for them.
Okay, he
I think they
coined.
have this in the bag. They have one more push here.
Yeah.
And the problem is they can't get the res. They have to wait for the coin now.
Yeah, the coin's up. They're in. Man, I think it's
This is
perfect.
it. I think this is it. If they can't pull off a push right now, it's over.
This is again double medium into heavy, and they're just going to bunker the point like they kind of are right now. It's so
I'm
hard
telling
for them
you,
to break through.
It's too hard. I think that's their problem. Having a light against 2 medium heavy, I think is just not good enough. Look, he's just wasting all of his util, and I have a problem with doing this too, is because what do you do as a light in this situation? I'm going to waste my util, try to get as much information from my team, maybe get a glitch, but it's not going to help anything.
All right, here we go. The heavy's in with the sledge. He gets deleted. Okay.
And look at this. I mean, I'm here to say, like, unfortunately, like, the light just isn't doing enough right now. He's sitting on point, and he's not really able to
got dropped through. That's it, and it hit the launch pad. It's over.
And this is back to the thing I'm talking about, that just a light cannot help in this situation. He was just sitting there and watching it go down. He can't get involved. It's too hard.
Wow.
That's what I think they need to move to medium in this situation. It's a huge throw.
Brilliant delay, dropping it
Blowers to
Just
lower
unfortunate.
bracket.
with the bounce pad getting in on the action. There was a point there where Blowers
It was
had
just- it's
three
too
Oh my
moves,
God.
and their opponents were 2, and one of those
AHS 2-0 bricked.
Every right
Wait,
in the
what?
world to win that
AHS
fight, but of
2-0'd
course,
bricked.
when you've got that timer
What?
working
Really?
Bricked is going to the lower bracket.
man occupying
Oh,
the
no.
post,
While that series is
had to
going
try
on.
and stick a seal at some point.
Oh, no.
The Team Deer really just came in
Whoa.
swinging. They came out.
Oh,
They
no.
had the delay. They had the gunfire as well. They even traded back.
Wow,
at least
did
one
not
of
expect
them
that
there,
ice.
but
Dude, my
it
bracket
was
is
just
so
a
screwed.
bit too late. Blowers
My bracket
so
is
close,
so
but
torched.
far
I thought Bricked was gonna make it, dude, all the way to the
Another
end.
2-0.
I thought so
That
as
seems
well. I
crazy.
thought you were going to see them grand
AHS, is that an
final.
EU or a?
dropped a map to
That's
What
an
team is
A.
that?
That's an A.
right at the start of the day.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
an
Wow.
wild. You can kind of see.
Have
how
you
they-
seen
Make
a
a Wish
lot
making
of
a run
AHS
again.
play?
I wouldn't be surprised, but they're going to have a
Like,
really hard
come on
time because they're going to have to
today.
face off probably
That we've seen
Bricked.
And like for those of you who don't know why we're so
But Make a
surprised,
Wish did
Nugget
2-0
suck.
burnt Nuggets, so they do move on to lower round
these people have
2.
been playing with a completely different lineup.
Hotel's Finest is up
And
1-0
these
against
guys
Saints 1.
has just kinda
EU
come
is not
out
making
of
a showing
nowhere,
right now,
and,
which is
yeah, there is
very
a lot
interesting.
to unpack here, and that's why we're bringing in Waltz. Waltz, what did you think about what we just watched?
So
Wow.
That was
Interesting.
My notes are sparse. I got to be honest, because that was a dominant performance. I mean, there's only so much to
Wow.
talk about.
I'm actually
but I
so
do-
surprised at the
I
outcome of
do
that.
want to talk about why I think teams
Have
are
you haven't seen a lot of
against
AHS
Team
play,
Dead.
right?
Really kind of
not a lot. I mean,
Team
nothing
Mills came in
super
and you can
notable.
say, oh, Team Mills is just
They're,
crushing
I
it.
mean,
But
pretty
the big
middle
thing
of the
for me is that
pack. They're
Blowers struggled to
5th
figure out how to
overall
approach those
right
fights.
now from
You called
NA
this out,
and
Jerry, early on in
EU.
that match.
Let's
They
take a
had
look
basically no
at
combat
playoffs
damage
where they
whatsoever.
were.
They just couldn't.
They're
do any
third. I
damage.
mean, yeah, they're
They were running
good. They were
double
right behind
shotgun,
Hotel's
and they
Finest.
had their light on
Ahead of
XP.
Blowers.
And the thing is, when you look at like the time to kill,
they
Team Mills is
did
hitting
not
the
have a
shots.
good
And when you're hitting the
showing.
Shots. A Pike is going to kill a light faster than an XP is going to kill a medium.
Yeah, they got
And that's a
knocked out in
problem,
semifinals last week in the
light really
playoffs
relies on being that chip damage from range,
and
and when Team Mills is
got
hitting
knocked
shots,
out by
the
the
light can't
Blowers,
show his face
actually.
anymore. When you
So,
try to get in close
yeah.
range, then Llama shows up
Wow.
with a sledge. So you're damned
in
if you
lower
do, damned
quarters.
if you don't. You try
So
to
I
go
don't
far
know.
range, it's
I
difficult.
mean,
You're trying to go
I
close
really
range,
don't
it's
know
really
what to
hard.
predict at this point.
The
I
double
am
medium is
surprised by
really
the NA
reminding me
dominance.
of
That's for
Team
sure.
Beamers. Unfortunately,
This
Beamers,
is
because of
pretty
scheduling
crazy.
conflicts, were unable to make the league. But they were dominant for a while. They won the Ruby Grind event.
I
back
think only
in,
3v3
February,
favors
I believe.
NA meta
And
more
they
by
ran
nature.
double
Yeah, I'd be
mediums,
curious to see if
Nagos,
they played
Oryx,
like straight up
and
cash
Skip
out,
on
like
Sledge as well.
multi-team.
And they had basically the
how
same
it
thing.
would
They
look.
ran long range mediums, and if you
But
tried to take them up close,
I don't
you
know.
had to deal with the sledge. It
It's
is
definitely
a
interesting to say the
brutal
least, though. But
combination,
I
and
cannot
teams
believe AHS
struggle to figure
2-0
out how to beat
bricked.
it because they don't
Not
want
even
to
2-1.
handle a long
That's what I'm
range
saying.
medium.
I
It's
mean,
where
a
they
flat
thrive
2-0
with
is
these weapons.
crazy. I wonder what they were running that put
Yeah,
them
no,
at
I
bat
I don't know.
completely
into a
agree, and,
spot.
yeah,
I mean, they
long-range
must have
medium is
just gotten
it's
worked.
one of these. It's a weird
Yeah, I don't
thing
know.
to say
I wish we
because
could have
it's
saw that
really
game.
not kind of that accessible outside of like Pike.
Would be
and
cool if
everyone
ProHubs
else
had a
that's
B
playing
stream.
long-range
FCAR a
medium.
I
little bit,
agree.
yeah, like FCAR
FCAR
does
I
that.
understand it's
I'd
hard to
like
set
that.
up, but I wish they had.
But yeah, it's just a really interesting loadout.
Give us the
it
B
used to
stream.
be kind of Llama is the shining star
God.
of it. T Mills is kind of
Bro.
Give us the B
as
stream.
well. But I
Let us
do
have it.
like
I do
the
not
Bloods.
want to
They
run
always
Observer. I don't even know how to do any of that in this game.
Do you
Or
think
any
No,
game for that
it's
matter.
anybody that's left
That's like a
so far
learned
that
trait.
might be able to
I think
go
in a,
up against this team? From
in a,
your experience, what do you think, Waltz?
3v3
I mean, I think
scenario
there
would be
are
a little bit
plenty.
easier for sure.
I think one of the things is that
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
like, Bricked obviously I think can
Yeah,
easily stand
watching
against
regular
them.
cash
I
out
think
is
that's gonna be quite a
so
matchup to
chaotic.
watch. Did
If it
take out
happens.
Pulsar. If,
Yeah, I know.
If it happens, that's true. Will Bricked even make it through? I mean, that is a big question. But I do think that teams just need to be very disciplined about how they approach these fights because you can handle a sledge up close. We've
Maybe
seen
just
teams
small
Yeah,
mistakes
no,
and
I
drop
think you
it.
nailed it
be
on the
really
head,
careful about it.
unfortunately.
And Ethanol,
Yeah, I mean that's
really
exactly what Waltz was
struggled
talking
in that match.
about
I
in the
think he
previous
had, like,
series
2
that we
kills
watched
over
from
the entire
Bricked is that
series,
they
and he ran winch
um
instead of
that cash
he ran
out got stolen
mesh
where the guy was riding the
instead
cash
of
box
oak,
just from
instead of
honestly
winch.
mistakes that got
And the winch
compounded
does
off
so
of
much
Bricked.
to lock
So
down a light,
it'd be interesting. I'm curious to see if they make it back up into the grand finals. I don't know.
Mesh is useless against the sledge heavy. I mean, it's just completely worthless.
Maybe not.
So
I don't
we're
know.
gonna
I have the
switch
faith
station
that they
if you're
kind of
going
lock
against that
in.
specific,
They're like, okay, we're in
weapon.
lower now. We got to
And I
lock
think
in.
that was part of the issue.
So.
But Jerry, I want to ask you the question here because we saw double medium kind of popping off right now. Do you think that is because double medium is maybe back on the menu, or have we just not seen the best of the lights?
It's an interesting question because, of course, the lights do pose a problem for mediums if you get them in that range. And we saw that from the first map of Saints 1 versus Deer earlier today, when someone had a really good game and he was able to just lock them down with those glitch grenades and cause massive problems that Deer couldn't deal back at them. But I think more than anything, it's just the surprise factor. This kind of reminds me of when we started seeing sledges creeping into the meta. It was just a big problem that no one knew how to deal with. And
I'm listening to them talking because they're talking about the double medium.
Yeah, I am as well.
Against these more standard comps, typically HML of different flavors, and now they've finally come up against the HMM side, and
I think the difference is, and this is something we talked about, is I think when you're in a 3v3 situation like this, and you're on the side of defending, I think double medium heavy is going to win every time. Granted, I think it really depends on your heavy. If you have a really, really good heavy, that is going to be the case. But I mean, they made a good point on the actual stream, is that maybe we're just not seeing lights that are knowing what to do. I mean, I will say this whole tourney, Sam can vouch, I'm sure, that it's been medium light heavy. So maybe they just don't know what to do in this situation. They don't know how to play against it. And that's the problem. Because that's something that I think happens a lot in tournaments like this, especially games that haven't had a very documented competitive history, is that things will seem as meta, but it's more because we don't know how to deal with them. There might be tools there, but someone hasn't figured it out yet. So it could be that this is just because someone doesn't know how to deal with it, and we've seen that happen multiple times over. Or it could be that it's the actual meta, and we don't know yet because we haven't seen enough lights.
It's incredible stuff. Now,
play it well. I mean, I think the problem is too, it could be the loadouts they're going in with. I mean, it could be a ton of different things. The problem with a sledge heavy in particular as a light is it's very easy to get caught. And a light especially, they play well off of they play well off of getting people that are out of position. And when teams are playing really well together, such as like a medium heavy, there's not a lot of opportunities to get that space. So I think I would actually, I know it sounds crazy, but I think Nullifier might be something they need to start doing. If you play well enough with your team, right? You have like a gateway you jump in team wide or something. I think you need to hit the Nullifier skill shot on the heavy or one of the mediums.
I feel so sorry for Burnt Nuggets coming up.
And I think another problem I'm seeing a lot is there's not enough team shotting going on between the light, medium, heavy teams. If they were to team shot more, I think they would have better situations. It really just depends. They need to separate the heavy from at least one of the mediums. That is the big thing. When you're running double medium, you need to have that separation, and I don't think enough teams are doing it. They're just not. They're diving in and they're getting picked, and it's over. They need to separate that heavy. So I think the Nullifier, crazy enough, is that I don't think it's very good. I think in these high-level scenarios, the Nullifier might be the make or break. It could be. Keeping that person out of the fight for even 2-3 seconds is huge in this high-level scenario. I mean, game-breaking.
Yeah, it's hard too because so the thing is, light, medium, heavy obviously I think has reigned supreme a bit when it comes to multi-team cash out, right? And now we're in the 1v1 scenario where it's looking like medium heavy might be good, and like you said, with what we're seeing is Sledge being introduced in that composition. We're not seeing the SA, we're not seeing the minigun. Like we're seeing Sledge pretty much primarily in these double medium comps. And to me, it seems like basically triple goo, Serb, and then like a Pike or something for, you know, so you can have some range damage on your team. But what it looks like is basically boxing yourself up, making them push into you, and then you just obliterate them at short range. I do agree, if you want to run a light into that, probably the SH1900 is your best bet. Or arguably Dagger is the other option. I think it's going to be way too hard to pull off Dagger at this elo play, but
crazy, especially when you have a Cerberus on their team and a Pike and all these like high burst damage weapons. I think you need to go in with the SH1900 and maybe the Nullifier. I think that's the only way you can win as a light in this comp. The problem is they're going in with an XP54, and you're going to lose every time against a Serb and a Sledgehammer. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
And even the Pike in this situation, if the person hits their shots, the XP54 is not going to kill them in time. We've seen it time and time again where they get killed. They do not win the 1v1.
Right.
And light statistically doesn't win 1v1s head on. So having that SH1900, while it's incredibly risky, that's the only way they're going to get rid of that heavy. They can two-shot them. So you need to play equal risk to equal reward. You have to. So I think Nullifier SH1900 is the only way that you can run a light into these comps. Medium, medium, heavy. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
It won't.
The problem is you can't even
and
call
like
it.
Sam said, Incinerator Grenade too. But the problem with Incinerator Grenade, sorry to interrupt you, is that you're also as a light blocking yourself off from the goo. So I don't even know if Incinerator Grenade's even
Is
useful.
the answer? Yeah. The other thing is like, there's no way to like. Calling it meta is tough because like you might not have this. You're probably not going to yield the same success over in like World Tour or ranked because 2/3 of your gameplay loop is not what we're watching right now, right? So you need to successfully get from the first 2 rounds to the 3rd round using medium, medium, heavy, and it needs to be done consistently with numerous teams pretty. Not easily handed, but I mean, you get the point that it's consistent between players. If that happens, then yeah, I would call it meta. But in this format only, it's hard to say. Because obviously you can't switch your class in either World Tour or ranked. So it's hard to call it like meta for that reason, but I don't know. Is there a schedule for the games? There is a bracket, but there's not a schedule per se. It's kind of like once they're ready to go. I'm also unsure how much we're seeing today because this is a 2-day event, but here is the bracket in chat. 3v3 meta though, yes. Yeah, I would say it's looking like it's the meta currently at this elo. So
I have to say, I don't think
Yeah, no
lights are
problem.
getting given a fair shot. I think we need to see the SH1900 brought into play and the Nullifier in these situations where they can't get those breaks. I think if someone knows what they're doing on light and has those tools in their pocket, I think we could see a very big shift in the medium, medium, heavy. I just think right now, a lot of the teams don't know how to deal with it because they're so set in stone on the XP54 being great. And even then, to me, this is a very big shakeup in my head because I thought the XP54 would be great here. But it's not. I mean, I just didn't expect, sludge, heavy, goo, all this to be such a big problem. But I mean, at this elo, everything is viable. Everything can be viable. So I really want to see a shot with the SH1900, and I'm hoping someone thinks about it because this will be the death of some teams. Yeah. It's a recurring thing that's happening way too often. So I don't know what's going to happen. I definitely think the SH1900 is the moves, though. I think Dagger's too risky, and it's way too inconsistent, unfortunately.
Yeah, they need an easy way to get in. One other thing, after talking to like Waltz a bit, was dash is not going to be as effective or prevalent in these matches due to ping.
I agree.
So I'm wondering if that's making any kind of difference as well. I haven't really been keeping up with like if people are opting for like cloak instead of dash, but that was something that he mentioned. So there is a chance that maybe that's why it's happening, but
I think cloak is essential here. I think the move to go up against medium, medium, heavy is you obviously are going to have your medium running DMAT or whatever, but on light you need to run cloak. It's just you have to. But even then, my other issues, I don't even know if any specialization on light's going to be even ideal because the SERB exists.
Right.
It's just it's too hard of a counter for light right now.
Light has to effectively get in and get a pick first every single time,
which is what the SH1900 will allow.
Yeah.
If they're going to continue doing these fast hits of dematting through a wall or blowing it up and just immediately jumping on site, which is kind of what they're forced to do in these situations, they need to have the burst damage to hold it up. So I do think that they need to either match the energy with medium, medium, heavy, or they need to go SH1900 and have a sledgehammer and all that. But I have a feeling maybe people will just start matching energy before they do SH1900. I really don't know.
Yeah. I don't know what the answer is.
I think the SH1900 is the moves here, at least on light. That's the only option you can move to.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be great. I think it'd be incredible in this situation. There's so many situations where they just don't have enough burst damage, but I don't know if there's someone that is good enough on the SH1900 right now to make that switch confidently this late into the tournament.
I was going to say, I don't know if anybody is willing to
it's such
throw
a
it out. The other
play.
thing is, I don't know if these teams, like,
are watching these series, right? Like between matches. And like if I was playing in this event, the moment I'm out of my match, I'm throwing on the stream and I want to see what's happening to kind of, because we're seeing a new meta kind of form live while watching this, right? So
yeah, absolutely.
If I were playing in this event, I would be trying to get that intel. The problem is I don't even know if teams are doing that.
It might not be allowed. We don't know. It could be a rule thing.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
You're not allowed to watch other teams or other matches.
Yeah,
it is a thing. With that though, I think some of the Beyond the Summit tournaments you weren't able to watch like the streams going on or the games.
Oh, they had some player. Oh, well, it depends on the game, I guess. I used to watch them Beyond the Summit
like
CS:GO.
Smash wouldn't matter, but anyways, what I was going to say is, yeah, I mean, like you said, it might be too risky of a play that someone's not willing to do, but I would rather switch my gun than go to a whole different class if I was a light player.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that. I don't know.
I want to see. I don't know if we're going to see, but I want to see the Make-A-Wish. I want to see one of their games because I'm curious if Viper is still running the Matter. That's my like question of the day.
I mean,
I don't know.
I do forget about that gun a lot, and maybe the Matter could be it.
I don't think so. It's okay. But I mean, it's the same thing. Just run that SH.
It's less of a risk than the SH1900 though. You're not stuck to those 2 shots. It's way less high risk.
That's true.
Reward. I think in a tournament setting this far in, I don't know if people are willing to make that big of a risk on the SH1900 because if you miss even 1 shot, you are effectively gone. It's just you're not involved in the fight anymore. But at the same time, lights are already barely involved in the fight to begin with, so I don't know. It's a really tough call from a team side. I don't know if they're going to be willing to make that. It's too risky.
Ranger End's music is so far.
I agree.
Exactly. Right, but I'm guaranteed a kill in 2 shots if I aim decent. Yep.
Exactly. And that's what they need against that sludge heavy. I mean, even the mediums, like even getting 1 kill and you die, that trade is so much more valuable as a light taking out a heavy than it is, it's too valuable. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's just if they don't want to take that big of a risk, maybe the Matter might be there. It really just depends. I want to see somebody run it. I'm praying someone does. I want to see it in action.
Yeah. You could consider it almost like chess in a way. Like, I mean, a medium and a heavy awards more points than a light. If you eliminate a medium or heavy compared to a light, you're more like, you get more points. If you want to think about it that way, then sacrificing a light, but at least it gets a medium pick is, profit.
I would say as a light player, and you can add your opinion here because you obviously play with me. I think if you're getting a pick as a light, you've done your job.
Pretty much.
If you've gone in a net, I mean, granted, a light for light, not so much, but like you said, yeah, if I'm as a light take out their heavy or their medium, sometimes I think a medium's more valuable than a heavy 9 times out of 10.
Yep.
I think that's a good trade.
Great trade, everybody. We have had some.
Yeah, I'd argue even just doing like if you can get somebody down to like 1 or 2 bars on medium, and you just at least get them distanced away from their team a little bit. Like it's kind of like Valorant, right? Like you have an entry fragger, and you don't necessarily need to even get the frag. You just want to displace people enough to where your team can get in and
displace and hopefully
up.
do as much damage to as many people as possible.
Yeah,
you want to scare them enough where you're limiting their options.
If my light can go in and maybe get a nullifier off on somebody and make it a 2v3, and my teammates can take out that medium that's not nullified, at that point the fight is way easier to win. Problem is the light's got to get in there. And the other thing that I will mention before we get back to the games whenever they start back up is the XP54. I wouldn't argue that the damage has been the thing that makes it the most dominant this season, right? Like I think it's the fact that the range is what it is, but when you start closing off
the day,
those sight lines and that range
not
in general,
necessarily by tomorrow though. We genuinely
like that's where you're
have
starting to
all
see the
NA,
flaw of the
top
XP54.
four. We currently have
I
6
might be
out of
wrong. I'll
these
have to double
NA
check again.
top
I think the
8,
M11 still has a
which is
faster kill time. I
unbelievable.
wonder if maybe we need
But
to
the
see
thing is,
teams
you know,
putting that on.
whichever of
Possibly.
these two sides get through each other right now, they've got
That's kind of
great
what I was
Something needs to
curious.
change.
Yeah, you
Something
need
needs to
something
change.
faster and burstier up
That
close.
said,
It's
Pulsar
Bricked
Esports
and
and
Blowers
Aimers
next.
Blue
I don't
are
think
two
so.
of
I
the
don't
best,
think
if
they're
not
playing
the
each other.
best
They're in
teams
2 different
in
sectors right
EU,
now.
a repeat of the
Different
EU
brackets.
playoffs grand final from last weekend. So if anyone can do it, these guys can.
Yep, and that's exactly what Jerry was saying. We are going to have the Aimers go against each other, but we have had a change up, and Aimers Red is now Pulsar Esports. So
I think we're going to be
see
watching the
brothers
lower
go
bracket
against
stuff
each
now.
other, see if
It
they
sounds
can
like. I
battle
think
it out, and yeah,
semifinals
it
is pretty
a
much wrapped
repeat
for the
of last
day.
weekend
Upper
because
bracket's kind of
these two
done.
teams went at it, and it was a great
And so I think
match
we're
in the
going to
last
be
weekend.
watching.
It was close.
I think this will be
didn't know which
tomorrow.
way it was going to go. And Walt, do you have any thoughts
I
of how
I
this one
might be
go?
wrong
Yeah, there's a
because
lot of
this
history
is
there.
this might
First,
be
before we
outdated.
do,
I
I do
don't know
want to
when
give a
this was
shout out to
updated.
Pulsar
I
because it's
think
not
the
just a
M11
rebrand.
still has technically a faster
sponsored,
kill time.
Pulsar
Yeah.
Esports did
It's
come
like
in.
by
They're now a sponsored
like
team.
0.15 seconds.
Huge
Yeah.
props to those guys because they have been so.
They just can't get
so
up close to the
consistent.
heavy. That's the
Telco
problem.
and
at the
Noax
moment.
have
That
been
heavy
But
around
was
I mean,
since the
you
very
have
beginning.
Dash
These two guys, they
with the
are in fact
M11, and
twin
you could absolutely
brothers
hit fire
and
burst down
facing
someone
off
so
against
quick.
each other. But
I
for
think
the
it's crazy.
longest time, for most
Yeah,
of
that's
last
true.
year, they ran as team 2-2-3. They came top 2 at pretty much every single event, and then
Looks like
eventually
we're
they decided to
seeing
try something different. They split
EU,
up, they formed,
Aimers versus
created
Pulsar.
Aimers Red and Aimers Blue. They changed into 2 teams, and again, both of them did so well. Noax and Atelco just on top of things, able to really elevate their teams and take players and make things work. They kind of have the secret sauce a little bit in that family, I guess. And so, as Jerry mentioned,
Very
we had
equal
these,
team
Jerry,
in
you
stats.
mentioned
Very
these two were
equal
top
team.
1 and 2 of
Yeah.
EU during the group.
These are
stages.
both
And
the
then during
Aimers
the
teams.
playoffs, they made it to grand finals, top 1 and 2.
So, like they
clearly,
said,
these two
Pulsar is the
teams
actual
are
new
a step
esports
above
team
the rest of
from
the
Aimers.
EU, kind of EU field.
I'm
And
not
so, if
really
we're
sure
looking
how
at
that's
any
all
team that has
relating.
the
I don't
chance
know
to
if they're
move
still under the
forward and take
Aimers
out
like
NA
organ
against
way,
these
but yeah.
Yeah, I
These are
completely
basically
agree
the
with
two
that
like
because
sister
these
teams
are
competing against each other now.
powerhouses
We have a
of teams.
Telco, obviously on
We've got
Pulsar, which is
long and
who to
storied
watch.
history in
Carnifex
the
as
scene
well,
and in the game
big
itself.
name in
So
the content creator
looking at the
space.
overall standings,
Um,
first and second, the points are
and then
nearly
Reinke
identical. The
and
kills are nearly
Noah
identical.
X
The
on Aimers
KDA
Blue.
is nearly identical, and basically the amount of first place wins are nearly identical. If there is a match to get excited for today, I firmly believe it's this one because this is probably going to be the closest matchup that you will see in maybe the entire bracket. So there's a lot to have, going for them, and yeah, I think that
Getting
this
some
is going to
natural
be
light in
just
here.
quite exciting.
All right.
And chat, I hope you guys are ready because I have no idea which way this is going to go. Yeah, as we get into the maps, do we have the map picks?
Who will win this round? I am going Pulsar.
I'm sure we'll find out. No, that's a no. That's a hard no.
take.
So we'll just talk maybe a little bit about
Yeah,
what these two teams we can expect to see in server. We talked the stats, we talked the numbers. We've said that. Well, actually, we haven't said that they faced each other, both of them, in the EU playoffs last
Getting
weekend,
hungry.
and actually beat each other once. It's just that Aimers Red beat them in the game
Lunch.
that mattered the most. Aimers Blue actually knocked Aimers Red down into the lower bracket in their upper final. So they both have it within them to beat each other, and it really does make it very difficult to call. But what's going to happen in server? I mean, I'll tell you in a minute. I'll tell you. You guys just
So we're gonna see the
map
picks right now.
Starting off with
Because we have the
Skyway
map picks right
Bernal. Interesting
Yes,
on
we
Bernal.
do, and it looks
Really
like we're gonna be
interesting.
starting
Yeah.
off on Skyway Stadium.
Curious
which
what
This
the
Horizon's
I
not
don't think
surprising.
we've seen today. I think it might have been picked for one of the series, but we did.
It really depends on what loadout they're going in here. That Bernal could be very for the double medium. They go double pike. This might be like insane.
I fully expect
Bernal is such an enigma to me of a map because I either see the pike or I see the Cerberus and no in between. It's like I'm going long range or I'm going in your face, and to me, I'm like the Cerberus is a bad choice, but I see teams dunk on people with it all the time.
You have points like the church, where the church is like easily the Cerberus's playground. I mean, that place is great.
Yeah.
And then you go anywhere outside of it, and it's like obviously the pike might be better here, but it really depends on the modifier we're getting. If we're getting hanging buildings,
And the structures, yeah.
Going to plan against Sabers,
Both the Serb and the Pike are incredible there. Like, incredible. Because you have the Pike holding off people from jumping up, and then as soon as they get in there, the Cerberus just cleans them up. So it really is like one of those maps where, like, you're right, but at the same time, I mean, if you stay low with the Serb, you can do it. Be an absolute menace.
Yeah.
Typically taking
especially like in that hotel area too, that's right next to the church. Also a horrible area. I mean, you have like the warehouse sort of like barn thing that is horrible.
Yep.
With the Serb, like that, it's just all really bad places you don't want to be facing.
Who doesn't run Invis. So
I'd argue I wish Ranked would let us change loadouts.
Terrifying.
I
agree.
I'd actually, I'd love if you get one change.
If he turns up,
I'd be down for that.
I'm fine with limiting changes. I think that's actually great. I think it would add another strategy, but maybe allowing at least one change, or you could even do like.
Sorry, go ahead, Rio. My apologies.
This might be a little controversial, but a team-based change limit. That you could,
I really like that
use between everybody.
The sledge and the dash, because that's such a clash of the style that we normally see in EU. It's normally just invis lights. There's a lot of invis lights, and we see people running thermal.
Yeah, we had this conversation on one of our podcasts about a ban system, and I think Sam made a good point where I don't think we're at that point yet. I think in the future, when more gadgets and weapons are added, I absolutely think a ban system should be added, and I would even encourage it. I think it'd be great for long-term.
It's a lot harder to lock.
Like meta-defining
we've seen him running
changes and bans, which would be really cool. It's a great way of keeping the game balanced via the community. If the community doesn't like something, they just ban it, and it's great. And it allows the development team to kind of sit back a little bit and not make those big changes and let the community kind of decide the meta themselves, which I think is always better than devs coming in and ruining something and hurting a lot of people.
We think that they're going to bring. We've done all this sort of prep, and then they go, no, we're doing something completely different. And the way both their days have been going, knocked down into the low bracket, it could happen. But here we are on Skyway. Let's get moving.
Yeah, I think we're not close to map bloat, but I will say that I think there's too many maps in the game that play exactly the same. I think that's a big problem.
I agree with that. I don't think we're at map bloat at all, but I think there's a lot of maps that I could be playing it and I get it confused with another map.
We have, like, Skyway Stadium is very much similar to Monaco, and even similar to or not Skyway Stadium. What's the we have like Seoul and that other map, which is also very similar.
Skyway Stadium is basically a mashup of Seoul and Monaco to an extent.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think there's too many maps that are very similar. I will say maps like Sis Horizon and Bernal are different and great, and they're perfect for that. But there needs to be more maps like that. There's too many maps that come out. I think Vegas is one of those defining maps, which is really interesting because it's one of the first maps added to the game. But we have a lot of maps like Skyway Stadium and Monaco and a few other ones that are just way too similar. It's just kind of ridiculous.
I mean, it's kind of one of the reasons I actually kind of like Kyoto. It's so unique, and it's got its server problems. There's some other problems it's got, but
do the honorable thing and plunge his
as quickly as possible. Kyoto is so defining. It's so fresh, like when it came out, and so I would rather them take their time and release maps that feel that defining versus kind of like a mashup of two maps, which is, in my opinion, what Skyway kind of feels like.
I would like in the future for them to add a modifier where holes are in the map, kind of similar to like Seoul and Skyway Stadium and all that. I'd like if Kyoto had a version of the map where it's kind of cut into 3 chunks and stuff like that. I think it'd be a really cool modifier, and it'd be very easy to do.
Do it floor is lava type with like the lake and stuff, make it lava.
I mean, even if you don't want to go that crazy, like I said, I think adding in those holes in the map where you have to like jump via jump pad would be really cool to add as a modifier. I think they should stop making maps that are dependent on that normally. I think it should be a modifier. I think I don't like it.
All I say is for esport, the fact that you can take down an entire crane on top of a building is just pretty cool. Kind of one of those things that like never gets old.
Yeah, hopefully season 7 clutches up. I hope the next couple seasons they really start making some big changes. I think they have a good map pool right now. They just needed to further define what each map is and what its gimmick is. I think in the first couple seasons they really had some gimmicky maps, and they've kind of strayed away a little bit.
For them right now. None of them have even passed 250 combat.
Every map should have a gimmick, and I don't think enough do.
Rain with that sledge is just going to do a lot of damage.
Pulsar really struggling with getting some damage in. I don't think anybody has even 500 damage yet.
Just maybe
one
push left.
And I mean, this is basically the last push.
More in need of a sonar grenade. Can you imagine? But Atelko just has to dive straight in, hope for the best. He does have that.
They just can't do anything here. They have to force, and this is like, yeah, they have to force the kill here. They're just gonna die. They don't have enough time. They're gonna run away. If Aimers is smart here, they just waste time, which is exactly what they're doing.
I'm glad to know that Atelko also has that problem with the defib like I do, where I'm like, I swear I hit that guy and it just didn't hit.
Yeah, they just wasted time. Even if they wipe here, they get the money. It doesn't matter.
Have been wiped. Pulsar finally wins
Perfect situation.
The timer worked against them.
And I would actually say 9 times out of 10 you want to try to get wiped at the end of the box because it will always spawn you right on the next one.
They just weren't in time. And again, we saw Raim going toe-to-toe with Persia.
All right, Fenny, catch you later.
That did so much during the cash-out stages. It's just not working right now.
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of COD on Hardpoint, where you want to get wiped off the point so you get spawn again. You want people to overpush and give you spawns.
Hold it and then playing up.
Exactly.
It was so
curious
close
to see where they
Raim
spawned in
got a
at.
nice winch onto Persia, and Persia every time has been the first one to go down in these fights.
Yeah, again,
pretty much on the box. Or halfway there.
Yeah, they're right next one.
Up.
I will say Pulsar here does have the advantage. Being on this house is absolutely advantage.
Absolutely.
They need to keep it though.
Well, Atelko just gave it up. Robinski's already dead.
Yeah,
sir. This is the first time we're seeing the minigun today.
I will say, yeah, that
Out
is
of
true.
person.
I still think the sledge is going to eat that minigun up 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, I mean, he's dead.
However, these next couple maps that we're seeing are very open. I don't know if we're going to see Sledge on this. I don't know if Sledge is going to be viable on these maps.
I don't know.
Bernal
I think it's possible on Sis Horizon somewhat.
Sis
but
Horizon, 100%. Bernal, though, that's risky. Even running, I would even argue running the SA-1216 might be a little
They need to
risky.
move more cleanly together. They're kind of jumping
Just
in
there's
one at a
way
time.
too many. Even when you are inside a building, a lot of the buildings have way too much height and way too much space that it's not worth, I think, running the sledgehammer. There's not enough walls to play with.
Firing on all cylinders, like Aimers Blue.
a space station map would be really cool, actually.
With what you're doing, and
I agree, and I would
think
love
some
like
of
an
this comes down
anti-grab
to
zone,
the gadget picks.
permanent.
I know we'd like to see mesh and mesh pairs.
Yeah,
Would you want an
it would be
anti-grab or
cool
would you want a
with
low
that
grab?
minigun, but it's not going to do anything against
Either
sledge,
or.
and it's certainly not
Would be
going to
cool.
help you against a winch. It makes
I would love if I would love kind of similar to the zombies map Zoom or Moon, sorry, where you have like that biodome, you have like kind of all those things. I think would be really cool as a finals map, and you could destroy like the airlocks, and it would make certain zones low gravity or no gravity. Would be super sick. I think it'd be great. And modifiers, maybe like you could do a lot of really cool modifiers with that. You could have like,
Oh man, he almost got that white.
I'd actually love to see, if not, kind of similar if you think about it. A Moon space map, an underwater map could work.
Oh, dude. Okay, they got the finish.
An underwater map could work very easily.
And now they just need to try and close down this light.
I think there's so many cool ideas that they can do for maps, and I'm kind of curious why they don't.
They are attempting this skill as they don't.
Like, I don't know why they have such like realistically set maps. Like, why not have a space map? Why not have an underwater map? You know, why not have these super crazy, like almost fantasy looking maps? He's so dead, dude. And this is the problem with the minigun, dude. Is like, what do? You don't have enough time to spin it up. You're just gonna get run down by that sledge heavy. A medieval, yeah, exactly. A medieval map, like do a space map. Do all these really cool ideas.
Pulsar looks
It would be so cool to have a map like in Hawaii or something with a volcano. Like all these really cool ideas. I'm curious why they don't take more risks with a game that would benefit from it.
will we see a switch up? That's the
Dude.
big question for me. Well,
And I
feel
mean,
like
we're already on
Ultra
season
People
6 of a
really
game, and
consider
I
at
feel
this
like they
point,
haven't
are
taken many
one map
risks
away
in
from
terms of
crashing
design.
out of the championship playoffs.
It's all been very,
Absolutely. Now,
very,
that
very
was
set
Amber's pick. So
in
Amber's did get to
reality.
Skyway.
I mean,
That's
in terms
clearly
of
what they wanted.
weapons too.
Now we're gonna
Like,
head
why
next
don't
to
we
Bernal,
have
which is going to be
these
Pulsar's
crazy
pick.
weapons?
And the real question, like you said, is where do they shake things up? I would really like to see. I really want to see Prizon switch up. I don't want to see them.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to see the mesh. I think.
I mean,
still
even
really
in
good
that
weapons,
sense,
but I
though,
don't
why
think they
not
match
release
up
a
well
map
against the
that isn't
Sledgehammer. I
in
really want
competitive
to see
yet?
him
Let
potentially
it
pick up
throw it
Ignite
into
Shell,
the,
pick
you
up
know,
an SH1,
cash
or even
out, let
anything
people
else,
play with
because
it,
I
and then
think
balance it from
as
there.
strong as the
A
minigun
lot
is,
of
and I
games do that.
think we should see more of it.
And I think it's even
specifically
beneficial
does
where
not
you
match up
wait
well
to
against
put
the Sledge.
stuff
It is
in
basically a hard
ranked.
counter.
You give it 2-3 weeks.
Put it in world.
I
Yeah,
always
I
am a
think,
big
you know,
fan of
when
that.
we were
Put it in
looking at
world
the-
tour for a week.
the
See,
slots
kind of play test it, and then
around the,
actually release it on a later
around
patch.
meta,
I mean, but you hear what
in
I
terms
said?
of
Like, dude, like, yeah, like an underwater
weaponry,
map, a
gadgets, and things
volcano
like that,
map. Like, give me like these
there's
crazy,
a
crazy things.
a
Give me
strange
a
sort of thing.
weapon that is
It
just
seems that
like
the only real
makes
kind
no
of free
sense. Give
slot
me a
you
Spartan
get
laser,
is
dude.
the
Give me some crazy
lights
stuff.
third
Let's
gadget.
do it.
Everything else has
It's the
a
finals,
very
man.
small pool of gadgets that you
Whatever.
can circle around. And of course, the medium
I'd love more
weaponry that I mentioned
modifiers. Like,
earlier,
yeah,
for
give me
instance,
laser
well,
guns. Give me a laser gun
the heavy
modifier.
weaponry, if you're up against a sledge, really needs to adapt. But I
Yeah,
really
do
do
some
feel
crazy
like
stuff.
you just need a sonar.
I will
around
say
those
the
fights, right?
game
So many of these fights have
has
been
some great
so
game
much
show
easier
events, and then has some
for,
extremely
Pulsar on
mid
their
game
approaches
show
because they just
events
had a
that
better
I
read
just
on
could
their
not care
opponents.
less about.
I
Even
would
if you
love
throw that
if they
sonar
added a
up
game
and
show
you
event
don't get a
that
ping,
gave
that
everybody
in itself
incendiary
is
rounds. Like, just
information.
weird
You know
stuff,
that they're
dude.
not
Like,
playing
Yeah.
exactly on the point, or you know that
just
they're
give me
not
crazy
playing
things.
on that particular piece of high
There
ground.
needs to be
It
more of
just
that.
needs so
Headhunter.
much
Why
in
is that
these
not
fights, and it really does feel
a game
like
show
at
event
every
constantly?
turn,
It's a great idea.
Pulsar Esports
That's
is really
actually such a
surprised. They need to
wonderful
win the
game
intel
show
game,
event.
in my opinion.
Yeah,
It makes
I
no
agree with that
sense.
100%,
Yeah.
Jerry. And we do have Rio here for just a moment before we jump into
Why
the
is
next
there not
match.
like
So,
it's
Rio,
crazy
I'd
to
love
me
to get
too
just
that
a
like
quick
Vegas
update for you. What do you
exists
think
and the
about that match?
modifier
What do we
is the
need to
entire
see
map is covered
Pulsar
in a
do
sandstorm
differently?
and not really
Yeah, so
any
you caught me
modifier
off
exists
guard. I was
outside of it.
actually looking through
That's
my
that crazy.
copy pasta list because I was gonna start.
I will say the more
spamming
that I
out the
play
chat. So you guys
3v3
definitely
against
caught me
on
a little
Sandstorm
bit
Vegas,
off
I
guard,
like it
but
more.
all right,
Hard at work.
I always I will
did
say
write
I don't
down
know
some
why they
notes
say mega
based off of
damage
what
and
we
it
just
doesn't
saw in
affect
that
guns.
first
I think
matchup.
it's kind of a good
One
thing,
thing that I noticed right
kind
off
of,
the bat was
that it doesn't
Blue
affect guns.
brought
But
down
when I
the
read it as
crate
like someone new to
immediately
the
in the
game, I
expansion.
absolutely
Right
would
as
be
the
like,
enemy
oh, my guns do more
happened
damage,
there,
mega damage.
they
That makes
decided to bring
sense.
that down
I
because
wouldn't
it's
think
such a
destruction.
big
That's the
Yeah.
last thing
for
I'm
any
thinking.
light players
I
out there.
honestly
That's
thought
what
it
I
was
was
for
thinking.
weapons for the longest time.
Me too.
I was like,
That's
oh
what
my
I
god,
was
my FAMAS is gonna absolutely rip people, and I was like, wait.
Right.
And I think the kills were there to beat.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, there should
on the other
be
side of things,
way
Pulsar,
more.
I noticed that Atelco was
I
kind of the
I don't
ones
know.
who were live
I mean, I know
in
they have a
those
small dev
situations.
team, but I
So
just
he
feel like
maybe
they're
was
not
playing a
giving
little
this
bit away
game
from his
enough of a
team,
chance
or
sometimes.
maybe just kind of hiding a little bit more, you know, just
Yeah.
And
passively.
really just blowing
So
like
I don't
we're
know,
like I said,
maybe
we're
I
on
would
season
work
6.
where
By
Atelco
now
was
in most
going
games,
down
in a
last and
season
maybe try
6
and
of a
stay
game,
with your team,
things
fight
have
with the team. But
completely gone
yeah,
off
there's
the
just little
track.
tweaks to
Like
be had
things
here
are
and there.
crazy. There's
So
crazy
yeah,
stuff
what are
being
your
added
thoughts
by
for
season
Pulsar,
6 in a
Jerry?
video game.
My thoughts are that
I mean,
it's
you're
a really
well into the
difficult
game's
problem
lifespan,
for
and
them
we
to solve,
still
and
have
based on what
very,
I've seen
very
during
down to
this
earth,
week in
realistic
scrims
things
and
going on.
things, it's just
So
been
to
so
me,
difficult
why
for
not?
Pulsar Esports to
Hey,
find an
season
answer to
7,
this
let's just
particular
add in a
problem.
space
They
map.
talk
Let's
about,
add
you
in a
know,
laser gun for
how do you
medium, or
adjust with
you know,
the
whatever for
medium,
heavy.
trying to make sure
Like
that they
add
can
in those
hook on the
crazy
bike as
things.
easily as possible.
It's just I don't know. It's a
And
little
that
interesting to
positioning
me.
game that Telco plays is
I think it
really
would be
key, you
great.
know, but hidden from
Unfortunately,
light
they
as well
already
for
kind of
them. It
added
needs to
it.
be they need to make sure that
Adding a
everyone's
medieval
kind of
map and then
coordinated
giving
around
medium
that.
a sword and
And
shield
they
would have been
are
sick.
playing the tougher game.
That would have been
It
great.
has has to be said, you know.
Blame
you
it
go
on
into
giving
this
heavy like
sledgehammer
a
with
yeah,
the
giving heavy a
dash
great sword
XP, and
or
it's,
like a
so
war axe, like a
frustrating
great
to
axe
come
or
up
something. That
against,
would have been
right?
sick.
You feel like you're just being outdone by
I didn't
hammer
want to
every
outright say
time,
blame it
or
on
an
Arc,
XP
but
every
I can
time,
tell you
and
that that's part of the
From
problem.
what I've
I can
heard,
tell you that's
Arc
part of the problem.
Raiders,
so they need to kind
Arc
of
Raiders was
just solve the
originally
solution,
being
solve
developed
that
before the
problem on the
finals.
spot right now.
I think they
Because
realized how
it's
long the
they
dev time
haven't
would take,
solved
and they
it
decided to
correct,
make the
and that's a
finals.
bit frustrating to watch
From what I know,
from
yes,
sort
a
of a neutral
blunderbuss would be
perspective,
sick.
watching these
I
two
mean,
players
yeah,
constantly
give,
go at it. It feels as though
give
right
Medium
now,
a musket.
Aim as Blue have
It doesn't have to be good.
so many ways.
We already have their repeater, and it's
And
mid
there's
as
so many.
hell.
I do dislike some people's opinions. Were like, oh well, if we add, a lot of people had this idea with the nullifier. It's like, oh, if it's not good, why add it? And to me, yes, I think things should have viability, but it doesn't have to be. Oh, everything doesn't have to be this OP must-use gun. There can just be fun stuff added.
If he has
Like,
decided to swap things up,
just add in a musket. Who cares? Add in a musket. It's funny.
What
gonna
happened?
be playing a
Oh, never mind.
different
Okay, we're back.
loadout than we saw before.
Like,
Their
add in a
streamer
musket.
burst.
It's funny.
Rabinski No, it is the exact same loadout. They are committed to this. It must have worked so far. They have to figure something out. This needs to put
So
together.
we're on Banal now.
Jump pad here in the
They're
air,
on
but they're
minigun.
the
They're
zip
using
line.
mesh
Can he
wall.
catch anybody?
Minigun.
Blockable does catch a couple people. Looking to maybe zip across. Miniguns firing on all cylinders, doing some damage from range, but they need more than ship damage. They need to actually win this fight. Their person moving into close range, doing a lot of damage. Roma dashing away, getting away with a sliver of health, but he is alive for now. Still no deaths yet. Pulsar continuing to push their advantage. Perzon spinning that minigun, continuing to try and find. Etelko is looking for the enemy, but they're still playing so cautious, so safe on the side of Amers. But finally,
Talk about
there's
a
the jump.
ledge
They're on top
grab,
of them
like,
now. The glitch of the
back there
invis
for a
grenade is
second. That
giving
was
them some
crazy.
cover, but Perzon gets meshed in. He winched in. Oh, the sledge is going to take him out.
Yeah,
A
the
complete
sledge
up
just
now
is too
from
good.
the rest of Amers.
Yeah, I
Trying to
agree.
pick off
I
the rest of
mean,
Pulsar.
there should be more weapons that are just for fun. I mean, that's what people play games for. At the end of the day, not everything has to be this competitively viable weapon that is a must use. You know.
I mean, look at Evelet, bro. He's basically he's like, I'm running dagger and nothing else, and I know it's not as good as other things, but it's, well, I'm gonna run.
Yeah, it's fun.
Has fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, add a musket so I can hit a trick shot with that thing.
Is a clean wipe there.
Let me do it.
For Amers Blue at the
You
end
know,
of it.
add in
There's
a sword and a shield,
bit of
like I'm a
adaptation
knight.
going on between the two teams. And you notice one of those things, right? The vanish bomb coming
so many
out
cool
from
ideas.
Roma, just to enable those dives, which is going to be very exciting to watch from Amers Blue. But also on the other
And that's
side,
kind of what we were getting at in some of the podcasts is like add in a ton of elemental weapons, dude. Let me put ice on the ground. Let me do like just yeah, it doesn't have to be competitively viable. Let me just do it because it's fun. I don't know.
You don't need to run.
No.
Make it
does open up a slot.
It's an arena
for you to
shooter.
kind of shake things
Like,
up.
whatever.
And I actually like this play because I think the goal here is that they're going to use this nullifier.
Yeah, I just
try and
really hope
take
they make some
Rain
big
out of the,
moves in the
play.
future
They
to
want-
kind of
they
just
want him
really
to deal,
like
to do so much damage.
pop
If he
the
gets
lid
on top
off
of
and
them,
just do
let's see if it
crazy
works now.
out of
Roma's very low, but again, he's able to get away.
things you would
He's
never
still
think of.
surviving.
I think
He
they
turns
really
around,
need to do
Rabinski
that.
is down.
It'd be so
One
cool
down
for a
already
game.
for Pulsar. Again, they're playing from a disadvantage as it's looking to pick off
Nunchucks could go
anyone, but they
crazy.
lose the
Yeah,
second.
I
It's just
agree.
a Telco. He has that
Yeah,
Cerberus, but
exactly.
Cerberus
Like,
not strong
and
enough.
those
He's
probably
gonna
should have
go
been
down.
added
Not a
in
soul
Dude,
lost,
this is
except for Ray, who
just
decided
like a
to blow himself up
slam.
with the
This
RPG.
is
But
not
again,
even
it's
worth
another win
watching.
for
I'm gonna
Amers
be
Blue.
honest.
That's
we have to
crazy.
credit
Oh my
Amers
god, I've been so
for
checked out of this
the
entire series.
win
I've been
so
trying to
far.
watch it.
Also
I'm like,
credit
I just
Pulsar
it's
for
Pulsar
trying
East.
to
We're just
chase
getting
that,
rammed every single time.
adaptation that we did ask
know.
of them. You know, it's not the change we expected.
It's interesting because they, I mean, they just look totally lost.
I know.
And the thing is, it's light, medium, heavy on both sides, so it's not.
I think Bernal is one of those maps where Light's gonna have a much easier time into a medium heavy. The building part is constricting and forcing you down hallways and stuff.
Now they do have this cash out under their name. They are going for that hide and seek. No sonar still. I lament it. Maybe they will later. They're opening up this.
He's running Nullifier, but I don't think he's gotten any skill shots. I think that's his problem. I honestly do think, unfortunately, their heavy is in a really unfortunate spot. He's running mesh wall and minigun into sledge, and he's just gonna lose.
This is the second time they've gone for. Look, they've gone for this bait play where they tap the box, which is fine. Demat the ceiling and then try to fight them, and I'm like, it's just a bad fight.
They need to gateway up. He needs to get his minigun charged.
Yeah, this is objectively a terrible fight. Yeah, I mean, dude, just absolutely slammed for no reason. It's objectively a terrible fight because what they're doing is they're like, okay, for retake, we're going to tap the box. Fine. Okay, I'm going to demat this ceiling and fight the guys that have high ground while we have the low ground. You are choosing to pick the fight at the disadvantage. Like, if your goal is to wipe them and then steal, just try to take height.
They would be in a better position if they were to do that tap and have a gateway set above them,
right?
And then quick gateway on top of them when they start looking down.
Right.
That would be the trap there. But they're not. They're trying to create a distraction and then not doing anything.
They're selling with the fight before it even starts by just, I mean, and like, look at this. Their heavy's just left to die by himself. Where's the team? Telko's already dead. Their light, Rob, is out in the middle of nowhere.
They're in shambles.
Look, Rob's literally running the box right now. What are we doing?
With the vault is trying to get away. Is
you
he
don't even
plug
get anything
this?
from
He might
this.
do it just to make sure that his team can coin. It's a 10
What's the
seconds.
point?
You want them to coin, but I mean, you got 9 seconds.
He's gonna be dead, and they're gonna.
Why are you why plug it?
I'm not sure if this is the right.
Yeah, they're already there.
Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. His teammates already coined. Oh no, they wiped. Never mind. They didn't even coin.
Oh no! What
that's
a
even
blunder
worse.
from Rabinski. That is so much.
That was the
worse.
worst play you could have made.
At this point, we're talking about the possibility.
I agree.
Of
I don't. Yeah. Why are we plugging here?
going out with a whimper. Against
I
their
hate
opposite
this.
number getting
Yeah, I agree. I don't know
Dude,
why
this
we're
is the
running
worst.
minigun mesh wall, and we're
It's
just running away from the team. Like
just
minigun
complete
is
dominance
great when
from
you play
Amers
with your
Blue.
team,
They
and
are
no
not
one's
missing
near
a
him ever.
step. They haven't.
And mesh wall's
It's the
horrible
cash out
against
space
Sledge.
program. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
We've gone to the moon, and they've completely
Yeah, no,
reset
there's
them.
definitely
Oh,
time.
it's
Like,
the-
if
it's
I were
hard to push
them
into
and he
Amber
was
here,
going for
but
the
against
coin
Sledge, when
play,
you're
I
set
would have
up
taken the
here,
box and
it's gonna
thrown
get
it
even
as
harder.
far
Again,
away from the
do
cash
not
out
know where
box
they
as
are.
possible,
There's the
and then
fight.
wait on the cash out box with my team
just be it,
for them
yeah.
to coin.
Oh, wait,
That's what I would have
The
done.
thing is, you need to tell your teammate, yeah, they're playing OBJ for the other team, because, I mean, look how far it's progressed. It's already halfway there.
I know, because it took them 20 seconds
And
once they captured
Pulsar,
it.
I mean, they're getting ready to wipe again, but Pulsar wasn't even halfway there. Look, they're literally holding him hostage, too.
They're just keeping him alive. It's just they're playing with their food right now. They're just.
Dude,
I would too. I would
this is the
absolutely do that here.
worst- This is
On
the
Bernal, he
worst
can't kill
pro
himself
match I've
easy.
ever watched.
Yeah, this is a
This is
a
the worst pro match I've ever seen, hands down.
This is a
That is
fucking train wreck.
embarrassing. That is embarrassing.
Oh man, they're in shambles.
Oh
They're in
man.
shambles. They can't even fix this because it's
Oh, it's over. No, I mean, the series is over. They're out of the tournament. But that is
that's a tough way to go.
Such
a tough way to go.
Dude, holy.
Right now into
I know it's so bad. It's so bad, Harris. It's so bad.
Yeah, like you said, it just has to be full throttle right now. They have a Cerberus, they can get rid of this gas, but Atelco needs to
Their
blow that
shift's
gas up
fine.
now. He's
Gears
just
over.
ignoring it. He's looking for the kills instead.
I'll be emoting in spawn. This isn't even worth. I don't even know why you're fighting this.
I'd get up. I'd get up from the desk. Go grab a water.
Oh yeah, I'd be hitting the bathroom. I hit the John.
I'm getting off. Honestly, I'm getting off now. I'm even talking to my team.
Oh yeah. They
See you
left
guys
immediately.
another day.
Yeah, that Discord call got left immediately. Holy.
bragging rights in the I don't know what their surname is household for quite some time.
Yeah, that's an awkward dinner tonight. I tell you what.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Well,
they're
yeah,
probably gonna
they're
set up another
twins.
game.
Noah X is
I'm
gonna
gonna
be late
I'm gonna
because
go warm
he's
up
got
some food.
another
Okay.
match up
Yeah, for
against
sure.
Bricked.
Okay.
So it may, depending on the outcome of that.
Yeah,
it may
McCann. Yeah, they were just quite literally just
a
outmatched
rather
in every
bittersweet victory
That was
thing.
the
over his
worst
brother. But you have to
game
give
I have
credit to
ever
Pulsar
watched in my
for
life.
their performance this season.
For pro play.
Unfortunately, that is really not the way they wanted to end it.
Yeah, not what they wanted at all. And we have Rio back here. Rio, that was. I have no words. Run us through what we saw. And you are muted, so make sure you're bringing in here. Don't forget. Don't forget.
There we go. I am muted, and yeah, that was a match. So I have the hard job of explaining what we just watched in the first two matchups because
Dude,
it was
holy.
a dominating performance by Amers Blue. I really feel like there was just something that changed because every other matchup that we've seen between these two teams,
Casters can't even tell this. The problem is, like, I don't even know if Amers Blue, like Amers Blue, I would argue played well, but I don't know if I can objectively say that because Pulsar played so bad.
In the other format, I don't know.
Like Amers Blue won, but I think it's more Pulsar just lost. They just looked lost. They lost every single fight. They objectively, it looked like they had no idea how to play. It was crazy.
He was there in the right spot, and then
I mean, I can't believe it.
Again,
Which, by the way, for reference, I think Pulsar is who won the
die or was just kind of buying time, but
the EU
we've had
playoffs,
some
right?
upfront-
Hang on,
yeah,
let's
we've
see.
seen some cats.
Let me double
and,
check.
if my wife is watching, go ahead and let out the cats because
Yeah, Pulsar won the EU playoffs, 3-1.
Let's say, Walt,
And-
what does your cat think about that last?
Well,
match?
actually, they got 2-0'd by
was,
okay. So they
he
got
was not
2-0'd by
impressed.
Amers Blue in the upper
He was
finals.
really
They
hoping
got sent
for
to
a
the lower
drag-down,
semifinal,
knockout
or no,
fight, and it
the
just
lower
did not
final.
quite come to pass. It was
Yeah,
like,
the lower
like
final.
you said, like, it
They
was
2-1
just-
Burnt
it was-
Nuggets, and then played again
I
3-1
don't
Amers
call it a
Blue.
snooze fest, but there was just the action just never took place. Like there was never it never felt like Pulsar were in control of the match. And I think what's kind of interesting here is like you have, I think Jerry pointed this out in a really good way because he talked about the scrims, and hopefully we'll get some information from his cat because I think there's a good conversation going on there that I'd love to be privy to. But since we don't have that yet, I feel like Jerry pointed this out that Pulsar
Cat's
might be in
vibing.
their heads. They might be on their own heads. They were not doing well against Amers Blue, and so I think they kind of just. They ran into a wall and they could not figure out how to beat them. And this was the
Yeah, Jerry's
worst
even
matchup
like,
they've
I'm gonna
ever
hang out
run
with the
into.
cat, bro. There's nothing to talk
Jerry,
about here.
what's your cat think on this?
I'd rather not say.
Oh,
was
no.
pretty brutal.
Oh.
He was pretty brutal about
Oh
that
god.
version.
Oh god. Oh god.
So I'm going to tone it down a little bit. I'll give you the censored version because you've got a bit of a potty mouth. But let's just say that Pulsar Esports were heckin' bad. It was, yeah, not the showing they wanted. It was, I feel a little bit smug because it was as I predicted, but it really isn't the way I wanted to see them go out this season. You know, they've had such an incredible season, and let's not take away the fact that they were the EU champions.
They were the champs.
They have achieved
They're good.
That is still something they can brag about.
Okay, well, we're gonna have
Of
Bricked
course,
versus
they
Amers
came into
Blue,
the
and we're gonna
mixed
have
bracket. They just couldn't step
Blowers
up.
versus
So,
Make-A-Wish, dude. They are
they
making
have
the
to
run.
hope. In fact, the entirety of EU's hopes now
They're
are
literally making
on
the run.
Amers
I'm
Blue.
calling it.
Noah X, Reimke, and Roma. I almost forgot the light player. That would be really bad.
Yeah, no, I think that's a great summary, and I can't believe that this is all in the hands of Amers Blue. They definitely.
Oh yeah, I
fought
hope we get to
well.
watch
We
Make-A-Wish
didn't
because
need
I
a
want to
main
know
event
if
leading up to this.
Viper
I think
has
that it was
changed
weird, and
anything
I
up
really felt
because he
like
needed
Amers
to.
Blue was kind of the team that people
But
were a little slept on. They didn't give them kind of the field that they deserved, kind of the room that they deserved, and I think
feel
that they
bad
have
for
shown
Amers.
us that,
Yeah.
my God, can they play?
I mean, they're gonna be playing
in
Bricked.
those
I
last
still
matches
wish I
were
knew what
insane.
happened in
For
the
everybody that's kind of
AHS
wondering
game
what we're talking about, go
against
watch
them
the matches
because
from last weekend when these two teams battled it out. 'Cause
them
it
getting
was
2-0 is
different
just
playing
crazy
field. It
to
was
me.
different teams almost. And Jerry, you said
Yeah.
that you watched them kind of scrimming each other. You said you saw
The
kind of the same
piss
thing that you saw
Bricked, yeah.
today. Did you notice something change, or kind of what was your observation from that?
Well, it's
That'd be
also they
interesting.
got,
So,
you know, a lot of intel on each other.
my
during
God, I
that
hate
meeting,
messing
and
with my
I
camera.
feel
This
as
is
though
why I
Amers
don't
Blue
do it,
started
but
to
it was
fully
really
understand
bothering me,
that
and
from
now
that
it's
side.
stuck sticking up. Hang on.
I feel like it is a matchup with their particular players
Hold
and
on,
their
hold
particular
on.
skill sets.
Better?
That
Okay.
does favor Amers
Stress
Blue.
me
That's
out.
not to say
I
that
was
they're
gonna leave it. I just
necessarily a
couldn't.
better
I couldn't
team
do it to myself.
overall. But you know, in a fighting game sense, if you beat your opposition, you are just higher ranked than them. So it's another question, you know, for another day. Because really, right now, they can't afford to be thinking about this right now. Obviously, Pulsar Esports, they'll learn from their mistakes. They are very good at reflecting on them and learning from them and making adaptations. Unfortunately, it just wasn't enough today. In the case of Amers Blue, they've got to look forward to this very next match up against the Bricked, and that is when the heat really starts to turn up, I think, for them.
Yeah, and I think this would be a great time to kind of look at the bracket and see where everybody is at, because I think that we've had a few updates to the matches. So, Waltz, why don't you kind of talk us through what we're looking at right now?
Yeah, so Make-A-Wish have knocked Holthouse Finest out. We talked about Make-A-Wish with that run through the playoffs last weekend. And it seems like we might be getting a repeat. I won't call it too early, but Make-A-Wish are clearly performing very well right now, taking out Burnt Nuggets, taking out Holthouse Finest. Again, we have to say goodbye to Holthouse Finest and Pulsar Esports here. And now Make-A-Wish are up against the Blowers. This is a rematch of their round one that they lost. So Make-A-Wish, if they can overcome Blowers here, I think are going to prove that they have the ability to adjust and reset during the day, and that is
Make-A-Wish is making the run, bro.
skill to have.
Calling it.
So a
Yeah.
lot of eyes on Make-A-Wish.
They just knocked out Holthouse Finest.
Matchup. But of course, Jerry,
they're going to be playing the Blowers. I'm hoping we're watching that match. I have no idea if we are or not.
Team that I
but-
think most of us expected to stay in the upper bracket all the way to the grand final. They were so dominant. And the real question is, can Amers Blue, the hope of the entire EU region, take down the big bad of Bricked?
Well, if they do, it will represent the winners of both last week's playoffs, EU and NA, being knocked out before day 2. So that would be an upset of upsets, and I don't think anyone would have had that in their predictions. I'm hoping that not everyone would have had that in predictions, because as far as I'm aware,
I'll turn your cam off while you hear.
relatively well on those, and we
That's
will check
fine.
in on them at the end of the day. But yeah, I think pretty much everyone had Bricked making a clean sweep to the grand final, and that's just not happened.
What's his
So,
cat's hanging out?
I don't know. My personal prediction right now, if I were to continue
Literally on the
which you're
keyboard.
allowed to do, I think, is that Make-A-Wish Foundation, we will see them tomorrow.
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
they've got that lower bracket energy, and they should get through the blows. But of course, as you mentioned, they're the only team that they've lost to so far today.
Bricked will be on top of their
I
shit,
guess we
guaranteed.
just have to find out with Brick versus Amers.
Dude,
Blue.
it's
what's
gonna be.
coming up next, so
I
if you
hope
have
they make it
anything
back
to
to
say,
grand finals. I obviously want NA to win this thing.
No, just
And I think they're
I
the
think
best
Bricked is
team to
gonna
do it.
Bricked is gonna
here, and
like
far as they've
run
come,
circles
they've been the
on
team
losers
that I just
bracket. I
kind of
think.
felt has been the
Yeah.
underdog this entire league, and they really had some rough matches to start, but as far as they've made it, and they just
I would be
seem
down for
continually
Bricked or
improve.
Make-A-Wish to
I'm
win
really
the whole
impressed with
thing.
them.
Make-A-Wish wins it just for the underdog story. That's why I want it.
But we will
But
have more matches coming up. We are going to take a quick break. But before we do, guys, I want to just tease a little something that's going to happen after the matches, and that is our show match. So if you guys are interested in seeing how us casters, there's 3 of us here, and then there are 3 others that will be joining us, play against each other, you'll be able to see kind of the difference in skill from the pros to us, but it should be fun. And so we will have that happen right as the matches wrap up today. But other than that, guys, we are going to take a very quick break as we get the next matches loaded up and ready for you. So stay tuned.
all right, another break.
This is everything, Mickey. They need to get there in time. They do. They stop the steal. If he reload, he's able to do it before you get that super. Oh, the RPG on the Skillbird. Beamo absolutely beaming right now. Finishing off the rest of the team. Lightly over to the sideline here. The gateway has been placed. They come up from above.
Play commit doing so much, just controlling this team fight.
All right.
There's no way.
I'm gonna step away as well for a second and fill up my water, stretch my legs for a minute. So I'll be back. I'm just gonna let this play for the time being.
Oh, they do. The team that hits.
Try and go for the steal, and the winch is huge. It doesn't work out though. He can't do anything yet.
No, he still takes it. 1 versus 3.
This isn't just a game. This is TNT. Welcome to the jungle and welcome to 8 Squad's Thursday Night Throwdown.
Featuring the game's top talent, pick up games where chimps become champions.
Thursday nights 8 to 10 p.m. every week, only on 8 Squad. Catch us live on air on Twitch at twitch.tv/8squador.
In the world of sports, every second counts. Every move matters. That's where a Spooze comes in. The sports beverage designed for champions.
Sorry, Chad, I'm eating.
With a Spooze,
How's everyone doing right now?
pop, pour, perform. Packed with electrolytes and essential nutrients to keep you hydrated and energized, Spooze is your go-to drink for peak performance. Whether you're just carrying the vault or securing the winning cash out, Spooze is there to fuel your victory. Its unique formula is scientifically designed to boost your stamina and focus. Spooze, for those who dare to excel. Pop, pour, perform.
The real world can be unfriendly, misleading, confusing. But your world doesn't have to be. Reality Shield will protect you, cutting out the noise, making the world perfect. We do not censor. We cultivate. Engimo.
It's showtime!
Yeah, I really want to. I want to get some of these, some of those exclusive skins. There was the Emerald skins, I think, last season that were. I think it was for one of the guns I wanted. I don't know if it was for the Arn or something, and I was like, dude, I wish I would have gotten that.
That strange thought you just had, where did it come from? And was it even yours? Our new Series 2000 effectively suppresses third-party influence and eccentricity, outperforming our competitors within the standard deviation of conformity. With the Series 2000, your mind stays in control. Via, we as one.
You know, June, every time I think I've seen it all, the finals proves me wrong. What a play!
That's one for the highlight reel, Scotty.
Next chapter in this epic saga is about to unfold. A storm of epic flashes is brewing this season of the finals.
Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be a hyper fast session because they are about to load into the matches. But real quick, Waltz, who are we about to see?
We're going to watch Aimers Blue take on Bricked. This is our final match of the day. The top team of NA versus the second team of EU in the lower bracket, fighting for elimination. Like you said, we're going to be jumping into our match in just a second, but the stakes have never been higher.
Absolutely not. EU's reputation is on the line right now, Rio and Waltz, and I say that with a lump in my throat. Aimers Blue up against possibly the hottest prospects in NA, who have been knocked down, surprisingly, into the lower bracket. Bricked, who right now are dancing on our screen for just a moment there. We'll get back. There they are, now running, as they run straight into Cis Horizon, our first map of this series. Brick's pick on NA servers, I can assume. Oh no, we'll get confirmation of that.
All right, I'm back.
I assume it's correct, but either way, we'll just go on with that assumption right now. Waltz.
Ate a Cliff Bar.
They do have higher seed,
and
because they were
push my legs for a second because I've been sitting down for too long.
To fight their way through.
Yeah.
This is something to Aimers.
Watching this makes me want to play Tour and get the Auspus check. Is there an Auspus check for playing World Tour right now?
So can they do with Brick?
What is that from? Oh, is that? Oh, it's the Are you talking about the contracts?
A little bit of time out to sit and kind of think through things. Is that going to go against them, or is it better for them? A little bit of maneuvering back and forth, and there's again a mesh shield from Busy. We saw this last time from Person, didn't work for him. Will it be different for Busy? Busy is running the SA-12 instead of the
Final circuit camo,
so there
right?
Might be a slight difference here, but again, we're going to
Yeah,
see
I need to do those contracts as well. I've done the other two.
Gets behind them,
circuits.
takes a couple shots and backs out. His team is up there and though Busy as well drops down. The whole team took a look and turned tail. Said they didn't want to take that fight. Very smart play from them. Take the fights that they can actually win. Dropping up again and again and again. They're just keep positioning, looking for the right fight. STN is back and forth, but Busy running.
Oh no, Busy went about himself.
Taken out by Rain, backstabbed with that sledge.
Oh man.
Now his team has to pick up the pieces. Can they get him out of there?
Dude, Brick versus Aimers, man.
Brick versus Aimers, and Busy went in by himself, kind of.
Barely alive.
Got deleted.
Right
Excuse me.
Aimers, they seem to be taking the momentum from that last fight.
No, I'm not.
So they can find a kill onto the heavy right there of Renka, but Noah X makes quick work of that, brings his big fella back up again, and we're still in a 2 versus 3. I would be surprised to see Busy coin in, but he has done exactly that as they look to reset. The first fault has not been tapped yet, so they do get a second roll of
Miscommunication with STM for sure. Yeah, I mean, I thought STM was going to go with him.
He's going for these early picks with
Saying Brick's been having a lot of really small mistakes today that seem to be really costing them. I'm a little nervous for him, to be honest, right now. I mean, you also have Aimers coming off of a game where they just absolutely dunked on the number one team actually in EU. So momentum's with Aimers currently.
We've seen Brick continuously do really well, but Noax and crew moving around Aimers Blue trying to find their angle. It actually is a sonar down as well, so finally the sonar grenade makes an appearance, but the vault continues to be untouched even as it has been already tapped. Bricked with the high ground right now. We see some damage already. Roma is doing some damage, has Busy about 3/4, but no kills yet. Finally,
you can put me back on.
It looks like we're pushing.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Angle, but he's so low, he's
no, you're good.
Oh, wrong screen. There we go.
Takes out the heavy. Now it's Cerberus versus SA-12. The Cerberus wins this one. Looking for the revive. He does get his heavy. 3 versus 1. It looks like they took most of them out. Only one.
Oh, wow.
Remaining 2 left now. They do the
3v1 currently.
Just one member on the other side of Brick. Can he keep this alive?
It's huge, actually.
Wow.
It's interesting that they coined. So they coined Busy in order to, I guess, not let them bank. Which, I don't know, maybe is an interesting place to use a coin. Granted, they get 3 of them per map. It's kind of like, I guess just use them. You might as well go and use them. But it's just interesting to me that they didn't like instantly wipe and let them bank.
I'm surprised more teams haven't been using coins.
I'm saying.
Yeah, and that's such that you.
Yeah, I mean 3 per map. You might as well. I mean,
at least once, right?
Yeah, you might as well. Oh God.
This time he gets winched in. He's
Yeah, that's
dead.
another. Busy walked in, got nuked again. That's unlucky.
There's only one left alive. Can Stu handle this? He does get a return.
I mean, I have to say,
once again, we're down to only a couple members.
why is that happening to begin with? Like, if you're running into a team as one person into a full team, then clearly something is wrong.
Well, he's got his teammates behind him, but he's running mesh shield, and winch goes through it, so he's getting winched into the room and nuked. And Amers is playing pretty spread out. That is like, it's kind of like
with how prominent winch has been. I don't know why we're still seeing mesh shield.
I don't know either.
I don't.
That's what the casters were saying. Well, they didn't say specifically that, but they were like, you know, he's bringing out the mesh shield again, or mesh shield against this, which didn't work for the previous team.
Very similar situation right now. Will they pull off the same trick twice in a row?
The D-mat.
Ooh, big D-mat. That's the heavy pick.
Huge. That medium.
This should be the medium pick. That's the wipe. That's big.
Huge. And that's their last push. I don't think they'll get to it in time.
Yeah, because if you pick Biz first, you're the first team. Yeah. We're just saying more like, why run mesh shield if you know people are running winch, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what we're getting at is like, if you're running mesh into sludge winch, like, it just doesn't make any sense. And on top of that, I mean, we were more so saying, like, why is Busy in a situation where he's being chowed by 3 people and his team isn't right next to him? Is kind of what we were more saying. Like, clearly something's not right.
Him getting winched in is why he died at least the second time. His team was pretty much right behind him, but he got winched pretty much around the corner and nuked. I mean, there's just nothing you can do against that.
Yeah, but this is like the 3rd time it's happened.
Well, second.
Yeah. Slightly longer range weaponry will just ferry them around, control the mid-ground of the map, and try to guard against the deposit.
But yeah, picking the heavy first is pretty close to winning the fight. Makes the game significantly harder.
Look towards our second cash out, and both teams really trading blows right now. It's much more of a matchup.
The Stu glitch grenades for entry? I'm not sure. I would imagine so. I feel like glitch grenades are kind of necessary. Also, I'm seeing Data Reshaper on Noah X right now. I don't think maybe I just haven't been paying attention, but I don't think I've seen that used at all by anybody today.
No, a couple teams have had it. From what I've seen, but I've never seen them like use it in like an essential play. So I don't know what they're running it for.
I don't know.
I mean,
with Glitch Mine being out of the game, I guess, like
maybe Lock Bolt. Yeah, and maybe it's just to make up for Glitch Mine. I don't know.
What just happened?
That is so funny.
What just happened?
They tried to move it, but they moved it too far. They did too well, and now they don't have time to move it again.
Is Brick's locked in? They had a nice retake right at the end, but they did not look locked in to start.
There's that invis grenade again. Gets them the entry. Barricade goes up, but they drop to the floor, looking to find a pick. No X
wonder where they dropped. They had a really good spot there.
You know, that's what I don't understand, and that's my issue. I think with like the finals players in general is just people do not like to hold power positions in this game. They just get bored too early and they give it up.
Yeah, they chase really hard.
And they're not even chasing. It's like they're just bored and they jump down immediately. What's the point?
A lot of health left on him as his team is kind of looking for an entry point. They haven't been able to get any damage on anyone. But there's another RPG. Busy does not miss with these. He's looking to finish off range.
It's a huge RPG. They're going to clean up so quick. Yep. They just need to look to the right, clean him up. Insane DMAT.
Yeah,
the light's over.
Insane play by Busy.
Yeah.
If Busy gets going, Brick usually wins the fight. And it's...
I gotta give him it where like that situation where he's holding the mesh wall, everyone's looking at him, and then teammate DMAT's behind the guy was insane. That was like is like the perfect usage of mesh wall, like ever.
And now the second time of asking here, they've managed to
Yeah, and that's game right there. I don't think they're gonna
that's
get a
map
hit.
one. No, that's map one.
Yeah. That's what Bricked is good at. Is they're good at making momentum and keeping it. They're so good at keeping momentum.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, they went from basically being on the back pedal, on first cash out to just absolutely holding and dominating.
They got there and they wasted so much time that they didn't even get another push. It's just over.
Yep.
They're crazy.
But that first cash out, it could have gone the way of Aimers. I think we might see a bit longer of a game this time.
I certainly hope so. You were absolutely right. For the first, 3 or 4 minutes of that, Aimers Blue were winning the important.
Sorry, more and some lunch. Give me a second.
I want to know what happened to Bricked that one game.
I have no idea. Yeah, I wish I knew as well.
You just can't teach. It's just experience. They learned about their opponents on the job. And right now, Aimers Blue and EU, by extension, are 1 map away of crashing out of the championship playoffs. I've got to show my colours a little bit here, Waltz, and say I hope it doesn't happen. I hope at the very least we do get a 3-mapper like you think might happen.
I really hope we do. I mean, as much.
Is this the last EU team?
I think so, supposedly.
One team.
Oh, it is.
It's either that or they have one more.
No, this is it. I mean, Aimers Blue, if they get knocked out, there's no more EU in this tournament. It's all NA from here.
Only one EU team left in that top 6. Can they move through?
Yeah, this is it. Wow.
Something here. They have to figure out what.
Make a Wish down 1-0 right now. I want to see them pull that out.
I hope they do. If we can get, honestly, I think I would like to see AHS, Bricked, Make a Wish, and what was the other team?
They're not trying to get a pick. They're not trying to hold a position.
Well, AHS and DIT are going to the upper final.
Team DIT, yeah. Those, I want to see those 4.
The rest of the team.
I want to see those 4 in any capacity. As long as those or 2 of those 4 are involved in any capacity, I'm excited.
I will say, Bricked against Make-A-Wish Foundation is a repeat of what happened in Grand Finals last week, and it was very much a dominant 3-0 out of Bricked. So I expect it to be the same if Bricked goes up against Make-A-Wish, but we'll see.
In every regard, though, of course, taking a Sledge Heavy to Cis Horizon, you're going to find it a little bit harder to leverage. So
Bricked still live in lower bracket. Yep, they're up 1-0 against Aimers Blue right now, which is probably their hardest match to get out of lower bracket. So I'd argue if they get out of this series, I have the feeling they're going to make it to grand finals. That's my call.
How are they going to do that, though?
But we'll see.
Outside of the switch in map, the switch in servers, what do they have to do to adjust to make it much harder for Bricked to execute their game plan?
Yeah, they did a really good job. That initial fight.
It was a very competitive game, though, at least, which is good.
But there was a moment there that I thought I really, really liked where Rame drops in and he tries to look for Busy, misses the initial winch. And
looking around on Fiverr, and there's some really good people that make emotes for pretty cheap.
They're like so close.
Emotes?
But they're just out of range. They're not far enough range that
I use somebody.
At least like member badges, to be honest, would be probably good.
Yeah.
Maintain that positioning. That placement is so crucial when you're playing against.
Let me see about overlays.
Just kind of toe that balance and figure out a way to take him out.
Yeah, dude. Great animated overlays for like 20 to 50 bucks, and they're like full. The 50 bucks ones are like full suites.
If the team isn't there to back him up, you take him out. And that's such a crucial part of any team that's running a Sledge Heavy. Once that guy goes down, you've lost a huge
alerts, all that. If we can get all that done for like 50 to 100 bucks, that'd be huge.
Saw quite a lot of these light battles making a big difference. Very early on, for instance, the kind of 1v1. It was a 3v1.
Yeah, like having some like good transfer animations for this would be great. And we could use them in the transitions in the channel or in the videos too.
Get the plug, defend the cash out,
yeah.
Almost get the full cash to their name. So perhaps we're just expecting maybe a little bit too much of Roma on the side of Aimers Blue, but these are two.
Yeah, they're in lower bracket right now, but they will. I think they're gonna make it out. Honestly,
they need to get through this series.
I think they will.
They get through this series, I think they make it to grand finals.
Dude, Aimers Blue is just in shambles, man.
Yeah, you're right. These two are truly dominant.
Oh, remake.
Might have a disconnect here. might have to do a remake as well. Hopefully he can reconnect, but we'll have to consider what we need to do. You can see the teams kind of walking through, figuring out what they need to do. We do have a pause. So we have a moment here to continue kind of breaking down. Like you said, these lights are at the top of their game. Roma, of course, on controller, and Stu also plays on controller, I believe. So you're not going to see it in the inputs, but that is something that he does do. So controller players all around, really.
All right.
This,
getting a remake.
Lobby. So yeah, so we have a bit of a break. We can kind of keep breaking down what's going on, and but it looks like we are on Bernal. So the real question is, do you think Bernal is going to be better for Aimers Blue than Horizon was? Because honestly, I think those maps are actually kind of similar in a lot of ways. I think they both have a couple positions. Like there's the Zen Garden for Cis Horizon. That's really good for long range, similar to the Amphitheater on Bernal. Both of those points are really good for long range engagements. But most of Bernal, much like a lot of Horizon, you can play really tight angles. There's a lot of rooms that you can manipulate. There's only a couple points on Bernal that I think you can really lock down all of the sight lines. So I could see Aimers Blue doing well with the sledge. They can find their way to maneuver around those corners, but do you think we're going to see that change? Do you think this is a better map for them?
What the?
I think it's a better map for them in a number of ways. You know, it's their map pick, first of all.
I did not watch F1 quals today. Holy, what is this crash?
Pulsar Esport here.
Wait, there was a crash happened?
It wasn't even
Yeah,
close.
Yuki Tsunoda had a pretty bad looking crash, it looks like, but apparently he's okay.
Yuki?
Yeah.
The main difference I would say between this and Cis Horizon.
How's he been doing, dude? I honestly, I've kind of checked out EF1 for a little bit.
But in general, once you get down a layer into the,
he's stuck in Red Bull's second car.
Dude, Piastri's first over to Norris.
To play with. I feel as though this favors a sort of.
I actually on my fantasy team swapped Lando out for Piastri.
Like Aimers Blue with the sledgehammer.
Yeah, makes sense.
Being said,
I think Lando let the pressure get to him about possibly the driver championship, and I think Piastri's gonna perform better.
There's a reason that SA12
I think he does better under pressure.
And XP is kind of the meta right now, and it's because it is the most effective tactic available. That's what meta stands for. If you don't think about it too much. So I think that they will have a way of winning this as well. It's not going to be as cut and dry.
The race is tomorrow though.
Between Pulsar and
yeah. And I think that's an interesting point you said. We do have a double shotgun. On Aimers Blue, Noax is running the shotgun, or at least he was in the first match. We have to see if he's doing the same
Bearman has
again.
been in shambles, bro.
And that's such an interesting kind of thing because there's been a lot of talk, and it is a consistent discussion. Is Sledge too powerful? Is it
I just need him to make Haas worth it. He's not.
In the meta.
Oh, you're asking for Haas.
I think there's an argument to say maybe. Yes,
I mean, they were doing quite well.
They're doing okay
for the first half.
As a middle pack team, they're doing okay.
Found a way to manage it, similar to Minigun. We thought Minigun was taking over. We thought Minigun might be meta, but teams were able to figure out a way to beat it, especially in these 3v3s. So
Haas has gained 130 points over the total of the season, which is pretty good.
Oh yeah, I mean, I have Haas as my second team.
I've
got McLaren first and Haas as my second. I've got Lance Stroll this week, which probably gonna maybe regret that decision.
Why can I never edit my team?
Straight into a sonar grenade, and
What do you mean?
have a jump pad set up.
I can never edit my team ever. It never lets me edit.
Oh, Roma beams, dude.
That was crazy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, the team lock deadline is in 16 hours, and I never can seem to edit my team on the app.
On the app, you have to remove someone to actually edit it, which is very annoying.
But I can't. It won't even let me do that. 99, like it never works.
See, I didn't think you could edit your F1 fantasy team after quals.
And also, for some reason, Bearman has my 2 times, which is like
you actually might not be able to edit that. It might be like saying you can edit the chip that you have on, but that's it.
One at a time. We can see here as he finishes up. Look at that tracking. Beautiful stuff from Roma, continuing to really provide the clutch moments for Aimers Blue, like he has been all tournament long.
Right, Brick's already back in, but thankfully for them, that vault had not been tapped prior to the team fight, so there is a little bit more time on the clock for them to play with. Aimers Blue will, of course, get this blow.
I cannot edit anything right
the
now.
gateway's going to speed things
Not even
along.
chips.
I think it's because that's after quals.
This corner of the map, this amphitheater, whatever you
I think
call
the app might be bugged or
stadium,
something.
I don't know. What do you
To my understanding, you're not supposed to change anything until.
I call it amphitheater.
It's been bugged for me
Aimers send this to the moon
forever.
Earlier, so I wonder if
I
they
would
did
just
try
want
to do a
to
similar
preface
thing.
this. Like,
the cash out
it
is not in the middle of the amphitheater right now, though. And Roma nearly died.
I haven't
trying to
had
get
problems,
into a
but it is
defensive
counterintuitive in the sense of I have to like
so they have a
remove
chance to
somebody
reset.
to
Stu
actually
again
like
Anytime dude, I was trying to make changes like not that long ago, and it would glitch, and it forced me one time to make like 3 changes to make one change, and I lost like 20 points or 30 points on
I
one of the
can't edit my team. I think the roster is locked. I don't know why it says the roster
I
lock is down right now.
I want the season to be over already so I can run it back and not deal with all the BS that happened in the beginning.
Yeah.
I got robbed so many times.
It would have been suicide for
All right, here we go.
try and attempt to stop the steal, but now they're going in for the fight. They could turn the tide, and they do find a lot of damage. Roma does go down.
STN gets a pick.
The hero of last fight is no more right now. Busy taking out Rainker, and it's only
Noah dying to STN.
Done
That's
and
it.
dusted. Those coins splatter all over the floor. Bricked really controlling that situation
Hammers is
exceptionally
shot,
well,
dude.
given the situation that they, showed up.
NA
You
def.
didn't expect them to turn it around so quickly.
I guess so.
We have to own it while we can because we've never been. NA esports has never been a good
chase,
bank.
But instead, Stu reading the room correctly and just realizing that Amers, because of the back foot they were on, were not prepared to defend that. And I loved his gateway as well. He had that gateway prepared just in case he was not right, so he could get out of there. But it was just an easy steal, and at that point it was a cleanup.
Penny was
And
asking
Amers
if
turned
we're
this
going to use
around.
this stage in the
They had this push, but
Discord
it's gonna be
server
a
for
close
watch
one. There was
parties.
two completely surrounding the point. They
I think
do
we should.
reshape that gas barrel. The gas barrel is not going to be on the point, but already Noax is down.
I don't
Again,
really know how to
Raimi
use
has to
it.
get into the point,
I'll
but
be
he's getting
honest.
peppered as well.
Look into it.
One kill. SDN is
do
down.
it tomorrow.
If Raimi gets a kill,
Tomorrow
Busy gets
stream.
out of there. How does he avoid that?
I mean, this
A
this
crucial
first one was
missile
kind of
frame.
like also a
Matchup's
demo
going the way of
because this is the
Brick.
first time you and I have been
Roma
on
is
at the
able to
same
take out
time.
Busy, but there's still
So.
one left. The cash out is done.
We should
Hugo is still
we should
here.
look into. Have you looked
Finishing
into like
offers.
the
Roma gonna get picked,
payout
and it's an
stuff?
easy finish
Because
for
we should
Stu.
try to get animations done
The
before
revenge there exacted
we
by
do the
Stu.
community tourney.
Need like $60 more
First fight,
in
the first
threshold.
death in this game, the first blood on Bernal was him.
I wouldn't be
Up
against like
Roma, and he
splitting,
wins the heads-up
fronting
on
it.
right at the end.
If you
There
want,
was
sure.
no meaning to it really, other than the fact that they get.
Yeah, we
to
can.
Yeah, if we want to look
a little bit
after,
more
well,
quickly.
I don't know if we'll be able to
I
look
doubt they
like.
even get the tap
I can probably look
though,
tonight
as Amos
if you're
will
not
be scoring
busy.
pretty
If not
soon.
tomorrow,
Just a question of whether they wanna go
Yeah.
for it.
kind of looking at commissioning
So they do.
someone.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
that's the tap.
have like
Amos Blue spawned
really
behind them,
anything
so now they
going
need to
on.
get it set up here right now.
Yeah.
I would be surprised if we don't see.
What do we want to?
quick
Do we want to
jump and
do?
engage right
I
now.
mean, animate. I think
That
I don't know.
jump
We'll
pad
talk
draws
about
the
like
dome.
what we
This
think
is
we
the
want to
winch.
do
It's a
for
huge
first.
winch.
That
There
winch was
goes the
crazy
dome.
if that
Looking
hit.
for that
Holy.
overhead. Can't quite
Check
get
your
close enough to
text.
Busy, but he does have an RPG. But that's 2 down, 1 left for the side of Amers Blue. It's a 1 versus 2, and Roma does pick off Stu. That's a big pick because now it's a 1 versus 1. But can he finish
Let's
off
see.
Busy? No, Busy with the SA-12 finishes him off. Another team.
Probably another month.
Busy, last one standing. Roma
Yeah.
doing bits
Depending,
right
it
now.
just kinda depends
6
on what
happens.
and
Probably. Yeah,
3.
no,
The
I
rest
think
of his
that's
team
probably
not
about
picking
right.
up the slack. And it's starting to look a little bit dire for Amers Blue and for EU as a whole. I mean, look at the combat score he has compared to the rest of his team. They're just not laying down the damage. That Sledge is
That's crazy, bro.
Brick's kind of dominating. Amers Blue's gonna.
I
have
feel
some
bad
stuff
for
up.
what's his name though. I mean, he's putting in so much work, and just the rest of his team cannot keep up.
Strategy that the Sledge gives you. If you're
Yeah.
not effective, then
It's unfortunate.
you're basically gonna struggle. I can't think of a kinder way to put it.
No, yeah, you're 100% right. You get locked into these kind of difficult situations. Roma.
What,
all
3
taking
we've been-
so
we've been
much
Comes the
damage
steal
from
though.
barricade.
This is what we
Still
keep
able to
seeing. We
barricade.
keep seeing
They
teams
do
being this far away from the cash
successful
box.
steal, and there's a gateway. They
Oh, wow,
just
he didn't-
immediately
he
bail. They're
didn't
up, but
commit the
Lift
steal.
was a
He
glitch.
had that.
They removed one half of it. Rainke isn't able to get
It's
away.
so early,
He's dropped
though.
down. Noax looking for the revive.
I
Doesn't
know.
get revive successful there, but he has so low, looking for that
Oof,
pick. Nice.
SDN
SDN.
got
Oh,
Mr. Busy is next on the
Oh,
menu.
Busy's out.
Oh wait,
Uh-oh.
oh wait, hold on.
Uh-oh.
We were talking all that
Oh,
smack,
no.
and they made it happen.
Oh, boy.
They have one more push, and that's his cash box.
Sometimes just makes it
Yeah.
a lot better than a goo because
Oh, they
you
did
protect
stick
you
the
from
steal.
certain
I thought they
barriers.
didn't.
You know,
It's
it could have been a goo.
No,
this
they
is my
stuck it.
problem
They
with
got
the
it.
finals. Is it's so hard to tell the colors sometimes. Maybe I'm colorblind.
I would-
but I would
No, no,
say
you're
that that
fine.
looked very similar.
I would love in Spectator like a banner that comes up.
Yeah,
something or
yeah,
chat
yeah,
thing
like
that,
stole
like-
a cash bout or put it in the kill feed even or something.
A massive,
Exactly,
massive
yeah.
heads-up play from Norex in the heat of the moment.
Incredible addition from Embark to add.
Could put it in spectator mode and even be like, X team is stealing the cash out. Like,
I mean, even
as soon as they
even like
start.
how Overwatch does it, where they have that if they had that above UI and the current cash out is labeled or 2 cash outs, and then those are just constantly right on that UI. You know what I mean?
Amers Blue on the
They're
high ground.
ever
They've gatewayed
present.
up onto the top point.
Yep.
but they have to stop the steal right now. Don't
And
be
then that
too
would
far
just have
away.
the color.
They're not going to be
That
there.
would be
The
easy
steal,
'cause you
it's
could just
gonna be
tell
successful.
immediately.
They've yanking it on Brick, and they have a gateway, so now they're out. It's now
Brick
turned
got
around.
the
Rainbow
steal.
Oh
Brick got
my.
the steal. Amer's Blue might get
God,
it back.
dude.
No.
He's on next on the menu.
No, it's
Oh
over.
no.
It's over.
Dude, how do you let them take that?
Amers have just thrown this away.
No X, alt F4. He's out. Bro's out. He alt F4 immediately. Oh no.
That was that the guy that was popping off?
Probably.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
was it the medium that was popping off?
I don't know. Whoever had like 3k
the
damage
steal.
when his team had under 1,000.
And that has got
I'm
to
sure
hurt.
he's
They were
so
close,
pissed right
but
now.
so far,
Yeah, he all that forward, bro.
the team that we all expected to make it through to the final day
Oh my
have done
God,
so, but
Oh
just by the
my
skin of their
God.
teeth.
The fact that they stole it and then still lost is crazy because like they just had to waste a little bit of time.
I just-
We've seen them do this so many times.
They shoulda hugged it.
No, that was their
nice
medium.
defensive position. The gateway to get them into the high ground was nice, but I'm not sure what.
Yeah,
went
Noah
wrong.
X was
They
their
didn't team
medium.
that through the correct floors. They didn't
Gotcha.
get onto the
Yikes.
point in time, and the steal just goes through uncontested. And unfortunately, that does mean
I'm gonna,
that
I
Amer's
think I
Blue
follow him
are
on Twitter,
knocked
actually.
out.
I'm gonna
But you know
check
what that
x.com real
means?
quick.
Jerry, we
I
have
do.
It's gonna crash out on
four
X.com.
North American teams, 4 NA
curious on.
teams in our final 4. It is all NA all day, baby. Rio, what are your thoughts on that match?
What are my
So
thoughts?
we're on the Final
It was
Four.
a really intense one, honestly. I thought that the Amers Blue had it. They got that.
I think
signal.
this is it for
was
today. I think they're gonna do the rest
hold on.
tomorrow. No,
Sadly,
I have the feeling, yeah. I don't.
the last 4 games, no way they're gonna do just like 1 or 2 games tomorrow.
No, and grand finals
They're gonna
best of
do the last
7 as
4.
well. So.
There were some
Yeah.
Oh, Make a Wish made it through. Let's go.
So what? It's Bricked, Make a Wish, AHS, and
Duh.
Team Dit, right?
Yep.
Wow, my top 4.
Those are just kind of my quick thoughts. What about you, Jerry? What did you think?
Bro, Ashton, you shall receive.
I'm not mad.
know.
I'm just
Wow.
disappointed. It's real sad to see EU go out like that. They
Well,
went down
boys,
fighting. I
see
will
that
say
Outdoor
much.
Boys
It
is
was
closing the
a
channel?
complete washout, and Amers Blue, I have to give props.
You know who
Wait,
that
what?
is?
That was
You know who Outdoor
Yeah.
Boys is?
closer
Yeah, he
to
said that
Unlocked
he's
than
stopping the
to
channel
Unlocked.
like at the end of the year or something.
They put up a real fight. There was
Because
those
he
moments,
feels
some
like
singular
its
moments,
growth has
fights,
caused his
massive
family to no
moments,
longer
over
live a
those
normal life,
matchups.
and
The
him and his
number of
wife don't
times
want
we
that.
saw it flip in Brick's favor
Wow,
at the last
that's
few moments.
crazy.
Yeah.
It was
His channel was,
devastating, quite
dude. I
honestly.
loved his
But
stuff.
if
Yeah,
you're
his
an
stuff
NA
is
fan,
cool.
yeah,
So
it
he's
was
gonna
really good
release like a
tonight.
bunch of projects that
We
he's
did
been
talk
working
about
on and stuff.
the Noah X
But,
and Telco dinner table
the
earlier
channel
today,
is
how
done.
it might be a little bit sour. I think they'll both be consoling each other.
Wow.
There's no bad blood there. We all know this. So it's an unfortunate way to go out for EU, but I think
Well, that
they
marks
went out with their
EU's
power.
exit for the entire tournament.
Yeah, I think that's a great way
So-
of putting it. EU put up an amazing battle. I don't think any of us
That's something.
expected this. Anybody in the back end, anybody that has followed the scene, nobody expected this. All NA. Tomorrow is going to be insane.
Brenner's just standing there looking at me.
I'm speechless, honestly, from just how it's all panned out. My picks are completely wrong, so that I've got that to look forward to tomorrow.
It's actually, I have to say, that
yeah,
is
I don't know, I
incredibly
really enjoyed just how they
admirable of
played.
him.
Amers
A lot of
Blue
people would
were
not have taken that
amazing,
route.
on
That have
run.
done family
It's
channels.
sad to see that
Yeah.
both of the Amers
Would have
teams, Bricks,
continued
Bullshot
to
now, are down, but they, I think
not
they
exploit,
have,
but
consoling.
take
And
advantage
what's
of
cool, guys, is that this has just
successive
been season
made
zero
Right.
so far. So
to make
all of
that
these
call. I
teams
mean,
that you
I
saw that are
honestly,
no longer making
it seemed like he was pretty well off.
I can guarantee you'll start
So
seeing them
yeah,
again.
it seemed like he was kind of
put
just
that in
doing
the
it for the
back of
fun.
your head that
Yep.
a lot of these
But
people
it is
will
crazy.
definitely be back.
Dude, I mean-
I'm not
yeah,
I mean, he has a huge catalog of
thoughts. You wanna
videos, so
kinda
Yeah,
wrap it
he
up
was
for us
saying he's
before
gonna
we
just
hop
release
over
like
to
all
our
of the
show
stuff that he
You gotta look at the bracket as well.
hasn't
right?
done
You
yet
have to take a look
at the end of the
bracket
year, and
as
that's
we
just
kind
gonna
of
be like
drop this
it.
final
I mean,
pick as
I
we
don't think
take
he's
a
like
look at
closing
our
the channel,
final
but they're not
four.
gonna make any
And
more
it looks like
content or
Make a
engage
Wish
in
will
anything.
Continue
I loved
the
his stuff. It was so
miracle
fun to watch.
run
Like
Yeah.
just turn on
from
sometimes and just
10th place
hang
in
out.
groups. They will not be denied.
That
They
guy gave me a lot of
continue.
ideas,
The
too.
lower bracket
Mhm.
king, upper bracket
That damn honey butter.
is for wimps. They are here to stay. And Make a Wish are in the top 4, guys. That is team to.
It's crazy. Make a Wish has made it to the top 4, bro.
Hey, dude, they're making a wish, brother.
I'm
What
so
do you?
happy for them.
Is
What do you
not
expect,
what I
man? They're
had
making a
on
wish.
my bracket for sure. I did not expect this.
I think I know what wish they made. Like, that's
Dude, you don't want
unbelievable.
Make a Wish hitting the
This
lower
far.
bracket,
This
bro.
is, by the
That's where
way,
they turn
not
up.
just an underdog in the sense that
They love
were
their back
an
against the
11th
wall.
seed coming into
Yeah.
this championship bracket. They were 10th in NA. Like, they were right down the bottom of the pile in NA after the group stage. They had that hero run through the lower bracket last weekend that got them here, and now they're doing it again.
We're back. I have food
what?
here.
I'm not
grab
even
it.
sure Brick can stop them. Like, I need to see this team. It's actually a little bit criminal that we haven't managed to catch them on stream today, but I feel also lucky and blessed that we are guaranteed to see them tomorrow in that lower semi.
Yeah, that's going to be really exciting to get a feel for what they're looking for. I hope that the momentum carries over between days for them.
Yep, I completely agree. Tomorrow is going to be insane. I think I might have just closed out of the call. I'm back. Tomorrow is going to be insane. So, yeah, I don't really have any thoughts beyond what we've kind of discussed today. Today's matches were wonderful. There were only a few matches that were kind of not super exciting, but I think overall this was a clash of the EU and NA, and the NA took it. So I'm quite happy. I am going to be eating well tonight and quite excited for tomorrow. But yeah, do you guys have any final thoughts before we go over to the show match?
Well, this might be the last time we're on camera, so if we happen to go up against each other in this show match,
So this is it. They're done, and they're going to the pro match. Do we want to watch probably the pro match or the showcase match, which is the casters basically playing each other? Or we could, y'all want to call it?
I think we're good to call it.
I think I'm good to call it too. I got some stuff to do. It's been a fun. How long has it been? 3 hours? 3.5? That's not bad.
3.5, yeah.
A little bit shorter than last week.
Good ass time, honestly. And I'm excited for tomorrow.
We will be here tomorrow. This is not just
some
games
big
today.
fucking
Our
things
top
going down,
four.
dude.
Yeah.
Cat will let me
So,
speak. Our
I think
top
we'll
four
go ahead and hop
tomorrow.
out
We're
early,
here at 1
out of
p.m.
this today, guys.
To go through. It is gonna...
As they said, 1 p.m. EST tomorrow. We'll be live again. So feel free to hang out. We'll watch the end of the championship series. We're gonna take the rest of today to catch up on stuff we got to do, but also to maybe add some flair to the channel. I don't know. We'll find out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Cody, anything before we go?
I'm bricked.
I'm bricked up. I'm bricked. You're bricked.
I'm bricked. We're all bricked.
We're all bricked together. We're hoping
Hey,
we can make a wish while
see you
we're bricked.
tomorrow, Soul. Good to have you in here. Thanks for having a conversation with me about Brazilian barbecue. It's a very big passion of mine.
This is a huge topic for him. Huge topic.
Yeah. I've been hyping up Rodizio since the day I met this man.
That's
so
actually on God.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is on baby, on God, on Jaw, on everybody. Yeah. Anyways, guys, we're gonna take the rest of today. So enjoy your afternoon. We'll be here tomorrow at 1 p.m.